the point is here is that it would increase the cost of goods. So if you think inflation is bad, inflation would be even worse if you had these extraordinarily expensive tariffs. One thing. Two, as it relates to this, we'd also like break ties with a bunch of different countries around the world because it would make trade with us really, really hard because of all the tariffs, and their goods would be demanded significantly less. So they would develop trade relationships with other countries around the world rather than the US, and it would actually force the US out of like the global markets.
But wouldn't the tariffs also increase production rates in America for our own
yeah, at the expense of all those other things, which is really bad.
Yeah, but then
I don't think the production rate increases are worth like the immense amount of inflation that would come from it, the lack of trade partners, all of that stuff, and then like also isolating us from partners around the world. Like isolationism doesn't work.
Well, isolation would be great because if we eventually did go to war, we wouldn't have to rely on other countries cutting us off. We rely on things from China, but you see things are escalating. If we rely on ourselves, then that wouldn't be a problem.
But it's like impossible to do that.
Yeah, no. So saying that we should just rely on ourselves is kind of ridiculous in this modern economy. Like, yeah, we don't, with specific types of commodities, we don't want to rely on specific countries, right? And we want to be able to produce enough so that like we wouldn't be screwed over. Like say for chips example, right? Like it's good that the US would be producing like say 20% of global markets, right? Because that can be effective for our bargaining power and for like say future responses if anything bad were to happen with a particular country, right? So we don't like want one country to have like so much influence over just one thing. But it is also important to say that, right, that doesn't mean that needs to be true for every commodity. Like say for clothes, that doesn't need to be true. Right? Like, I don't know why we'd have to do it there or for like TVs or for like phones. I don't see why that would be needed at all. Right? Like if a different country around the world is better at producing a particular given commodity and say it's even better there, like it's higher quality, that's probably where we'd want our consumers to buy the products.
Yeah, with things like TVs, I agree, but we need to increase the production of more important and vital things here, like food and other things that could basically, if we get this cutting off, we would greatly downfall as a country.
Wait, do you want to decrease the cost of food and other types of things like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't do that with tariffs because tariffs would increase the costs.
Temporarily until we get more farms here.
Not, well, I mean, it would be a really long time. I don't think you understand how much really high tariffs to get rid of income tax would do that. And then also, even if you put tariffs extraordinarily high, it's not going to be able to pay for all of the governmental expenditures. So you're still going to have to cut things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and like the whole 9 yards.
Isn't that in Project 2025 is cutting a lot of the government programs back so we would have more money?
Well, Project 2025 wasn't necessarily made by Trump, right? Trump might have endorsed certain aspects, but I mean, I would just mention things like Agenda 47, not Project 2025.
But also that, like, cutting government programs would just fuck over a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Like, if you cut like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and like SNAP and food benefits, like you're not, and then you free up all this money, but you're not actually helping anybody because all of these people who need food need it so much that they're on government benefits will just be starving now and have
they literally will just be starving. They'll be food insecure. We're gonna have terrible statistics come out of this country.
I'm not talking about those programs. I'm talking about all the extra, I don't know what the right word would be, but like departments of the government that are not government bodies, but private companies. Although there's been any research that show that those private companies use governmental money in wrong ways and abuse it. And that's where a lot of our money is going into waste at.
So apply conditions on it. And then also you're just saying like we need auditing and
that's
conditions applied. Okay, I'm down with that. That doesn't mean that
also has more auditing. Like
I don't dispute it with auditing. I think that government should have to pass the audits. Like the military should have to pass, or the Department of Defense should have to pass like the audits. Like the same way that us as individuals should have to pass audits.
I agree with that because with how
Tracy, thank you for the $10 on Cash App. I appreciate you.
With how slackful we're
being. Yeah, that's not a uniquely Republican policy though. It's actually like is actually more or less on like the Democratic side as well.
I'm saying either way. Like Republican or Democratic, we need to pass it either way. That way we can get rid of foreign influence on our country.
Where'd you get foreign influence?
From the tariff, however you say it. I apologize.
Tariffs? No.
Yeah, tariffs.
You don't want large tariffs like this. If anything, I'm more of a proponent for freer trade as it relates to our like global partners. Only would I be like for protectionism with like particular like commodities. Like, it'd be like very specific ones if it were to be like way more beneficial to do so. Not like the entire economy. That's so crazy.
Yeah, entire economy would be crazy because we can still rely on other like countries for things like TVs and whatnot.
Helping humans. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, so like Trump's economic policy there, getting rid of federal income tax and replacing it with tariffs, that's disastrous.
And
that's like his main thing.
I think that we should apply tariffs on certain things that are less required from other countries to promote production in our own country. I think
why? We're artificially, you know what we're doing in that scenario? We're artificially propping up American companies when they're not profitable. That's what tariffs are doing.
So then
instead of us engaging in more economically efficient mechanisms like our activities, because we could have a higher opportunity cost with something else, we instead do this, right? Because we propped it up in the market.
But even if we are propping it up, it'd be better since we can't be cut off from other ways.
Okay, well, with what commodities? Name a commodity that you want to be protectionist about.
Are you saying like a certain good?
Yeah.
Food. That's a good example.
You want to be protectionist about food, so we should have to develop all food in the United States. What if a particular crop doesn't grow in America?
Yeah, what about like a bunch of fruit? Like bananas mostly come from like South America.
Yeah, and then we're also going to have worse bananas grown in the United States comparative to there.
That would be acceptable, but even then, we don't need specific bananas to survive. That's just
we might not need it to survive, but people want them, right?
Yeah, but it's a quality of life thing. We don't.
Yeah, so you're decreasing quality of life by increasing the cost of those different types of food.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're like, oh, we need to reduce inflation, but we need more tariffs, which are going to cause inflation? I feel like this is just such
like inherently inflation.
Yeah,
like they cause inflation.
Yeah, but the income tax also gets cut back by a lot. A lot of my money goes towards my income.
Yeah, and that's also going to be inflationary because when people have more money, right, aggregate demand is going to increase. So it's all of Trump's policy here is inflationary. And then he's like, oh, we need to get rid of all these the price issues, but all my economic policy is inflationary.
And there was like I read a calculation on this the other day. It was in an article I read. If we did 100% tariffs on everything we import, it still would not make up what we make from federal revenue, from taxes and stuff like that. So we have less money, there's a bigger deficit, bigger debt, and there's more inflation. So you're asking, it's like a recipe
literally
for
double prices.
Yeah, double prices.
You think
and
prices
less
are bad
federal
now?
revenue.
Just in general, we need to cut back on the government because you notice how even back in the 1900s, there was less government, but America was so successful. It's because we didn't have to pay so many taxes. We need to cut back on the government and taxes in general.
Wait, so what point in history are you referencing?
Just a large mass of history before.
What point? Give me a year. Give me a year.
Between 1886 and 1960s, 1950s.
1886 and 1960s. So 1886, you mean, okay, so when you're talking about the Industrial Revolution,
yeah,
we had the reason why we adopted a lot of these policies is because of the huge monopolies that formed then. We needed antitrust laws, right? The environmental disasters. So we needed to develop like environmental regulations. The disasters that relates to healthcare, the starving people. So we needed to find, bread baskets and stuff like that. There are reasons why these governmental policies exist because people literally die if they don't.
It's also crazy to put like the Great Depression in a time of American prosperity. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't know if I'd say that.
I'm just saying, in my
portion
opinion,
of that
though,
is not very much prosperity. And then also that entire time that you're referencing there, literally Jim Crow laws exist, right? Segregation exists. Like those are the types of economic prosperity that you're referencing. And then economic prosperity for who?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who's exactly benefiting from that?
What does Jim Crow have to do with economics? That was
Economic prosperity for who is the question.
It's
Everybody.
keeping down a certain race.
White and blue Americans. It don't matter what color you are. You need to prosper as an American.
Wait, I am arguing for that, but what the point I'm making is that you're pointing to times in history in which economic prosperity was not applicable to many groups of people in America. Seth, thank you for the $6.31. Thank you.
Which is also in order for some of Trump's policies, because he's created a lot of policies that assist people of color.
Name one.
All right. Give me a second. And yes, I do have a notebook.
Yo, thank you, Katie, for the $20 on Venmo. Katie, I appreciate you. And Tom, thank you for the $10 on Venmo as well. I appreciate you. You're very kind.
First one in 2018 was the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which isn't the exact name. It's summarized, so I don't have to read off an entire list. And there's also more that I can get off the website that I have.
And what did that do?
It increased the amount of jobs that African Americans specifically received. It's kind of like the
By doing what?
It creates more. It preserves people for.
What was this bill called?
That
It's
act
not the
that you just
exact name,
mentioned
but
is
the African-
originally published in 2000.
African Growth Act and Opportunity Act. I have to find the exact
Yeah,
name.
the Growth and Opportunity, the AGOA.
Um,
That's from 2000, since its enactment in 2000. Agbor, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And Kathy, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Kathy, thank you. Yeah, so in 2015, Congress passed legislation modernizing and extending the program to 2025. So that was under Obama.
So it was an extension.
Yeah, under Obama.
Oh, I apologize then. But
all good.
Yeah, so what
website
policy?
that I'm looking at, the website that I'm looking right at now, which is an archive site, but it is .gov.
Yeah, so it's from the Trump White House page, which means that they're like writing the things that are best for them and their interpretation of data. It's like incredibly biased, right? Like
Yeah,
if I go
like,
to Biden,
that's like if we went to the
phrased-
Biden-Harris, like,
yeah, if I go to like
White
Biden,
House.
It is.
Yeah.
It's phrased in a biased way, but it still shows the real statistics.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah, but for
sure,
example-
what specifically does it say? Because when was this enacted?
This was. Are you talking about the website or that just the specific AG or AO whatever?
Yeah, that particular
EO?
act. Yeah, when was it? When was it enacted under Trump's administration?
2018 on the website.
2018. I'll look for a record of that. I'll let Harry talk to you for a second.
are you talking about? Like I don't. Are you talking about the First Step Act? Are you sure you're talking about whatever that policy was that you were talking to Parker about?
I'm trying to find it right now. I apologize.
No, you're good. Take your time. I'm just curious. Like I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
with the
because I
name that
actually
you
don't
mentioned.
see anything on this. And 2018 is when the First Step Act came out.
So yeah, I think you might be talking about the First Step Act.
Yeah, because I don't see this at all anywhere.
I don't think it was the First Step Act, but here. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute my mic because it's on my phone too. But I'll be back in.
Yeah,
one
go
second.
ahead. Do your thing.
For sure.
Anyway, while we wait, tap the screen, everybody. Double tap the screen to try to get to 200,000 likes. Follow Parker right there. Press his face. Follow him and drop a follow if you haven't already. And our Venmo and our Cash Apps are in our link in our bio. Scroll all the way down. Both have link trees. Takes you right to them if you want to support, but no pressure, of course.
By the way, everyone, I should get my main account back by the 23rd. Everyone, I'm banned for a week. But I'm sending like so many feedback things, and hopefully they respond and give it to me back. But I doubt it.
Fingers crossed. Yo, Seth, thank you for the $6.31 on Venmo, my man. I appreciate you. And Trent, thank you for the $15 on Cash App. I appreciate you, Trent. Thank you, man. Let's see here. He must be talking about the First Step Act. I mean, I don't...
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, though. If you have any questions, you can put in the comment section. We will respond to them. Yo, Cara, thank you so much for the hand arts. Thank you. What's the ban for? I think this last one on the one on my main account: sexual exploitation and gender-based violence.
Oh my god, dude! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That one
sounds
hey,
dumb, doesn't it?
It's so dumb, bro. It's
Talking about
we've
Trump,
talked
by the
about
way.
me getting-
Talking about Trump.
Katie, you're a fantastic bowler. Fantastic bowler. It was great. I'm still jealous that you were able to go do that. That's very cool. Oh man. And well, I won't say their name on live, but I hope you told them I said hi.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, man?
The website, it was the 2018 African Growth and Opportunity Act, the Millennium Challenge Act, Modernization Act. It is
Wait,
PL
slow down. Say that again.
African Growth and Opportunity Act and Millennium Challenge.
Hey,
Act.
Casper, you got to swipe out of the app, swipe back, and you got an echo, man. Go to your
Echo.
home screen real quick, and then come back into the app.
All right. Is it better now?
It should be.
All right. African Growth and Opportunity Act and Millennium Challenge Act, Modernization Act.
Yeah, let's see here.
I literally see nothing on it.
It was the only thing that comes up is a Wikipedia page that talks about it being approved
2015,
by the
right?
U.S. Congress in May of 2000.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the original one, and then there was an update in 2015 that I saw. Otherwise, I see literally nothing on it. I see no information.
Yeah, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So the
Yeah,
government
like,
website also talks about
where'd you
being
get this from?
reauthorized.
Like, where'd
I
you
don't
write
know
down
how
your
much
notes
of a
from?
credible website this is, but it's coherentbabble.com. It's got all Biden stuff and Barack Obama's too.
I don't know if they've got very. Maybe they're trolling. I actually don't know. Seth, thank you so much for the $4.09. Thank you.
I don't really know.
Oh
No
my
Biden
goodness.
stuff's on here too.
Edie, thank you so much for the $75 on Venmo. I appreciate you. Yo, W Edie in the chat. Golly, I need some W Edies. I need at least 75 W Edies in the chat. Shout out Edie. Golly. Oh my goodness, you're amazing. We love you. Thank you, Edie. And Kelsey, thank you for the $20 on Venmo as well, saying putting in that work. I appreciate you, Kelsey. Thank you so much. You're amazing. We love you all. Both.
Coy, thank you for the $20.24. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Will Trump have to give DNA now he's a felon? That's actually a good question.
Also, that's another question I have for you. Was Trump convicted of any sexual assault acts or just the fraud acts?
He was held liable for sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually such an interesting question because if they do
Yeah, I
have that
wonder.
DNA, they could probably.
Oh, yeah. I know
it.
the answer. They're trying to get Trump's DNA, and Trump's legal team is refusing because they're assuming that they're going to use it to plant evidence in other cases, and they're trying to make an agreement.
Plant evidence in other
what?
cases is crazy.
They're trying to come to an agreement of exchanging Trump's DNA for something else. I forgot what it
Or is
was.
he going to try to get immunity for other crimes?
Wait, what?
No.
Wait, what are you talking about? What are you referencing?
Trump's legal team is talking to, I believe it's the court, and they're trying to exchange the fact that they can get Trump's DNA as long as they're monitored with it.
That's
For
where'd you
what?
get this information from?
Yeah, what are they?
Wouldn't they just be able to take it because he's a criminal?
They can take it, but they want to make sure that they're under surveillance when they take it, just so they can't plant.
Wait, why is he giving his DNA at all?
I feel like this is just some conspiracy bullshit you saw on BitChute.
Would be given his DNA for the things he was convicted for.
This sounds like the conspiracy
why?
bullshit that those like crypto people make up so that they can sell
I don't
crypto.
think there's any
crypto scams
obligation
to
to
you.
give. I don't think there's any obligation to give your DNA over if you're convicted. Yo, thank you, Stephanie, for the $20 on Cash App. I appreciate you. W Stephanie in the chat saying you're such an amazing young man. I appreciate you, and I hope you're amazing. All right.
And Chelsea, thank you so much for the $34 on Venmo. 34 felonies. Thank you so much. I appreciate Chelsea. Thank you. W
Yeah,
for them in
there's-
the comment section right now. Thank you.
There's no obligation, or there's no requirement to give your DNA over for just because you're convicted. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never heard of this.
I swear I thought that was true. Because like when
You
criminals,
have to
they always
do-
have to give up their stuff, don't they?
I'm looking on. This is the first
Felons
result, but
have to give up DNA.
apparently the judge denied Trump's offer to give DNA.
Every state currently has laws on the books requiring those convicted of certain felonies, so only certain felonies,
Certain felonies.
to
Well,
submit DNA samples.
So this one also says, in addition, might be just for New York. In addition, since 2012, any defendant convicted of a misdemeanor or felony must give a DNA sample to be added to the New York State DNA data bank.
So Trump has to, yeah.
So I guess so, yeah. If he's convicted,
Yeah, he would have to when he goes to prison. But what I'm reading is
Which means we also can then test his DNA on other cases.
yeah, but
Which means that there could be some sort of criminal conviction otherwise. Which is actually pretty wild.
expand the statute of limitations. Get E. Jean Carroll's case in there.
Yeah, because we'd have DNA evidence. And that makes it beyond a reasonable doubt for sure. Like I don't see why any jury would dispute that.
Well, given the fact that his entire argument was that he never met her and was not there with her that day, so it kind of like hurts his credibility.
the website that I'm reading off of, the judge denied Trump's offer to give them the DNA, calling it a delay tactic.
Yeah, because he did pass.
Yeah, so that was for the civil case, and that was also him providing DNA after the set date in which they were able to provide it.
To accept, yeah.
So he had plenty of time to submit it, and he chose not to. He only tried to submit it then for a fucking political move.
That's what I was talking about.
Melanie, thank you so much for the
That might have been
$25 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Melanie. Thank you. Oh, amazing. I appreciate everyone. Tap that screen. Let's get to 500,000 likes. Share the live as well, everyone.
Aside from all the convicted felon stuff, the reason I still believe that Trump's better is because I agree with his gun policies, abortion
Do
policies.
you not just hear what you just said?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
you know, like aside from the convicted felon, aside from the sexual abuse, aside from the proven fraud, the business fraud, you know, I still kind of like the guy.
Yeah, aside from
You're
the
not-
guy saying that he'll date a 10-year-old in 10 years, aside from the fact that he said he had sex in common with his daughter, aside from all these terrible things, yet Joe Biden falls down steps. So, yeah, what was your point here?
But even though he might be a terrible person in his personal life, I still think he's a good leader outside of his personal choices.
Is that
Okay,
why,
so,
like,
okay,
40...
so what things indicate that?
I just think that life was easier under him. He was cheaper.
No, what did he do to make it better?
Gas prices were lower in general.
What did he do to make it better? Because gas prices were lower under Obama.
Not necessarily.
Yep. In 2016,
look
they
it
were
up.
lower on average.
Look up
in 2020.
EIA.gov. It gives you like a history of all the gas prices per month since around like 2000. And it can show you that at points in Obama's presidency, they were way lower than Trump's presidency. By the way, Daddy-O, thank you for the $34 on Cash App. $34 for 34 felonies like Parker. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out you, WU.
I'm looking at the EAI website right now. It was higher in 2008, 2010, 2012, 2014.
Yeah, look at like I think it's January 2009.
No. We look at it's 2016. So it's February 2016, and then for 2020, it's April 2020, which is the lowest for Trump. The lowest for Trump is 1.93, and the lowest for Biden is 1.8 something. Or not Biden, Obama. It's like 1.87 or something.
Are you doing monthly or annual?
I was looking at monthly. And if you look at the annual average, it's 2.23 for Obama and 2.24 for Trump, or it's 2.24 and 2.25.
Yeah,
I know there's only a 1 cent
February of
difference.
2016, it was at $1.87.
Yep.
And then for Trump, the lowest was
It's 193, right?
Yeah, 193 in April of 2020.
Yeah, so did Trump cause an increase in the gas prices?
A slight increase, but Obama's was a lot bigger. His
What?
was peaking out at 3. The average for Obama was peaking out at 368 in 2012. The highest.
Yeah, I'm not talking about then. I was talking about like in 2016 he had a lower gas price.
Yeah, right before they changed presidency, on average.
Exactly. So then he increased the gas prices. That's like quite literally the point. Like if you would say that based upon your reasoning. Now, do I think that's explanatory of it? No, because it's based upon supply and demand. It's not like the president that determines the gas prices. I don't know. Joe Biden didn't pass a policy, right? And that said, increase gas prices. Adam, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Which it is easier to forgive Biden for the gas prices because of COVID and all that, which also is another thing. If people were traveling less, then why were gas prices going up?
They weren't going up during COVID.
Yeah, they went down. That was under Trump's administration.
Yeah, like during the main months of COVID where, we didn't really know what the virus was. We didn't have
Where
a
we did
vaccine or anything
lockdowns.
like that. Yeah, when we had lockdowns, right? Gas prices went down, not only in the United States, but around the world. And then as people kind of came out of the pandemic, the vaccine became more available. People were going back to work, to school, whatever. People were going on vacation. Gas prices went up because demand went up along with the extended travel. So, yeah,
I'm going to switch to monthly just so it's a little bit better.
go for it.
I need to get a mug that says MAGA tears.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to
Yeah.
do it, chat.
Yeah.
I think it's about time.
When was COVID originally blown up? Spring break 2019?
2020.
Yeah, it was so like 2019 is when we first heard about the virus. March 2020 is when the lockdown started.
Yeah, so March 2020 average was 232 a gallon, and then May 2020 it was 196, and then after that it just basically shoots straight up.
Yeah, that's because of the lockdown and then coming out of the lockdown.
Well, you said it was starting to blow up around March. The lockdowns were starting to blow up around March. Not even 2 to 3 months later, gas prices are already shooting up. We didn't.
Yeah,
that
because
quickly.
it was that was the lockdowns and then more people were leaving. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, but even like in summer months in 2020, like June, for example, it was $2.17. Normally in summer months previous to this, it's like way higher because again, people are traveling during the summer and whatnot. So it shows you that gas prices were uniquely low during that time.
Oh gosh.
Weather's kind of nice out, isn't it?
You know, it's really, really nice today. It was like in the 80s. It was sunny out. It was really good.
Clear skies over here on the East Coast, you know.
Same here on the West.
Amazing.
No, now you're just confusing me because around the time that we got out of lockdown was about late 2021. Gas prices had been shooting up before that.
We really got out of lockdown mostly, I'd say, like, I want to say like February or March of.
Wait, I like how he's identifying external factors that could cause why gas prices are this way.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that with Biden. Immediately
exactly.
change his reasoning for Trump and Biden.
I'm not lit against Biden too much. It's a smaller point because of the COVID and all that. I'm just saying, what you're saying is not making sense to me right now.
What didn't make sense?
Wait, yeah, what didn't make sense?
Lockdown didn't end that early. I was still in online school all the way up until the end of 2020, or well, not end of 2021. It would be till about May or June of 2021. I was still in online school until then. Everything was still locked down. I couldn't even leave my house. I mean, I was able to, but
I mean, I don't know where you went to school, but by like the winter, my school was pretty much back to in-person, or at least a lot of in-person school. There might have been like some kids who stayed out, but like,
well, here in Missouri, we were gone from spring break all the way until next year was over. So
Cool.
almost.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand that.
Do
But
you go
that's
to
not the
private
same
school or
thing for
something?
work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people that are driving are people who are working, not people who are in school.
Most
Yeah.
people weren't even able to go to their work either. My aunt, my uncles, they were all moved to online. They weren't able to go anywhere.
yeah, but you're also like, you're not factoring in the fact that gas prices are based on global markets. So just because the United States didn't necessarily like, or maybe your specific area didn't unlock down at that exact time, doesn't mean that other countries, you know, are obviously working in the market didn't either.
Yeah, plus, even if we were still on lockdown, there still would be a likely increase of price there because it hit a low point of people staying at home.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it started increasing in terms of how many people were leaving the house. People stopped caring as much. They're like, oh, I don't want to stay inside all this time. I want to go hang out with my friends. They go to parties. They hang out with their friends. They're all doing all these things. A few months into the pandemic, and what happens?
And another thing I got to ask you, why was lumber and construction equipment so much cheaper under Trump than it was for Biden?
Inflation, like every other aspects of the economy, like transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even now it's going back down.
Okay, so because transportation costs are going down, gas is going down.
Not for me. Gas is going straight
Appreciate
up.
the confetti,
right
thank
now.
you. Well, I don't know where the hell you live, Missouri. I know people in Missouri. They probably disagree with you then.
Gas is,
Yeah,
it
so like I'm
used
looking at
to-
this now. Lumber prices have gone down comparative to 2022 historic highs, which is kind of on pace with everything else. Like gas prices have also gone down since the highs, and even like grocery prices have dropped in recent months. Like April, there was like a small decrease in grocery prices. So it's like people becoming more competitive in the market. Like a bunch of companies are realizing that they can't just charge this much because people just won't shop there anymore. So you're seeing like Target, Walmart, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all these companies are dropping prices on goods.
Yeah, I understand that, especially with McDonald's.
Yeah.
Too damn expensive.
Yeah, because people
Sorry,
just
Jimmy.
would rather like buy groceries and eat at home than they would to like, go to McDonald's. McDonald's is previously seen as like a low cost option, like cheaper than like groceries are, but it's no longer the
$11
case.
for a meal now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you go like with 4 people, you're gonna spend like $50, right? When that was never the
It's
case
outrageous.
prior. So they're reducing it. They have like this $5 meal or something, you get like nuggets, a sandwich, or I don't know what it is. But a lot of companies are doing the same. Target is reducing prices on 5,000 goods this summer to again be more competitive with Walmart. It's just a bunch of companies are realizing like, yeah, they took advantage of the pandemic, but that's not sustainable. So they're dropping prices now. So it makes sense like why lumber and things are going down and have gone down for a while.
Now, when you say reducing prices, do you mean that they're increasing them and then just decreasing them like they do on Black Friday, or are they actually decreasing them?
What's the difference? Like, are you asking like, is it long term or is it just temporary?
Just no, because say example for Walmart, they would jack the prices of stuff before Black Friday and then lower the prices on Black Friday, so they'd still be the regular prices. Is that what they're doing, or they're actually lowering the prices?
I mean, I guess theoretically the prices were jacked up by them, and now
Yeah.
they're lowering the prices again.
Yeah. So this is just an element of corporate greed. So when people say that there was corporate greed, there was some impact. Really, from an economist standpoint, is how much corporate greed was causing an increase in the prices. Is the question that we should ask.
Yo, Carrie, thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying 10 days until the first in-person showdown in the 2024 campaign. Let's go, Joe. I'm excited for the debates. It's going to be fun. And Adam, thank you for the $5 on Cash. I appreciate you. But hey, if you don't have anything else, man, we can leave it there.
Well, I do. I just don't want to nag your ear all night.
Oh, you're good, bro. You're good.
You're
I mean,
fine.
you can also come back at a later date, and we can talk then if you prefer.
Yeah, that would be good, so I can get more stuff.
All right. We'll see you then, man.
Sounds
Have a good
Thanks
night.
for the conversation. Appreciate it.
You too.
All right, if you're MAGA in the chat, let us know. We'll bring you up. Make sure to keep double tapping the screen. We're almost at 300,000 likes, less than 40,000. My Cash App and Venmo is in my bio, along with Parker's. Same deal. We both have link
In
trees.
the link
so,
trees.
go to there. Jake, you've been spamming MAGA for like the entire live. Like every 5 seconds, there's MAGA. It's dedication, so come up and debate. I invited you.
Spams MAGA but doesn't join.
Yeah, I've been.
So interesting. So interesting.
Isn't that fascinating, Parker?
It's almost like every MAGA debater on TikTok. They all make videos, but they won't come and join the lives. It's crazy.
Ain't that something? Cool, man. I just invited you, saying let's debate. I invited you, buddy. Okay, look at him. Come up. What's up, man?
Nope. Hello.
Hello, bro.
Yeller.
What the? Well, it
Okay.
always happens, man. People be like spamming MAGA and then they'll come up. Fly, I just invited you. Joe, not exotic. I can't invite you. You don't have live access. What did you do, buddy? What did you
Yeah,
do
a
to
lot
your
of people
account?
don't get that either. They're like, I'm trying to join and add me, and I'm like, I don't see you in the guest box. They're like, oh, it says access not allowed or something. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, exactly. Applesauce, come on, man. I would like to join. Oh crap, Luke, you're 16, buddy. I just looked at your bio. Get out. You have to be above the age of 18 to join TikTok Live.
No
Remember, spam if you're
fetuses.
MAGA in the chat.
No
Supreme
fetuses.
MAGA?
Industry plant, Jacoby, send a guest request, please.
Yeah, buddy, come up.
Please,
Why
Jacoby,
don't you
send a
come
guest
up?
request.
I'll put this guy in. I think this guy was asking. What the What? How do you... Dude, this
What
dude
is
is like
it?
I'm like this guy's profile picture. I don't even know what
I
that
can't
photo
see it.
is.
I can't see it. It's
No,
like
not this
invisible
guy.
for
Not
me.
this guy. There's a dude in the chat. What's up, Truth?
What's going on, man?
Are you MAGA?
Yes,
And how old
Why?
are you?
I am 34 years old.
Oh, for sure. You sound very young. So yeah, why are you voting Trump?
Well, for the simple fact that I feel like in his heart, with his actions, he just shows that he cares about all Americans, not just Caucasians. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm straight
Okay.
from the hood of Pennsylvania.
Can you name one policy Donald Trump influenced to get passed that benefit those communities?
I'm not sure right off the top, but
So you can't name any policy he passed or influenced to get passed, at least to help people of color and minorities and things like that?
not at the moment, but I know for a fact that everybody around me, where I come from, we are 72% Latino population, and everybody was working, everybody was well off until the pandemic hit, and all our city schools shut down. Everything just collapsed
Under Trump?
under the pandemic.
But under Trump, he was president.
I mean, that's facts. That yes, he was president, but
But he didn't cause it, right?
no,
But yeah, you don't think he caused it though, right?
So,
Of course
so
not.
same
He
thing
didn't.
with global inflation.
Okay.
right?
So, beautiful.
but he didn't cause the pandemic.
Yeah, same
exactly.
thing. Same thing. Like Joe Biden didn't cause global inflation or gas prices to go up, or, you know.
I mean, I could agree with you that corporations definitely have their hand in the pot. Of course, that's part of their agenda, to make as much money as they can.
Okay.
So, but when you could cut corporate taxes the way Trump did, and create more jobs that way.
So give those greedy corporations even more money to exploit us with. Great.
Yeah. So wait, the corporations who are price gouging, you want to give them more money?
I mean, it gave people such as myself that are not as highly educated as you guys, more chances to promote within or to get a higher paying job or to use.
Did you know that countries around the world that have broader social safety nets, like in Scandinavia, have greater levels of social mobility? So actually the countries that have broader social safety nets worldwide, that have more access to these types of social programs, generally have easier systems to change socially.
Okay, well, you're bringing up other nations, and I mean, that's fine and dandy, but we live here in America, and basically, and yeah, we're blue collar workers. So the batteries that are inside your vehicles or, things like that, of that nature, that you guys use daily, we make here in Pennsylvania.
But what industry do you work in again?
I've worked in several industries. I also work in school buildings as an assistant teacher, things like that. So I'm furthering my education as much as I can. But the thing,
for you.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that the economy and you guys keep saying, well, the president's not responsible for the corporations' choices on, the prices of their products and all that.
Yeah.
I get that point. So when the economy was better under Trump and not Biden, then how do you account for that?
Oh, how do you account? Okay, well, I can account for it through gas prices. Gas prices have gone up globally because it is the case that there's been a reduction in global oil supply due to OPEC limiting the distribution of oil worldwide, plus the Russia-Ukraine situation, which these things would have happened regardless of Trump or Biden in office. So that's what's led to a reduction in global oil supply, which has increased global prices of oil. Same thing happened with stagflation. That also led to greater levels of inflation. And then there was also the Fed's response to COVID-19. The Federal Reserve, which is not the president. So those would be the main drivers of inflation. I don't think it's the president.
And the influx of immigration, overflood in our city schools. I'm speaking from a city standpoint.
So then why did Trump not want to pass the border bill? Like Biden tried to pass a border bill which had conservative immigration policy. Trump didn't want to pass it because of Ukraine funding, which passed a few weeks later, and because he didn't want Democrats to look good. They even put a solo border bill up, and he still didn't want it to get passed. He influenced other Congress members who were Republican to not vote for the bill. And he said, blame it on me if the border bill fails.
Well, considering obviously, in the last year, where the elections are coming up, Biden's going to want to look as good as possible for re-election.
Yeah, same thing with Trump. Trump just said that he wouldn't sign a federal abortion ban because he looks bad as it relates to abortion, and he wants to engage in a political move to be able to do that. Same thing as Biden. Biden's engaging in conservative immigration policy here for a political move.
And as far as abortion, the irresponsibility of these adults nowadays, and I'm not speaking just solely females, but I mean irresponsibilities of adults, period, having unprotected sex whenever they feel like, and cheating.
Okay, so I don't see how this relates to the president at all.
Well, because, then
Deborah, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you.
A woman gets knocked up and she wants to have an abortion because it's not with the right guy or the guy.
You understand that it is the case that do you think people are having sex more now than they were, say, like in the 80s and 90s or 70s, for example?
Obviously, HIV played a huge part in.
No, I just have a question. Do you think that's true? Do you think that we're having more sex now?
I think we're having more unprotected sex more than ever. Yes.
Oh, sure. Okay. So then, did you know that there was more abortions in the past? That there's less abortions now because of contraception? That contraception exactly in which Republicans now want to ban in Congress? So they're anti-abortion, but they want to ban contraception, which has drastically reduced the number of abortions that are happening, even though we've increased in the rate of sex.
Birth control is bad for females, period.
What, dude? Well, no.
Yes.
No. So it is dependent. It is dependent. Wait, listen. There are some negative impacts, but it's dependent upon a woman and her doctor, right? It's their choice whether or not they want to be on birth control. It's not effective, medically speaking, for you to not get vaccinated. And what'd you do? Appreciate the handout. Thank you.
I mean,
That's what
listen. I have a vasectomy, so I'm a responsible adult. You know, I'm not trying to bite off more than I could chew.
Are you vaccinated?
No, I'm not
Responsible
vaccinated.
adult, my ass.
Yeah, so
What you mean? No,
Dude, come on, bro.
That hurts the argument,
Responsible as it relates to one thing? Come on.
bro, there's a lot of people out here having kids that they can't handle, bro. Like you know, you got 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I get that. So we should have contraception and abortion. So we should have contraception and abortion so that people don't do that.
like where I come from, like literally, like what I gave you a percentage, 72% Hispanic. At least 80% of households are on fucking food stamps, bro. Like we can't
Same food stamps.
So
that Donald
yeah,
Trump tried to
Republicans
cut.
should take them off so that they're food insecure and have no ability.
Yeah.
to
So
put
wait,
food on
you
the
want to?
table.
So wait, you live in a community where there's a lot of people on food stamps, but you want to vote for the guy who wants to cut their food stamps and then take away their contraception?
cut down their food stamps so they could go out and get a job. Yeah, why not?
That makes sense.
It's almost like most of the people already on food stamps are already working. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
so
there's
they should just get like a fifth job. You know, they work,
there
pull
are work
themselves up
requirements.
by their bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. You know,
There are work
listen, my
requirements
wife
for food
works 2
stamps.
jobs. I've worked 2 jobs before. It's no big deal.
and you
man.
shouldn't have to do that in order to be able to put food on the table.
Well,
you should
maybe-
only have to work 1 job to put food on the table.
Well, maybe you should, you know, if you're looking to get into in a relationship, a long-term relationship, maybe you should build together and learn how to, you know, sustain and maintain.
Yeah, and you
not
should
that
be
way
able to
when things
sustain
get
and
hard.
maintain on one on one job. You shouldn't have to be able
Yeah.
to get 6 jobs or 2 jobs just to be able to put food on the table for your kids.
And yet there are families out there where both parents work and they still need food stamps.
Yeah, let's get our 90th yacht real quick. While there are kids out there that are literally fucking starving. Okay,
I mean,
God
it
forbid
goes-
Jeff Bezos doesn't get another
yeah,
beach
another
house.
yacht, another one, please.
Oh no.
I mean, you guys obviously
Some
listen,
extra square foot on the mansion.
So definitely, I agree with you guys that corporations are very greedy. You know what I mean? I get it. Like I understand where you guys are coming from.
So hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable. Yeah, with the tax rate. Yeah, you give them a higher tax rate. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's okay with me. But
So you agree with you? So you disagree with
See-
Donald Trump's tax cuts?
And you agree with Biden, who wants to increase taxes on people making over $400,000 a year?
if you're gonna give tax cuts, there should be more regulation on.
Yeah,
what
so Biden
that
wants
money-
to. Biden actually wants to pass tax cuts for people making under $400,000 a year, and he wants to increase taxes on people making over $400,000 a year. So
Well, I
he's
haven't seen
shifting the income tax burden. That's what he said recently.
I haven't seen that. I mean, he ran on it.
It's
I
his-
remember him running
It's his
on
proposals.
That
Like the thing is that Donald Trump's tax cuts are going to sunset in 2025 and then some in 2027. So the next president is going to be able to have a huge say as to what the tax code looks like federally. So do you want Donald Trump to get in, who's promised like these fossil fuel billionaires a huge tax cut in exchange for a campaign donation, and a bunch of wealthy people at Mar-a-Lago, he said he's going to give them another tax cut, which then hurts the middle class? Or would you want to vote for Joe Biden, who's like, yeah, you know what, it's time for the middle class to get a tax cut and not the wealthy. Let's raise the taxes on the wealthy. Which sounds more desirable to you?
I mean, considering he did lower the tax rate, to 21% from 35 that Obama had to 21%.
It's corporate.
Exactly. And like I told you, that it increased the jobs around us. So there was companies doing the right thing.
Well, you're
around
claiming
my
that, but can you
area.
show any economic trends that diverted from what they previously were that would indicate that this policy caused it?
Yo, Ethan, thank you for the $20 on Venmo, and congratulations on the Celtics. I don't like the Celtics, but congratulations.
I was surprised that they beat the Mavs that easily.
I know.
I honestly thought the Celtics were going to get mopped.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Well, obviously you guys don't know basketball, let
I
alone
don't know ball.
let alone politics. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's wild, bro.
I was just kidding,
Did you think
man.
the Celtics were going to win?
Listen, you guys are very engaged, and that's awesome, and that's what we need. We need more conversation. We need more figuring things out. We got to stop looking at red and blue. I'm a firm believer that there's a Uni-party in Washington. I'm a firm believer in that, and I feel like I am. I seriously. How? I mean, they do it in companies. They do it in companies where you have like the CEO.
Wait, so
and-
then why vote for someone if they're the same?
You think Trump's part of a Uni-party? You really?
Wait,
think
that's what you're
you should-
claiming.
No, I'm claiming that Biden is part of the Uni-party, along with Obama.
A uni-party
along with
means
Clinton.
both sides under one rule. If both sides are under one rule and Trump's on one side, that means he's under the rule of one.
Yeah, I'm okay. So then add Mitch McConnell in there. Then you want to add people like that. Then
Mitch McConnell just like slammed Joe Biden today. was like saying that his defense budget sucks. Like there's obviously, and Marjorie Taylor Greene like calls Biden a communist every day. So I don't think it's, I don't think it's
Marjorie
like
Taylor Greene's insane.
Yeah, but she's like perfectly in line with Donald Trump. They agree on policy.
Yeah, she was at the Vegas rally with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
campaigning.
exactly. What the fuck, dude? Oh my god.
The thing that frustrates me too is that why isn't Biden allowing Kennedy to be on the debate stage? With
He is going to be on the debate stage.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
No, he should be.
Yeah, RFK is going to be on the debate stage. Did you know that?
Well,
Are you? Oh
I'm actually
my
serious.
god.
Yeah.
Well, he should be.
What the?
It's a clear.
I don't know
choice.
why
It's
they're
okay,
letting
bro.
I don't know why they're letting RFK on the debate stage if they don't let Jill Stein. Right? You know what I mean? Like if they're gonna put like the third party candidates up there, at least throw her up there as well.
Listen, because for the American people to make a more informative decision, of course, watch the debates and of course do your research. You know, because at the end of the day, it's what you see, what you read, and what you believe. You know, so
I
me
think RFK
personally-
actually looks Donald Trump look really bad because he's conspiracy nut. Right. And there's a lot of conspiracy nut MAGA supporters that will be taken from that. So actually I would probably argue that he takes more from Trump than he takes from Biden.
Okay, and if that's the case, then let it happen. But let it run its course. Let us make the decision. Let us, get the information and make a decision after.
I hope RFK's crazy ass helps us win. Yeah, that would be great. All right, did you find it, Harry?
I'm seeing that he could still qualify, but he hasn't yet.
Oh,
That was at least a
I
day
must be
ago.
mistaken. I swear I thought he already did qualify.
Yeah,
No, I hope he's not on the debate stage though.
But that's not your choice, Harry. That's the thing.
No, I know it's not my choice. I'm not saying that it's my choice or not. That's my personal vote.
You have to allow the people that follow him or could potentially vote for him have a chance to listen to what he has to say and go
You can
against
go
these
listen to what he
two
has to say.
juggernauts. These two
You can-
they're juggernauts. Trump
You can
is
go
a
listen to what he has to
juggernaut.
say.
Biden is in the political spectrum. They're both juggernauts. You know that. So why not have somebody from the outside, technically, come in?
He doesn't qualify for the debate. He doesn't have CNN's requirements are like you have to be able to win 270 electoral votes. He's only qualified for 89 electoral votes, and you have to have 15 or a couple of polls showing you at 15% nationally, and he doesn't meet the polling requirements. So these are not requirements set
he's not
forth.
going to be close.
Yeah, these are not polling requirements or requirements generally set forward by like Biden and Trump. These are set by CNN, the people who are hosting the debates.
He would have had a chance if it was like 2023. He was polling at, according to The Hill, at 16.5% then, but he's declined and now he's at like 7%.
Yeah. 'Cause
Nationally.
nobody wants that guy. Like RFK's a lunatic. However, if you are like deciding between Trump and RFK and you live in Pennsylvania, go vote for RFK.
Yeah, go for it.
Have at it. No problem. That we will not fight you on that.
I mean, listen, I watched the debates. I voted for Trump twice already. I voted for Obama when I was 18 years old. Remember, I'm 34 years old. So I voted for Obama. And
It's crazy how you vote against like your own interests. Like you're very openly just like, yeah, like I this would help me, but I'm going to vote against that. It's
I
just
mean,
crazy.
but Obama literally artificially pumped, the economy. It was all artificial money. It was.
It was not artificial money.
Of course, brother. Of course. Listen,
Really?
man, when I was
So then Trump's economy was also artificial?
when I was 18 years old here in Pennsylvania, I had to work through 2 different temp agencies just to make ends meet. You know what I mean? So like it was different. It's a different time, man. I understand. Listen, you guys here, you're on live, you're making money. I get it. It's great. Everything's a hustle. Me personally, I had to bust my ass inside factories. I had to, work at hospitals. I had to work inside schools.
So yeah, let's help working class Americans instead of literally decreasing after-tax income
Yeah,
for the lowest quintile and middle class. How about we decrease taxes overall, right, for the middle class rather than increasing the tax burden on them, and instead we increase taxes on the rich.
Yeah,
instead of
I don't
decreasing it for the rich.
I don't think you understand that like Parker and I are up here advocating for folks like yourself. Like you are the people we're advocating for. These people who have to, as you said, bust your ass to make ends meet. You're working different jobs. You're going from job to job, and you're just trying to put food on your table and have a roof over your head. We're thinking about you. We're like, damn, this guy needs some help. Let's get some policy out there to make this guy's life easier, not Jeff Bezos' life easier. Let's give him another yacht. No, thank you. So we want your life to be better. We're not sitting up here because Biden is like debating for Biden makes us healthier, makes us like so much better. No, it's like because we want folks.
A
like
lot of
yourself
these
to have a better
policies
life.
don't benefit like me at all.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of these policies benefit typical working class Americans, which is the whole point of what I want.
And like, I understand your heart's in it. I understand. I get it. But the first 3 years of Trump's presidency, my life was fine. Like, I was working, I was doing great. And then all of a sudden the pandemic hit and I had to quit my job. Why? Because the Democrat state that I live in shut down all the schools, shut down every business. It made me depend on unemployment, you know. Luckily, you know, my wife, she was working from home, so we were good. We had, you know, money saved, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that...
And you make good money from unemployment, right?
I mean, I had to, you know. I mean, it's only fair, and everybody else did. You know, I'm not the only one. But
Yeah,
the thing is I was
it's almost
forced,
like Republicans would have given you less unemployment
listen,
insurance.
I was forced to do that because my kids couldn't go to school. They had to do virtual schooling. So you've been talking to a lot of youngsters on here, you know, that basically when it happened, they weren't even able to go buy a fucking pack of beer, you know. So you're talking to a lot of youngsters. Now you're talking to a man that had to provide for his family, you know. So there's a difference, you know. There's a big difference when you wake up and everything you do from the moment you get up to the moment you go back to sleep is for your family and not for yourself.
Yeah, that's actually why we're voting for this policy, is because we're not voting for it for ourselves. We're voting for it for families in the future, for my future grandkids, for their grandkids, right? It's about society as a whole. It's not about me, right? That's not why I'm voting for the policy idea.
And I seen the stimulus checks. Okay, we all got it, man. It wasn't just me or, you know, it was a collective United States thing, man. Everybody got stimulus checks. About all these freaking loans that I forget what the PPP
loans, the ones that Marjorie Taylor Greene took out.
People destroyed. Yeah, no, but she's not the only one. If she did, she did. Cool. All right. But there's so many other people that did. On both sides, Democrat, Republican. Okay, so I align more as an independent / conservative. Like, I believe in not living beyond your means.
Do you care about democracy?
Of course I care about democracy.
So how do you feel about Trump undermining our democratic system by lying about the election?
Yeah, like trying to overturn an election he didn't win. He knew he didn't win. Everybody around him was telling him he didn't win it.
There were court cases across the board. There were audits
like in
across
your
the board.
state. In your state, your fellow Pennsylvanians, he was trying to invalidate their voices. Nothing?
That is a touchy subject, because the simple fact that technology is easy to bypass. Okay, it's not easy for someone like me to bypass, but there's so many.
It's not. So
the machines can't be hacked.
Like, for example, right? Do you think that hackers, like, on a daily basis are hacking into like governmental databases? No, right? Because we have insane encryptions on those, right? Same thing with the elections. We have encryptions on all of those things. These idea that like Dominion servers were like undertaken and like used to like, you know, literally promote fake votes has not been substantiated at all.
Okay, so in your words, it hasn't been proven.
Yeah, no, not at all. There have been
not
court
even
cases
close,
across the U.S. 17 appointed judges specifically by Trump did not indicate sufficient evidence to overturn the election. So if it is the case that it was stolen, he appointed corrupt and treasonous judges that stole the election from him, right? Or he lost the election. It's one or the other.
And his own FBI appointed by somebody he appointed, and his DOJ appointed by someone he appointed, and a subgroup of the Department of Homeland Security, which he created.
And his vice president, and Bill Barr, and literally like everyone.
And the White House Counsel, and all of these people are all saying like, hey, the election wasn't stolen. So are these all people corrupt as well? And these agencies all corrupt, even though Donald Trump like controlled a bunch of them?
I mean, did Donald Trump really control a bunch of them, man? Like, you know how hard it is?
He didn't drain the swamp, did he?
But you know you know how hard it is that to keep an eye on every single agency, every single move of every single employee. You know, like it's very hard. It's a hard job. I don't know, y'all. I mean, have you guys ever been supervisors at a job or a lead?
Yeah, but I'm not asking you like to know like every single employee of the FBI, right? The heads of these agencies the Attorney General, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, the FBI Director, all of these people came to Trump and said, yeah, there's literally no evidence of what you're alleging. None. Trump was making stuff on the spot. We have like an entire indictment against Trump of people bringing him fake stories, like legit fake stories, and he'd run with it on Twitter and then tell them to go find evidence of these stories. Not like that there is evidence to back them up, like go find something, go make up evidence to support this story. So anything that Donald Trump alleged about the election is not backed up by a single thing. He was trying to stay in power when he wasn't supposed to. It is the first time in American history that the peaceful transfer of power was not respected. The first time. And it seems concerning to me that folks like yourself want to overlook that in favor of a hypothetical Trump bringing back the economy, which is not going to happen. He has not laid out any policy as to why he's going to do that. But it's concerning that you'd overlook the destruction or the attempted destruction of American democracy just to support one man.
I respect your outlook on that. All the information you provided, you know, it's valid. The thing is why aren't Americans allowed to question
You're allowed.
the process? Why aren't we allowed to voice that opinion? So
You're allowed.
Even if, you know, let's just say that it's not true. I mean, you're saying it's not true, okay? But there's always doubt. That's the problem with America and our society right now. There's so much doubt, you know, and
Caused by who?
caused by us.
The guy lying to you about the election.
Trump lied to you. Like, if Trump would have never gone on this tirade, you would not be questioning the 2020 election. You don't question 2016. You don't question 2012 or 2008 or 2004 or 2000. You don't question these elections. Why? Because the two people involved in them were like, yeah, you know what? I just lost. You know, the guy lost, the guy won. It's, you know, whatever. Hillary Clinton conceded. Mitt Romney conceded. John McCain conceded. Nobody questions these elections. It's only started in 2020 because Donald Trump decided to start lying about it to fool folks like yourself. And it's disgusting what he did. He knew he lost. His former vice president testified under oath that Donald Trump admitted to his face that he lost, but he doesn't care. He tried to steal the election. He tried to stay in power when he wasn't supposed to. That is the stuff that happens in dictatorships.
It happened. It's in the past, and we're here now. And look, and I know. Listen, it's funny, right? But in 11 days, right, we're supposed to have a debate between Trump and Biden. So listen, regardless of what happened in the past, right now, our present and our future is at stake because of what's going on.
I agree.
You know, and that's the thing. So we have to make an informed decision. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you right away. I'm voting for Trump again. I already voted for him twice. If I feel like after watching these debates and seeing what's going on and doing my research that I have to go another route, then that's what's gonna happen. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that there isn't corruption at the highest level of America, because there is. That's the reality.
Well, then give us an argument to demonstrate it in this particular context insofar as that it's relevant to our conversation.
Do you guys really believe there's no corruption at the highest level?
I'm not saying there's no corruption in government. What I'm saying is that you have to demonstrate it as it relates to the people that we're voting for, and you'd have to demonstrate how they're corrupt. Like Joe Biden, how is he corrupt?
In my opinion, how he's corrupt is that when he goes into office, right, he's been doing public service all his life. What he has accumulated does not add up to his salary that he's made as a senator.
Because he wrote some books.
Vice president.
He wrote books.
Because he wrote books, yeah. So
he wrote like a number one best-selling book and made a bunch of money, because when you write a number one best-selling book and a bunch of people buy your book, you make a bunch of money. His wife also wrote a book. He's wrote a number of books as well, written a number of books. And he made a bunch of money doing that. And he has like speaking engagements. People pay people to come speak. People pay Obama to come speak, Bush to come speak, Clinton. Like, this is something that a lot of people do. So he's not corruption. It's not funneling money. There's no evidence of that. There's no nothing. He just sold books, made a bunch of money.
Okay, so say you come out with a book, Harry, right? Say you write a book, you publish it, you come out with it. And let's say you're in political office, right? Now, this is all just hypothetical. And I'm like, yo, Harry, if you do something for me while you're in government, I'll buy 30,000 of your books. I could stash them away in a storage and keep them there.
Except
wouldn't know.
you would need like actual evidence of that. That's also like trackable. You can see.
That's easily trackable.
Yeah, like there have been so many Republican.
Why did this
politicians-
person order 30,000 of these books? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's so easily trackable. And like, how would someone go about ordering 30,000 books? But there's been a bunch of Republican politicians who have been caught like buying their own books for this very reason, because it's easy to track. Like Donald Trump Jr., Trump's son, has like this book called Triggered or something like that. Thank you, Brittany, for the fruits. And like a Trump super PAC like bought tens of thousands of the book to make it a #1 bestseller. Like they artificially boosted the sales, but it's easily trackable. So,
okay, well, I mean,
just a bunch of people bought his book.
No, but you could say it's trackable, but if you know people in the right places, then you can make things go away. Come on, it's always happened, Aries.
Come on, man. Like, be real with me, bro. Come on, man.
It's always happened, my guy. It's always happened. There's always been corruption. There's always ways to get rid of things.
Listen,
to make things go away.
I agree that there's corruption in some individuals. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but Senator Bob Menendez from New Jersey is currently in criminal trial in New York City for bribery for working with other nations on behalf of them. Right. And he has like gold bars in his house, working on behalf of like Egypt and other countries, and like got a Mercedes for it, a bunch of corruption. But he's being charged. And he's being criminally charged right now, might go to prison for a very long time. And if there were actual evidence of corruption with Joe Biden, we would know about it. He's released his tax returns for every single year for the past 20 years.
How long did it take Trump to do it?
Yeah, like Trump would not release his tax returns. He had to get a court ordered to release his tax returns as part of a congressional investigation. Joe Biden's like, yeah, you can see my money. You can see my tax returns. You can see how much money Joe Biden made last year and how much he donated to charity. You can see all this stuff. There's just no evidence of corruption. I mean, Trump has a lot of evidence of corruption. Making like $5 million from China while in office. You know that? When he was president, he made $5 million from China.
Is that also with the fact that with the whole hotel situation that, in Washington, that he rented out his rooms or whatever? Yeah,
he make a bunch of these foreign officials would somehow weirdly rent Trump hotel rooms in DC when there are plenty of very, very nice hotels in Washington, DC.
Okay.
And they just suddenly rented out the Trump hotel.
And then you got Nancy Pelosi that, was doing inside trading.
Her estate is not in her control. She divested. She does not control any stock trades.
Either way, it was still made for her interest, for her pocket to line her up.
Well, she's making money because she's in the market, yeah, but they've been in the market for a long time. There's no evidence of insider trading, was what I'm trying to say. Like, she doesn't control her own stocks. There's no evidence of her transferring information to anybody or anything like that. And if she was transferring classified information to people, she wouldn't just be guilty of insider trading. She'd be guilty of a lot more and be spending the rest of her life in prison. But there's just no evidence of that. So don't vote for the guy who actually made $5 million from an adversary, and vote for the guy who like wrote a bunch of books and like participated in American capitalism.
I mean, Biden did also take advantage of his position of power. There's no way you're going to sit here and tell me that he did not.
How did he do it?
Listen, when he went into office as vice president, and he shot up from 2 million to 8 million. So when he became president, he shot up to 8 million. His net worth is 8 million now. According
Biden?
to yeah.
Well, no, his net worth was not 8 million when he became president. He had like houses in Delaware.
Real estate.
A bunch of real estate. So his net worth was already a decent amount before he was in office.
And then if he would complete his 4 years right now and lose, and he wouldn't be president again, then we'll see what's going to go down with how much money he makes when he leaves office.
Well, he'll probably do some speaking engagements and write another book and make a bunch of cash, and then his kids will be set for life.
And then the kids of the ghetto.
Again, we are advocating for these lower income kids. We are all the policy we're talking about is for
that were open, that allowed all these immigrants with children to come in and flood the cities and flood the schools. It's true. Listen, you're not living through it, so you don't see it. You're not.
I live in New York City.
But are you in the
I
inner
see it.
city?
I trust me. Like this is a city where everybody's talking about migrants are coming.
But Harry,
And
are you in the inner city? Are you in the inner city schools? Are you trying to make a difference inside those city schools? I'm not talking about living in the city and just hanging out and just doing what you're doing. Like, are you genuinely trying to make a difference inside these public city schools? Because we need to start from the ground up, you know? And
you want Trump to do that.
Trump was doing that. He was doing that because the schools were open. Everybody was going to school.
No, Trump wasn't
Everybody
doing
was
anything
working.
for schools, but what he did do is make it harder to report sexual assault in school.
I'll give you an example. I worked in a third grade classroom all year this year, right?
Uh-huh.
When we started, there was 19 students. By the end of the year, there was 25. 4 of them came from other countries, Dominican Republic, Venezuela,
Cool.
right? I was teaching them English, you name it, right? So
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
More people educated. That's great.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome. But the thing is we're taking away from other students that are there legally, and they're not getting that attention that they need to improve academically.
From 19 to 25, the kids are not getting the. It's not like you're like going from 19 to 100.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot of stress on the teacher, and you got to think about you got to think about autism. You got to think about all these other conditions that other kids have, learning disabilities. You know, so it overwhelms your teacher. It overwhelms the teachers of these classrooms. You know, when you have to teach all these kids and you have to stop because, you know, 5 students don't know English, you know, and they're coming straight from the border, brother.
Well, that's what being a teacher is. It's making, you know, it's being accessible to students. We have Supreme Court precedent that backs up the fact that students can, regardless of immigration status, you can still go to school. So they're following the law. If these schools were to start denying these kids that right, they'd be openly defying the law. So these kids should be in school. And a lot of these kids are probably here legally on asylum claims, or maybe they're DACA recipients. Who knows? Right? I'm sure you're not asking these kids like, "How'd you get here?"
No,
you have
not
no
at
idea
all.
what their status is.
Not at all. Definitely. So the thing is if we're taxing corporations at a higher tax rate under Biden, like you said, why isn't there more resources for public education? Why isn't there more resources for the underprivileged? You know what I mean?
Well,
We
your
want to
governor
provide
is
that. Like, dude,
Yeah.
we don't disagree
I
with that.
don't see it, though. I
We're
don't
trying
see it.
here.
I
We're
don't-
literally
You're-
trying. What are
But I
Republicans
don't
doing?
see it. I
Your
see
governor-
billions, I see billions of dollars being shipped to Ukraine and to different countries.
Oh,
The
please.
Budapest Memorandum.
Yes. Like this is what I see.
Do you know what the Budapest Memorandum is?
No, what is that?
Listen,
We
Invite
signed an agreement with Ukraine that if they gave up their nuclear weapons, we would defend them. So if we want other countries like North Korea, like Iran, other countries around the world that might have nuclear weapons to denuclearize and sign agreements with us, in order for us to do that, we'd actually have to uphold this agreement.
Listen, and one thing before we talk about Ukraine, I spoke to your governor. I interviewed the governor of your state, Governor Shapiro. He's fantastic, an incredibly smart individual. You're lucky to have him as your governor. I wish he was mine. I attended his State of the State speech for 2024, and he talked about $1.1 billion in new funding for schools across Pennsylvania, and also his budget made sure that no school, not a single one, got less money than they did last year. So that's a Democrat proposing more funding for education who supports Joe Biden, whereas in a lot of these Republican states, you're lucky not to live in one, in a lot of these Republican states, they're defunding education. They're taking money away from schools because they think they're teaching woke or something like that, when in reality, that just hurts our kids. So Joe Biden, and by the way, this goes all the way up to national, Joe Biden saying like, hey, let's fucking fund our schools. Let's increase Title IX funding so teachers can get paid more. Let's give them a goddamn raise. And Donald Trump's just like, not so much.
I mean, you're talking about Shapiro, not Biden.
But of course, as a state, your schools are mostly funded on a state basis.
And the reason Shapiro is probably so invested is because he came from Berks County, the county that I'm from. So he knows exactly what we're talking about. So if he's doing his job good, doesn't matter the party affiliation.
Sure.
You have to do your job. If you're going to be in public service, if you're going to deal with people, regardless if you believe in their beliefs or whatever it is, you still have to do your job if you're in public service. So I see people saying, "Oh, you're in the wrong profession. You shouldn't be in the classroom." Listen, man, like, you do what you're supposed to do. You know, regardless if you disagree or agree with somebody or whatever tactics is going on, whatever's going on in life, it doesn't matter. You're there to do your job. You're there to help inspire and lift, you know, regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, you know, and that's where we get lost as people. That's where we get lost as humans. We're losing that type of thinking. Like, even though you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, but that's why it's so frustrating, because Trump is not upholding those beliefs. Like, this guy is not running for president right now to help you or me. He hasn't proposed any policy. He hasn't named any policy, not laid out any plan as to how he's going to achieve his said goals. Instead, this is a man who's running for president to keep himself out of prison. Joe Biden, on the other hand, has an agenda. He's saying, like, hey, I want to do all this stuff. I want to invest in infrastructure. I want to invest in schools and increase teacher pay. I want to do all this stuff.
Do it.
Yeah, and he's putting out plans to do it. You can go to Joe Biden's website and read how he plans to do it and what his proposals are. You can see his proposals past couple of years. Donald Trump doesn't do that. He gets up on a stage every single time at his rally, doesn't tell you what he believes. He says the FBI is mean to me and Joe Biden's a big, mean bully. That's all he says. That's why it's frustrating. We agree with you.
Communism.
We agree with you. We think that public officials are meant to do their jobs. That's why we're so concerned about a Trump presidency, because he's not going to do his job. He's going to focus on himself and then might try to stay in power again. So that's concerning.
I mean, we have to see what his plans are going to be. I mean, you know, he's in and out of court. He's constantly against the media every time he's on. Like, there's no good that you guys obviously have seen from him. I mean, maybe I'm blind. I don't know, but you know, my life under Trump wasn't bad. My life right now isn't bad, but that's because we know how to continue pushing forward. That's what my family does. We move forward. We just continue working, continue doing what we're supposed to be doing. That's it.
Thank you, Reaver, for the rhythmic.
Yep.
But here's the thing. I want you to understand, and I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. You are being conned. Like, you are being lied to by Trump. He's lying to you that he's going to do this and this, and that all this stuff is going to change if he wins. If he wins, the economy is not going to change. The inflation is not going to go down. The price of your groceries is not going to go down. Your gas prices are not going to go down. It's not going to be anything major change.
If anything, it would go up based on his tariff policy.
Exactly. If anything, the prices are going to go up. Instead, he's going to con you into giving you his vote in a very important state, and then he's going to pardon himself. He's going to go after his political opponents, and then the economy that you're talking about, the schools that you're talking about that are underfunded without enough resources to address every student individually, nothing's going to change. Matter of fact, it might get worse because those students are getting their food benefits cut, or your education's getting cut, or the Department of Education is now saying, like, hey, I don't really like public schools. It's going to be a disaster. So we're trying to say, hey, don't prioritize disaster.
Or they get rid of the
Don't
Department of Education.
We will wait and see.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your night, okay? Appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Thanks, man.
His view is truth_lies. That's literally like an oxymoron.
Howard, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. I appreciate you. Ay. And 6'8" Tony, golly, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. And Gregory, thank you for the $100 on Cash App, saying OMG, thank you. For Harry J says, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. W Gregory in the chat. I need at least 100 W Gregorys in the chat. That's crazy, Gregory. I appreciate you. You're always a big supporter. It means the world. Thank you so much, my man. And 6'8" Tony as well. I appreciate you, my man. Very kind. Golly, W Gregory. All right, if you're MAGA, let us know in the chat. We'll bring you up. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Drop a follow for Parker as well. He does lives every single day. Also, our Venmo and our Cash Apps are in our link tree in our bio. Both of us. It applies to both of us. So if that interests you, there you go. Where is this guy? Hold on now. All right, bro. I gotta drop this guy in the box. What's up, man?
What's up, Harry? How's it going, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I gotta say, I am a Trump guy, and I've been on here with you a time or two. But you do try to be respectful to people, and I gotta say, you do a good job. You let people talk most of the time. You don't cut them off sometimes, but anyways.
Could you turn off the TV in the background by any chance?
Yeah. I got
Thanks,
you.
man. I appreciate you. And while you do that, Devon, thank you for the $5 saying I listen to you every night and learn so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here all the time. It really means a lot.
So my question, I just have one question for you, man.
Go ahead.
What is, how do you feel? It feels like based on like the polls and stuff, people are rallying. They're not liking all this going after Trump and using the court against him. I feel like he's getting a lot more supporters right now. People are saying they see what's going on. They think it's a sham. And I'm just talking about the polls, what I've even seen on MSNBC and, opposite than Fox or, the other Newsmax and stuff like that. I've seen that he's gaining African-American voters.
Not true.
That's what I saw today.
Nah, man. All these polls are showing that the overwhelming majority of Americans approve of the conviction or they think it was fair, and then the 35% who don't are Trump supporters, right? And there's not contrary to Republican belief, there's not this major swing of people of color toward Trump or anything like that. It's not a thing. But the court cases, just to address the overall point of what you're making, the court cases were fair. There was no rigged trial. There was no targeting. There was no nothing like that. It was a jury of his peers found him guilty. And if anybody is telling you otherwise, it's wrong.
Do you think, and this is more just a question than in your point of view, do you think he's going to get jail time, or do you think he's going to get, what do you think's going to happen?
He's really trying
so.
I see. I hope so. He's really trying everything in his power to get jail time. This is a first time offender, nonviolent offense. And this is not a crime that people really get sent to jail all that often for. But he's doing everything in his power. He's showing no remorse. He's attacking the case. He's attacking the judge. He has 10 violations of the gag order. There's violations of the gag order the judge hasn't ruled on yet. It's this guy really wants to go to prison, I guess. But I'm guessing that probation of some kind, maybe house arrest at most. But I think he deserves prison. This guy is a piece of trash.
So you just said though, Harry. So that doesn't. You said normally you wouldn't get. So you're saying he should go because of all the things he's doing. What he's
yeah, your normal defendant's not attacking the judge, the judge's daughter, the jury, the witnesses.
And why do you think that he wants to
court.
go? Why do you think he wants to go to jail so bad? You just said he's trying to.
I think I don't think he wants to go to prison. We've had reports from inside of his campaign that that's the last thing he wants. But he just can't control himself. This is a very emotionally unstable man. So when, he's so angry and his ego's been so badly damaged, he cannot control himself. He just attacks the judge, and even if it's to his own demise.
I'd have to disagree there, but that's okay. Well, I just.
What do you disagree with?
Yeah, what exactly are you? Again.
I just agree that you say there's reports inside that he doesn't want to go to jail, but then he's saying that he has. If he didn't want to go to jail, he probably wouldn't want to say those things. I think he can definitely. He's definitely smart, and he's way more there than Biden is.
Not true.
Really,
I don't hold to that. Yeah,
really?
Can you give me a good reason to believe he's way more there than Joe Biden?
I don't know. Joe Biden can't even hold a sentence. I think he was just.
He can. That's just a lie.
You want to watch the speech of Biden's?
That's not a lie. What about?
Wait, Harry literally interviewed him. He was completely fine.
Okay,
yeah, I interviewed him.
What about?
You want to see the interview?
Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll show you the shorter
one
clip.
interview. Come on, man. There's a million of him falling down. He's riding a bike, falling down. He can't even find his way off the stage.
He fell down. He fell off a bike. Nobody's ever done that before.
Dude, he falls down everything, Harry.
He fell down twice.
Escalator?
He literally fell down twice. Once on stairs, and then once what's it called, on a bike. At least he's engaging in exercise. Has Trump even rode a bike?
Well, I think he's not only all talk, he's designed to mislead, because he doesn't mean what he says. If you want to know what he says, listen to what he's doing now. For example, he says if he's elected, he's going to do away with this entire infrastructure project. He's going to do away with making sure that we don't invest money in education, making sure that we cut health care, all the things that really matter to people. And he talks in a way that it's almost hard to follow anymore. I'm serious. In terms of, I'm going to be a dictator on day one. saying that what he's going to do is going to break a tradition of over 100 years. They're going to tell the Attorney General who he should prosecute. They're going to prosecute him. He's going to get his enemies. I mean, this is the stuff of this is all anti-democratic, not Democratic Party, democracy. Right. It's at stake with this guy.
Yeah. So my question there, I don't know if it caught at the beginning, is like, you know, basically around Trump and like if you think he's a threat, and that was a question he didn't have ahead of time. No teleprompters, obviously, and he spoke perfectly fine there. So
Yeah, but it says, I mean, he just said, "Oh, he's a threat to democracy." Didn't they spy on Trump camp?
no,
They spy on? Okay, that's
no.
He also tried to undermine the American democracy. So, like, I mean, that's an undisputable claim.
he tried to undermine him. Okay.
Yeah, he literally denied the election for the past 4 years with no sufficient evidence. Like, he did it right in front of you, and you're like, oh, did he actually undermine our American democracy? You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Well, I know this. I'm just my point of view. I know that January 6th thing was a complete sham. I think that's.
What do you mean it was a sham? Wait, hold on. What do you mean it's a sham?
That's total. I mean, there's some bad characters on both sides. I'm not saying that all Make America Great Again people are all good and all the left are good too. Okay, there's on both sides. There's some radicals on both sides. Can we agree with that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, what about Nancy Pelosi? Shouldn't she have the National Guard in? Or
The National Guard is controlled by the president.
okay,
So why didn't Trump do it?
Yeah, so why didn't Trump send them in?
that's
He sat there for 180 minutes and watched the violence on Fox News.
Yeah. Well, it was a good conversation with you, man. And even though we don't agree, at least
Sure.
we'll just end on that.
All right, man. Thanks. You have a good night, okay?
Interesting.
That was rather abrupt.
Yeah, that was rather abrupt.
Huh. Interesting. All right. If you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. Venmo, Cash App in both of our bios and our link trees. Follow Parker and drop a follow up there if you haven't already. We both do lives, but Parker does them like every single day, so you should definitely follow Parker.
Literally every day.
Literally every day for hours on end. So if you like lives, like Parker's your guy.
You already know it. You already know it, Chad.
All right. If you're MAGA, let us know. We got you. It's very abrupt. I was like, I wanted to talk. I always find it funny when they call it a sham. If you think January 6th is sham, like also request that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, seriously. Like seriously, really.
We need some paid by DNC people. We need some election was stolen. You know, that's what we need right now.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Let's see here.
All right, let's get some people. Connor Griffin said sham.
Jimmy, I got you. I invited you. Trump says Jacko. Jacko, you don't have live access. Oh, Wealth Manager says...
So people said they haven't seen me live anymore. It's because I keep getting banned, everyone, so make sure to follow me on this account.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, drop a follow on Parker, because if he gets banned, you want to make sure...
You likely might not follow me, everyone, right now.
Yeah. So yeah, this you might not actually follow this account. You might follow his main, but not this one, so make sure to drop a follow on Parker's new account. Or, second, third, fourth account. What's up, man? Are you MAGA?
Hey.
I think I talked to you before, but...
Yeah, we did. My phone died. But
so you said sham? Did you say the election was a sham, or that January 6th was a sham?
I think January 6th was political theater.
Okay, so do you think that the people who went in were like plants?
I think that there were a lot of plants. Yeah, I think that there was Antifa present. I think that FBI.
Okay, so why does Donald Trump want to pardon all the people who went in? If it was like
why is Trump pardoning Antifa?
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to pardon Antifa. I think he wants to pardon the innocent people that.
Oh, so it wasn't Antifa? It wasn't
that walked into the state capitol and
so
was
it wasn't
ushered
Antifa
in through open doors.
So it wasn't Antifa.
Officers. What?
So it wasn't Antifa.
No, there were Antifa. There were innocent people that were ushered in through open doors by police officers. I mean, there's video footage of that happening with the Capitol Police just opening the doors and escorting people. Even the shaman guy was escorted through the entire.
The shaman was not escorted through. He was escorted out of the building. The timestamps were not provided on that video.
No, they were. He was in the. No, he was there talking.
Tony, think of the $10
with the cops, just watching.
No, he was. They were not escorting him. I know the video you're talking about. They were not escorting him into the building. They were escorting him out.
They allowed him to sit there and talk and basically pray and speak about the cops. That he was not forcefully removed. He was just escorted.
Yeah, because there weren't enough cops per people, so they can't like forcibly remove every single person.
So cops should
actually
forcibly
know a lot of
remove like
people that
150
were-
people.
I actually
Like,
know a lot of
Yeah,
people
they're
that
just
were
like not
there.
gonna. There's like I think like 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, maybe 1,400 people have been prosecuted. So I think it'd be pretty difficult for outnumbered cops to forcefully remove like 1,400 people, especially when many of them had been maced and beaten with a flagpole. So, and I also want to remind you that like these people were not let in. If they were let in, there wouldn't be windows broken. They wouldn't be like beating cops. They wouldn't be destroying equipment. They wouldn't be breaking windows and all this stuff. That wouldn't be taking place.
There's videos of cops moving barriers. There's videos of cops waving people towards the Capitol.
Sure, and there have been cops who have been like reprimanded for being like too cushy with the January 6th insurrectionists. There were definitely like cops who didn't do their job on that day, but most of the cops were heroes. They were people who stood up to those January 6th insurrectionists. I'm sure you've seen the videos of the people being beaten. Those cops are heroes. Anybody who ushered anybody in or like moved a barrier, like no, absolutely not. But they weren't let in.
The idea that the cops were heroes. These were Capitol police officers. They worked
And
for
Metro
Muriel
Police.
Bowser, the mayor, who's very far left leaning. Nancy Pelosi, she was offered the National Guard by
She was
Trump.
not. That's not true.
Yes, she
Nope.
was.
Donald Trump's acting defense secretary at the time testified under oath to the January 6th committee that Donald Trump never requested 10,000 troops.
Because he talked to her and she said she didn't want it.
There's no evidence of that either. So wait, Donald Trump like went past his national defense, his defense secretary,
He offered
and talked to Nancy Pelosi
he
directly?
offered the National Guard. Nancy Pelosi said
When?
she didn't want it because
What evidence of
she
that
didn't
is there?
like the optics.
What evidence of that is there? There's none.
I mean, these are just communications between people. This
is what Trump said. I don't even know I don't even know if Trump ever said he directly offered them to Nancy Pelosi, but his own cabinet saying like, there was no conversation of the 10,000 troops or never confirmed that Donald Trump asked for them.
So I guess that's just going to be one that.
And why would he? If he's like the president, right? Like if he thinks that there's a threat to the Capitol, but Nancy Pelosi's saying no, then it doesn't matter if she says no. It's his choice.
Trump left his speech and said, peacefully and patriotically, make your voices heard.
He said that during the speech, but he also told them that when you see fraud like this, you go by different rules, indicating that the law can be broken.
No, what?
Yeah, he did. He said he had to fight like hell. He directed them to the Capitol.
He told people to go home.
After 3 hours of the insurrection, yeah.
Well,
So 3 hours later, he told people to go home.
I know people that were there, and
Let me ask you this. Have they been arrested yet?
not at the Capitol, but people that were just there participating in the.
Okay, can you give me just what were their full names and where do they live?
Why would I give you that?
I'm just curious. Like, I just want to know who they are. Like, I just, if they exist. So could you give me their name, please?
Yeah, Harry, if I think that this is political theater and if I think these people are being persecuted unjustly, do you think I'm also going to give you the names of people that?
Well, I'm just curious who they are. I just want to make sure they're real people. So what's their name?
There's lots of real people that were there.
What's their name?
Let me just finish what I'm saying. So
Wait, just give me their first name at least.
when there were people that were there and participating in this rally, which is what it was. Do you know that there were like 200 to 300 people that were already at the Capitol and that had broken through the barriers before the rest of the crowd had made
Correct.
it to the. Yes.
Yeah, so the violence started like 10 minutes.
300 people that were past all of the people that were there for the rally. How did they get there?
What was that? Oh, yeah. People left. This is all like detailed in the January 6th report. There were people who left early and started marching like 10 minutes before Trump's speech ended. And they had breached the Capitol already before the speech had ended. And Trump was informed of it. And he still insisted on going to the Capitol. The Secret Service said no. Then he went back to the Oval Office, watched it for 3 hours, and didn't do anything about it. As a matter of fact, the first tweet he sent out when he learned of the violence was not, hey, guys, what the hell are you doing? Stop doing this. Like, this is not what we're about. No, he attacked his vice president saying that Mike Pence needs to do the right thing.
You're trying to tell me that all the people that are there to support Trump, they left that rally while he was still talking and they went to go break through these barriers and storm the Capitol while he was still talking.
Correct. We have a detailed timeline of this. There are cameras all over DC.
Wild.
You can read the January 6th report. We have a timeline of all this.
Nobody would have left from where he was talking, and then
we have cameras with timestamps on them. We have cameras of people leaving the rally.
We have cameras of the 6 coach buses that were there that ushered these people in from who knows where.
6 coach buses, the buses that like Republicans took credit for sending, like people like Charlie Kirk and like those folks were saying, yeah, we're going to send a bus full of people to January 6th.
No, they
literally admitted to it. And Trump is like, yeah, come on in. Trump was given FBI reports from people that there's going to be violence on that day. He did nothing about it. He still held his rally. He knew people there were armed with like brass knuckles, knives, and different weapons. And he directed them to the Capitol anyway. And when the Secret Service was like, hey, these people are not getting through because of the metal detectors, he said, remove the metal detectors because their brass knuckles were getting caught on the metal detectors. So this guy knew what was happening. He absolutely knew what was going to happen. He had the FBI telling him there was going to be violence. There were people there with weapons. They were riled up. He said, like, come to January 6th, it will be wild. And his speech was incredibly inflammatory, saying when you see fraud at this level, there are different laws. You have to fight like hell. Go to the Capitol and things like that. Give me a break. He knew what he was doing. This dude's an insurrectionist who shouldn't be on the ballot right now. But, idiots.
It's not. Saying fight like hell is not a term that means go storm the Capitol.
I agree, but when you factor it in with everything else he said during that speech, it's quite concerning. And all the moments leading up to this speech, yeah, I think he knew exactly what he meant and exactly what he was doing when he said something like that.
You know that everybody was there hoping that Mike Pence was going to send back the electors to the state legislatures so that they could then look into these different states, swing states that had all these.
Yeah, so fraud. So defrauding the American people. Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, it was fully within his rights to send the electors back to the states.
As Law of the Wild said, fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. What the fuck? No, it's not within their right. No.
Yeah, it was. And they changed that.
No, the vice president
can't do that anymore.
Nope, they didn't change the rule. They just made it clearer what the vice president's role was. And they made it harder to object to results, which is good. Because instead of just having like one member of one senator and one House member, I think the level is like 25% of people objecting to something, which is good. We shouldn't have all these lunatics objecting to results all the time.
But the people that were there that were hoping that this election was going to be looked at in a different way, or that Biden or that Pence was going to send these back to the state legislators, why would they also want to ruin that? How does that make sense?
I don't know. Why don't you ask these lunatics? They were Proud Boys.
The people
they
that
were Proud
there.
Boys who testified that they were going there to unalive Mike Pence.
Oh wow, that sounds.
They testified to it under oath.
Yeah, I mean, to take the million people that were there trying to support fair and free elections, and then to take a few people out of there and say these were the extremists and they were going to go unalive somebody.
I think anybody who emptied the Capitol that day is an extremist.
I don't think that. No, not at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my. You don't think the people who walked into the fucking Capitol building are political extremists?
What's wild about walking into a Capitol building where cops are ushering?
Bro.
What is wrong? What is extremist about breaking into the Capitol building? Are you fucking kidding me?
Little old ladies were in the Capitol.
Old ladies can be extremists.
You don't think there's any old ladies that hold politically extremist views
and take somebody out? What?
They could hold extremist views
without taking someone out. Like what?
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys think this rally? You couldn't bring like any types of weapons into this rally. It was completely.
They got in. Some of the people got in.
So
they removed the metal detectors.
Honestly think that a group of people thought they were going to overtake the state capitol with sticks?
Doesn't mean they
didn't just bring sticks. They actually brought weapons. The Proud Boys literally
what
brought.
Kind of weapons did they bring?
There was a couple people charged with having a gun.
You thought they were going to beat up cops with their?
They were trying to assassinate Congress members.
Yeah. Why did people bring zip ties? Why did people bring firearms
with brass knuckles and sticks?
This guy just doesn't listen, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't. Hey, wait, it doesn't. Their tactics don't have to be good. They can still be bad at like trying to have an insurrection. It doesn't mean they didn't try.
No,
people were convicted with having a firearm on the Capitol grounds.
If people really wanted to have an insurrection, a real insurrection, and were really going after those people, which they weren't, then they wouldn't bring sticks.
What do you think they were doing?
And I think they were protesting, and I think that the antagonists, the professional
Protesting, just
agitators,
walking into the Capitol building, you know?
Yeah,
I think
and like
the
beating
Breaking the
police officers,
windows,
that-
you know?
I think
So,
the
wait,
professional
beating the police
agitators
officers,
that
what
were
kind of-
there,
what kind of
those
protest is
200
that?
people that were past the rest of the group and that Trump was holding away from those people, I think those people were there for a specific purpose, and I think they were plants to break through the barriers to get to
Dude.
Capitol Police. And
Wait, so all of these people who've been convicted, like the people who broke through the barriers because they were caught on camera because they're not that smart, that none of them have any ties to any left-wing organizations or any organizations that aren't far right. So where's the conspiracy? Why can't you guys just take responsibility? Why can't you just take like responsibility for the fact that
anybody
your
wanna
guy
take
fomented an insurrection and that's who you
responsibility
support?
why would anybody want to take responsibility for a setup?
Where's the setup? Where's the evidence of it? All of this is speculation,
All right,
not
who
backed
was-
up by a single thing.
what was that
I
one
can
guy's
say, I
name?
can say
Jeremy
that I
Sullivan?
think that
Jeremy
I can say that I think that
Sullivan,
that you're a setup, right? And then I think
Jeremy
that you're set up
Sullivan.
here to piss Parker and I off to
Jeremy
get
Sullivan.
MAGA to be
Yeah,
on the
some
side.
psyop from the
Listen,
Republican
you
Party.
wanna-
Yeah, I think
Antifa.
you're a psyop from the Republican Party. Does that make sense?
Not at all.
Is that speculation? Of course it is. Is there any evidence? No, of course not.
Jeremy Sullivan was Antifa. He was wearing a MAGA hat the whole time. He was filming
Who's
it. And
Jeremy
walking through.
Sullivan?
He's Antifa. He got
What?
taken in and he was released within like 48 hours. And he was
let's see.
Antifa.
Let's see. Do you know who Jeremy Sullivan is, Parker?
Never heard the name.
Wore a MAGA hat.
There's only I looked up Jeremy Sullivan January 6th. There's not a single article on it. The only article that comes up from a guy with the last name Sullivan is John Sullivan, and he was sentenced to 6 years in prison.
There were Antifa there. There was Antifa professional agitators, and it was
6'8", Tony. Thank you so much for the $10. Thank you.
Completely stand up by
Bro,
Nancy
this is so
Pelosi.
ridiculous.
It
And
was
Tony, thank you for the 10 as well.
Yo, Dario, I think
who
for the
was
$1
okay.
in
Who
Venmo, I
was Ray
appreciate you.
Epstein?
Ray Epps is also a right winger, and he's going to prison.
Ray Epps was an FBI.
He's going to prison. Wait, just because you're FBI doesn't mean you can't be a lunatic. What?
So you're telling me that the guy that was there telling everybody that they need to get closer, they need to go into the Capitol, they need to break through the Capitol, on film saying this stuff, who wasn't taken in for how many months? While everybody else was getting taken in right away?
He's on, sorry, so I actually misspoke. He's not going to prison. He's on probation right now.
Okay, he's
and
on
he
probation.
pleaded guilty.
There's been people in prison, in solitary confinement for just entering the Capitol. And he, who is on film, telling
They
people
wouldn't
they
just
need
be
to break
put in
in.
solitary
He was there the
confinement for
whole
no
time.
reason.
Yeah, they're not put in solitary confinement for no reason. And he only pled guilty to one charge. I think it was like disorderly conduct. So he had one charge against him and he pled guilty. A lot of these people like took it to trial, and instead of taking a plea deal, they took it to trial, were found guilty, and got longer sentences.
Ray Epps wasn't even picked up until months
By the way,
after
if
that.
But he
they
was
if they
arrested.
put someone in solitary for confinement with no reason, that would be that would meet the standard of cruelty, like the
Yeah,
unusual
they're-
cruelty.
They've done that.
Okay, then show me. Give me a source.
Yeah,
the
look,
guy
I have a New York
Because
Times
that would
article in
meet
front
the
of me.
unusual
Who's
cruelty
the guy that was
standard.
running for politics in Georgia? That was literally running from prison. He was one of the January 6th guys.
Justin, thank you for the $5 on Cash App. And Tony, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. Yeah, who are you talking
Guys.
about? The guy was running from prison.
I'll have to look up his name. There's a guy who's running for politics.
By the way, I have a New York Times
Georgia.
article in front of me. The FBI began looking into Mr. Epps, a former rancher and Marine from Arizona, almost immediately after January 6th,
no,
as
that's
investigators
BS.
came into possession of a video of him on the streets of Washington on January 5th, telling a group of Trump supporters to go into the Capitol the next day. Even though Mr. Epps cautioned the group to do so peacefully, several people in the crowd appeared to be suspect of him as a government plant and hounded him with jeers of "Fed."
Yeah, they were literally saying, "You're a Fed. We're not doing this. We're not following."
Yeah, but
this."
these lunatics chanting "Fed" at him doesn't mean he's a Fed, and he also said to go in peacefully, which is still wrong. You shouldn't be telling people to go into the Capitol peacefully or violent. But to say that this guy's a Fed is insane, and he's been convicted. He pled guilty.
and he's not getting any prison time. When people that
He's getting a
have
year of
far left,
probation because he got
people
one
that have-
charge he pled guilty to.
probation versus actual hard time that these people have been serving for just stepping foot on in the Capitol. It's wild.
Because
This is
he
all
pled
about-
guilty. I don't even know if Ray Epps went into the Capitol. So if he didn't go in, you're not going to have as much of a sentence. And disorderly conduct is like nothing. If you pled guilty to disorderly conduct, like you're not going to like, and it's one charge, not anything else, you're not going to like go to prison most likely.
And then how about we also talk about the girl who was shot?
Ashli Babbitt, yeah.
She's the only person that died that day. A little like 5'3" woman that was climbing through a door was shot, not given any warning shots, just shot.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
not how
chest
self-defense works.
because Nancy Pelosi gave the order to shoot to kill if anyone enters that area.
What the fuck? Bro,
You don't think that's
y'all be making up anything, bro. Nancy Pelosi gave the order to shoot to kill. Y'all be making up everything, bro.
So who gave that person the order to shoot to kill if he did no warning shots and shot her in the chest?
She was crawling through a window
Unarmed.
at a police officer. Doesn't
Unarmed.
matter.
Doesn't matter. What do you mean? A little woman crawling through
she was
unarmed?
trespassing. So wait.
So people get shot for
let's just paint the
trespassing?
picture.
Murder for trespassing.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can be shot for trespassing.
Listen to what you're saying here.
What are you talking about? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on a Capitol building,
Your own
when there are
tax
police
dollars go
officers
towards
being
that
beaten in
building.
front of the building by
Your tax dollars go
rioters,
towards
the
that
same
building.
rioters who are standing in front of them. These cops are being beaten with flagpoles, getting pepper sprayed, and being knocked out. Right?
No,
they're
the
being
cops were
assaulted in
they
mass,
were also-
and then these people come through the building, and then they're barging through windows, trying to come at more police officers. Yeah, the guy is going to shoot them.
So you're telling me that a woman who was a vet that served, I think it was the Air Force, her tax dollars, her blood, sweat, and tears went into this country, and she's trespassing on our own capital that we own. She gets shot while she's nonviolent.
They were
and not-
telling her,
and she has
do not
no
come
weapon.
through the window. They were saying, do not come through the window. Do not come through the window. Do not
was
come
a
through the
door.
window. She stepped through the window. And I'm not cheering this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not like happy that she was shot. But we have laws that do this. You can't beat a bunch of police officers and go into a building, then try to lunge at another police officer through a window and then be like, oh, I'm so surprised that something happened that is perfectly foreseeable. She was breaking an entry. She was trespassing.
That's wild that you think it's normal for somebody who's entering into the Capitol unarmed and
How are the cops
just
supposed to know that?
deserves to be shot for trespassing.
How is the cop supposed to know that? Wait. Let me just get this straight. If a cop is telling somebody in a high intensity situation where a bunch of assaults just happened and somebody's like lunging through the window at them after being warned, you think that the cop shooting them is totally unjustified? That there's no reason why that should be the case?
I don't know where you get she was lunging at him. He was not even within arm's length of her. He was around a corner.
Wait.
Hit the shooter. She was still in the
Yeah, and they were
was still in the
exactly.
window
She's
when
like
she was
going
shot.
through the window at the cop.
What do you think she was gonna attack the cop without?
They just beat the cops out front with flagpoles.
You think Ashli Babbitt beat the cops with flagpoles?
No, but how is this cop meant to know that Ashli Babbitt did or did not?
Because he can see that she's unarmed and she's got two hands.
How is
reaching
the
through
cop
door.
in that time meant to know whether Ashli Babbitt hit a cop outside or not?
I don't think that. I think that you look at the situation, what's going on, and even if she's hit a cop, that doesn't deserve to be shot for.
All right, bro. So you just don't agree with like self-defense laws? You don't agree with like a reasonable fear for your life?
You think that everybody that hits a cop should be shot without even?
How are you drawing these insane conclusions?
You just told me.
I did not say that anybody, if you hit a cop, you automatically should be shot. But if you're in this, no. If you're in this that's not also not what I said at all. I don't know how you got that. If you're in a circumstance where a bunch of police officers are being assaulted and a police officer is standing at a door and in the midst of trespassing, the cop is like saying through the window, don't come through, do not come through. And then you decide to jump through at the cop. I'm sorry. I wish it wouldn't have done that. I wish Ashli Babbitt didn't do that. I wish she was still alive today, even though I disagree with her politically, even though I think she's crazy, but she lunged at the cop. And I'm sorry, but you can't expect for the cop to not take action if he is in reasonable fear for his life, which perfectly reasonable to be. You're hearing on the radio these cops saying like, tell my wife I love them. Tell my wife I love them. Tell like my kids I love them if I don't make it. right? You're hearing these screams from the cops outside, and you're seeing your fellow police officers getting beaten, and you're like, oh, well, she lunged through the building, and the cop should just stand there and then take the risk of like tackling her, arresting her, and then what if the rest of the people come at him? The fuck? You're like you're
talking
like
about
anti-cop now.
You're talking about a woman who's 5'2" and she weighed like 100 pounds.
How is the cop supposed to know? How is the cop supposed to know what Ashli Babbitt has on her or what she can or cannot do to the cop?
Because he can see her two hands pulling through the door.
Yeah, how does he know? How does she know, or how does the cop know that she doesn't have something in her pockets and she's going to reach for? Right? She's lunging at him. She's going through the window after being told to stop, and after hearing all these cops.
There was not a single
here's the
gun
thing.
found.
Here's the thing. In any other circumstance, you'd be like perfectly fine with this happening. Perfectly
not
fine.
at all.
I'm sure that there are plenty of black men who have been killed out there by cops that you defend.
Plenty of black men that have been killed.
Yeah. I'm sure there are plenty of black men who have been shot by cops unjustly that you would be like, oh, there's no problem.
No, I don't think that.
Do you think Derek Chauvin was correctly convicted?
I think we're pivoting off of Jan 6.
I'm asking you, do you think Derek Chauvin was correctly convicted?
I think we should stay on topic.
I'm asking you a simple question. Do you think that Derek Chauvin, the guy who killed George Floyd, was correctly convicted?
Do I think that Derek Chauvin was correctly convicted? I think that the autopsy showed that he had levels of fentanyl in his.
See.
What was the cause of death?
And they didn't shoot.
See,
Hey, Wealth,
no,
Wealth,
see?
Wealth,
shot.
Wealth.
No,
What-
oh
what-
my
Floyd didn't
God.
get shot, Harry.
Wealth,
Oh
what
my
was the cause of
God.
death?
Give me a fucking see. What did I just say? See, I gotta go get more water, bro. You go, Park.
Wealth, can you answer my
George
question,
Floyd.
please? I asked you a question very straightforward.
He
What
didn't
was
get
the cause
shot.
of death?
Was it asphyxiation?
Yes. So then why is it relevant that he had a drug in his system?
Because it's a highly lethal drug that he had in his system.
Yeah, but it wasn't the cause of death.
I think it all contributes. I think that.
Oh,
if
that's
you're
not
high on
what the
drugs-
autopsy said. Did it list it as a cause of death?
You know what? If you're high on fentanyl that kills people just from sniffing a little bit of
Was
fentanyl.
it listed as a cause of death?
So, Parker, you're putting all of your.
I would love for you to answer the question.
Yeah, well, you're putting all of your faith in this particular person's autopsy of a highly political death.
Are you denying? Are you saying that like the autopsy was performed incorrectly?
It could have been, absolutely.
Oh, why are you denying this? Why are you acting like it was
Because it was a
performed
highly
incorrectly?
politically
Can you give me any
motivated-
evidence to believe that the autopsy was performed incorrectly?
The fact that he had fentanyl in his system is evidence.
That doesn't change anything. You also have to say F drug.
You also have to say what?
You have to say F drug. Second of all, are you saying that he's literally putting his MD on the line?
Absolutely. I think we saw that during COVID. All the doctors that put their MDs on the line and got silenced.
So you think that specifically he was lying?
I think he certainly could have been. I don't know for a fact that he was.
Do you think he was lying? Yes or no?
I couldn't tell you, Parker. I just know that this is a highly political death that BLM, leveraged into creating a mass movement and stoking the
No way you're
flames-
doubling down on this. This is crazy. No
stoking
way you're
the
doubling
flames
down.
of racism across America when we should be coming together.
No way. Is he doubling down on the George Floyd thing?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh my God, bruh. Even though they had a bunch of experts testifying that there was clearly a murder, that he was killed, that his airways were cut off, that he was already a user of fentanyl, so the heightened he was a user of
Your
fentanyl, so
airways
heightened
aren't cut
levels.
off if you can still talk.
If
You can talk,
What?
your airways aren't cut off. If you can say,
Oh, this guy is so dumb. Oh, God.
no,
God help
hey,
us.
I used to do jujitsu. I know what getting
God
choked
has
out
helped
is
us
like.
all. So wait. So let me ask you this: they evaluated George Floyd's body and like the concrete after the fact, and they found that he was struggling so much that his nails were digging into the
Oh my
concrete.
gosh, that is the most. That is.
What does that not signal struggle?
That's the kind of stuff that is just absolutely wild. It's like
Does that wait? Because the experts who testified, I think I forget what the name is, but the expert in like breathing and airways, they testified that was evidence that he was struggling, that he didn't have air anymore, that air was struggling to get into his lungs, and he was struggling so much his nails were chipping into the concrete. It was like in his nails.
You're hitting your viewers with so much sensationalism to try to make your point.
This is part of the trial. They testified to this. This was part of the trial.
American Girl, thank you so much for the $11.05. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Harry, your airways are not blocked if you can talk.
That is the dumbest. It's the
That's a
dumbest
fact.
Because he wasn't talking when he was about to die.
He's saying, I can't breathe.
Yeah, and then he couldn't breathe, right? And then the knee stayed on the back of his neck, and then he died eventually. It wasn't like he died like that after he was dying while he was saying he couldn't breathe. But the knee was on his neck. His airway was restricted for an extended amount of time, and then he died.
He could have died from the fentanyl. You're putting
There's
all
no
your faith
evidence that he did.
There's no good evidence indicating that.
There's
You guys
literally
think
no
that
good
there's
evidence.
never
There's
been-
not a single expert testified to that being a possibility at his trial. That he perished because of the fentanyl, because
so
he was already a
highly-
fentanyl user. So the heightened
highly-
levels of fentanyl in his system is something that his body would have adjusted to.
Let me ask you a question, both of you. Do you guys think that there's ever been an autopsy performed in history that was incorrect?
There was multiple autopsies performed on him, some by the state and
No, I'm
some
just saying in
paid for
history.
by the family.
Do you ever think that there's been one that's been performed incorrectly in history?
I'm sure that there's
Obviously,
an
but it's
autopsy.
extraordinarily unlikely. So you just saying this is not a good argument at all. Like
Well, I'm
it's
just saying-
possible that a unicorn exists.
I'm saying that in a situation where something is as politicized as what George Floyd was and how it became, it's not outside of the realm of thinking that
I just don't think there's good
autopsy
evidence
could have
indicating
been-
that. So what good evidence indicates that?
Yeah, what evidence do
The
you have
fact
of
that
this?
he had the F whatever in his system.
That's not good evidence indicating.
That is great evidence.
No, it's not. It's
That
really not.
literally
we
kills
know- we
people just from taking it by itself.
we
Yeah,
know
but
that
that's
he
not
was-
good evidence because the cause of death is not listed as that. It's not indicated
So
as
wait,
that by the
let me just
autopsy.
get this straight.
because
You think that
what if the cause of death
uh,
was listed as that?
you think that the autopsy
That would be
people-
sufficient
nearly as
evidence.
much?
You think that the autopsy people were so bad at their jobs that multiple autopsy people missed the F in his system and
No,
instead
Harry.
went with like a biased conclusion? Is that what your assumption is
No.
here?
I'm not naive enough to think that people can't get bought off to write a certain thing on
Oh
an
my
autopsy.
god. Oh my god.
Hey, do you know how the CIA was formed?
I can't even.
The CIA was formed first to overthrow an Italian election, and they did it. That was their first mission. And we're just going to sit here and pretend like one autopsy report that was performed by these
multiple.
experts,
There was multiple. There wasn't one. There was
multiple autopsies. We're just supposed to take that for truth when the guy.
Yeah, when they
had
have similar
fentanyl in his
findings.
system?
Yeah. When you have experts testifying to the consistencies of George Floyd dying is consistent with him having a restricted airway, and when you have autopsies finding the exact same conclusion, yeah, it shows that the evidence is pointing in one direction, not this conspiracy that you and the right wing have made up about him. It's ridiculous.
I don't think it's very conspiratorial to just say
It's absolutely
fentanyl could
conspiratorial.
have killed him.
No, it's absolutely conspiratorial because no experts were testifying.
Well, the experts said that it was in his system.
Yeah.
Why do you keep
and all the-
arguing this, bro? Like you're
Yeah,
just
all
like
the- all
literally
the-
ridiculous.
Yeah, all
Let's
the
just look
experts
at the-
knew.
let's
All
just
the
look at
experts
the
knew it was in
impact
his
of it.
system, and they're like,
Let's
"Yeah,
look at
this
the
didn't kill him."
impact. Let's look at the impact. BLM happens. Racism is the flames of racism is fanned across the United States. The people that would want us to be divided get that, and then it's used to create more political capital for people that are leveraging these situations to gain power. Not good. I think that we should all be coming together to work together against the people that.
Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
Why
You
are
don't
you
think we should
telling-
be coming together when you're like saying like, yeah, Ashli Babbitt was unjustly shot even though she was lunging at a police officer, but George Floyd, who was restricted on the ground, wasn't moving. Yeah, they should have kept the knee on his neck. Get the fuck out of here.
So
Don't
you're-
give me this,
so
like,
you're defending-
no, don't give me this crap of like I
you're
think
defending-
we should unite. This is
So you
this is total
don't
crap.
like a veteran that literally fought for our country, and you do like a drug addict that had a criminal record. Is that what you're
Dude,
saying?
what?
What the
We're saying that they don't deserve to be literally fucking
No,
murdered. What do you not get about that? Literally, it's wrong for people to be unjustly
Do
murdered.
you know what murders people?
What are you
Parker?
talking about?
You know what murders people? A bullet to the neck.
and
And
choking
so does
somebody out so they can't
asphyxiation.
breathe. So yeah, exactly. If you can't breathe either, you die. But 9 minutes. Like somebody in the chat is like 9 minutes. I think at the time he had the knee on the neck. Insane, absolute insanity. And like you justify George Floyd. You justify that.
Listen.
But Ashli Babbitt's lunging at a police officer. You're like, well, she's a veteran. There are plenty of veterans out there who can do bad things.
Harry,
We love veterans. We love people who serve our country, but that doesn't mean you get to lunge at a police officer while you're invading the Capitol
He
building.
never lunged at the police officer. Harry.
Watch the video.
The video. Yeah, you can watch
the video.
She's crawling.
Watch it. Oh, thank God he got a phone call. Please, unexpectedly drop.
Please unexpectedly
Please.
drop.
Oh my God.
Yikes. All right, give it a second, everyone. Tap that screen, share live. If you want to help us out, Venmo, Cash App in the bio as always, everyone. You already know the deal. But if you have any questions, you can put in the comments section, everyone. We still got a little bit left on the live, y'all.
Like, I don't know if this guy can't figure out how to unmute, but I'm not opposed. Yeah, I mean the law. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this word, but the autopsy found that it was cardiopulmonary. There you go, cardiopulmonary arrest was the cause of death, and law enforcement subdual, restraint, and neck compression. But no, apparently that it would paid off. You know what, man? I'm just going to drop this guy because I think
he's just useless.
It's actually absurd, bro. It's actually absurd. All right, Venmo, Cash App in both of our bios, link in bio for the link tree. Make sure to keep double tapping the screen. Let's try to get to 600,000 likes. Drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. And of course, Parker does lives literally every single day, hours upon hours. You have to check some of those lives out.
I already know it.
All right, Levy. Well, thank you, Harry. Yeah, I think that was enough, man. I think that was enough. I knew that once he was like, yeah, he justified Ashli Babbitt, I knew that there was something wrong. I was like, there has to be some inconsistency here, and we found it. So, all right, if you're MAGA, let us know. We'll bring you up, and we'll chat. Make sure if you are requesting up, you only are MAGA. We're looking for some debates this evening. If we're on the same side of the issue, no need to convince you. No need to convince you. Let's see here. Prism, I think I'm pretty sure I talked to you the other day. I'll invite you up, but I'm not 100%. Did I talk to you the other day? Did I talk to you the other day or no?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay, what's up, man? Are you MAGA?
Devin, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
All right, why are you MAGA?
I just think Joe Biden is racist.
Yo, Kelly, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you. Bessie Mommy, but yeah, absolutely. Let me, I'll mod you again, Kelly. If you make yourself known in the chat, I'll find you.
Do you think Trump isn't racist?
I think of the two, Joe Biden is more racist.
Can you
Trump was
justify that?
Yeah, I can. Joe Biden was eating dinner with a black family and he brought fried chicken. And he said quotes
It's
like,
whoa. Let's just start right there. It's a local diner. It's like a favorite of the families. They like recommended it.
it's kind of a stereotype that black people like fried chicken.
Whoa. Buddy. This is like a family favorite. This is like where
Someone's
they
thinking
enjoy
the $10.
eating.
Thank you so much.
It.
Yeah, also, I can send you an article right now that says that Trump allegedly called a black contestant on The Apprentice the N-word over and over again.
Who did that?
Trump.
I'd have to do more research on that because I'm not.
Just look up Trump N-word.
I know Biden has done the N-word before in a court hearing.
And it wasn't a court hearing. It was Congress. He was opposing a racist nominee. He wasn't saying it. He was reading a quote from that guy.
But he still said it.
Yeah, which he's apologized about. Every single time we point to about these circumstances with Joe Biden, he's going to come out and apologize for these things. Where's Donald Trump's apologies?
I have to do more research on the one that Donald Trump has said. But Joe Biden, he said stuff that you can't go into 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts without.
Yeah, he was talking about the increase in he was talking about the increase of Indian Americans working in the state of Delaware. They were like
Again, he goes and
American
apologizes after these things, whereas Trump says these things, and it is the case that he doesn't apologize about them. He also specifically had housing discrimination lawsuits, where specifically it is the case that he or that his business would tell black families there were no openings, whereas white families, they would tell their openings, and they would mark non-white applicants, right, with the letter C so that they didn't tell them that there were openings.
Yeah, well, I could go on and on. Biden, he said, if you have a problem figuring out if you're for me or if you're for Trump, then you ain't black. There's some more quotes like that.
Yeah, he was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God, and that is said on the Breakfast Club all the time. They say, like, if you don't do this or that, you're not black. And Biden was playing into the joke.
That comment.
Wait.
Yeah,
Biden
which he
was
came out and
into,
apologized, right?
But yeah, he came out and apologized. He was playing into the joke, and I don't think. Wait, one second. I don't think that anybody's claiming. One second. I don't think that anybody's claiming it's appropriate, but there's obviously more context to it. If he's using a joke that's like made on the show, he's obviously not saying it in a racist way. Especially if he's coming out and saying like, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. I apologize."
Yeah, it's pretty tough that Joe Biden, he's having to apologize over and over and over for these horrible, comments.
Well, Trump should have to apologize over and over and over and over again, but he won't do it. Bragging about assaulting women. I don't know, on audio, saying he dated a 10-year-old girl, saying he dated his own daughters, calling his daughter, wait, I'm not done yet, calling his daughter voluptuous or talking about her amazing figure live on air, saying that one of the things he has in common with his daughter is sex, saying that E. Jean Carroll is just not his type and that's why he wouldn't assault her. Maybe he apologized for that stuff. Or saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. I don't know, maybe apologize for that. Or making fun of a disabled reporter or calling his political opponents vermin. Thank you, Kerry, for the boxing glove. There's a variety of things that Donald Trump could apologize for, but he won't.
Yeah, but, you could go, Biden's daughter's diary. There was some pretty disgusting
That's not been verified.
things in there about the shower.
The contents have not been verified. The diary exists. Nope, that's not true.
Came out to be true.
That's not true. Ashley Biden confirmed the diary exists and that it was her diary, but the contents of the diary, we have no idea if that.
So the diary did
exist. Are real.
exist.
There is a diary that exists. We do not know what the contents of the diary are. There are people who have published things claiming to be the contents of the diary. We have no idea if that's been verified.
I don't believe that. I believe,
What do you mean you don't believe that?
I believe the contents of the diary has been verified.
By who?
By the people who obtained the diary.
Really? You think that those people are to be trusted, that if they say it, it's automatically true? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. If they have
that makes no sense. It's not been verified by the FBI. It's not been verified by Ashli Biden. It's not been verified by any court. It's been verified by a bunch of people who stole a diary and then sold it for profit. Don't you think that these people who are stealing a diary with the intention of making money might have a financial motive to claim that the contents are real?
I don't think that they'd make stuff like that up out of the thin blue.
Oh, really? They'd steal a diary to sell it for profit so they can hurt Joe Biden's presidency, but they wouldn't make stuff up about the diary.
No.
And even when Ashli Biden wrote to a judge in the case of the woman who stole the diary and sold it, saying that a lot of the quotes are being taken out of context or there are things being said about her in the diary that are not true, you don't think that maybe some of those things are lies?
No, I really don't, because
So of course, you're just a political hack.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're a political hack. You're like trying to target a family for something that doesn't exist. It's not been verified by anybody. It's been verified by a bunch of right wingers, and you're like, yeah, I believe it. So of course you're a political hack.
Okay. Well, how about the creepy moments that Joe Biden has had with these kids where he sniffs them?
He doesn't. What are you talking about?
Have you seen videos of Trump touching and kissing little kids?
Yeah. Let me show you. Let me show you a compilation that I posted.
I'll show you a video.
Yeah, while we're doing this, you can bring that up. Yeah, this doesn't happen. He doesn't like sniff. This is like one of the worst lies about Joe Biden.
It's not.
But let me play you this clip about. Let me play you these 40 seconds of clips of Donald Trump talking about his daughter Ivanka.
Oh my gosh! Really?
What do you not want to hear it?
No, you're just changing the subject. I'm talking about racism, and you're talking about a completely different topic.
You just brought up Ashli Biden's diary. You can play that game. But except this is real.
Because you changed the topic first.
I've said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
If I weren't happily married and, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very voluptuous.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
He described his daughter as voluptuous. And you want to tell me that there's something inappropriate about Joe Biden and Ashley Biden's diary that's not even been verified? Please.
I'm not
spare
necessarily
me.
saying that those comments are exceptional by any means, but
Go ahead. You can condemn them. Go ahead. Do it.
okay,
Say they're bad.
I condemn those comments.
Great.
I think we're on the same page as far as that, but I'm not talking about Donald Trump right now. I'm talking about Joe Biden and how he's and his racist remarks.
Okay, bring up more than you want to talk about. I mean, I thought we exhausted that, but go ahead.
We can talk about Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump has done more for the black community than Joe Biden
Like what?
ever has. Well,
Like what?
he's provided funding for the HBCUs.
Biden's
Wait,
provided more.
255 million a year, whereas Obama gave 4 billion and
I'm not
Biden gave
talking about
16 billion.
Obama. When am I talking about Obama, Parker?
I,
Yeah, we
I
were
was
saying that
showing
he
you
did-
that. I
wait,
was
you said
showing
that
you.
he-
Wait. Listen, I was showing you that Trump was decreasing the amount of funding going to HBCUs. That prior it was 4 billion under Obama's
provided
administration,
funding
which
for
was
the
500 million a year. Under Trump, it was 255 million a year, which was a reduction by 250 million almost. And then we increased under Biden's administration to 16 billion over 4 years, which is 4 billion a year.
The claim that Donald Trump is racist is ridiculous because he provided low unemployment rates for the black and
Lower
Hispanic
under
community.
Biden.
What?
Lower under Biden.
No, it wasn't because
Yes.
COVID.
I'll prove you wrong on this as well.
Yeah, do it. And don't bring up some
great.
2020 stat because COVID happened.
Biden wasn't president in 2020.
I know you're gonna bring up an unemployment stat that was during 2020.
No, I'm not. I'm not not talking. We're talking about the lowest points, right? We're talking about the lowest points. The record the record low set for black unemployment was set in 2023 under Biden. The record low for black or African American unemployment rate, 4.8%, was set under Biden in April 2023. That beat the Trump era low that was a record at the time, 5.3% in August of 2019 and September 2019. So Biden had it at a 4.8. Trump had it at 5.3. 4.8 is lower than 5.3.
Okay, I have a question for you. Do you think that Donald Trump is racist?
Yes.
Why?
Sued for housing discrimination in the 1970s, telling like white tenants that there was space in his buildings open, but telling people of color that it wasn't. Had to settle outside of court. His 2 countersuits against the DOJ for that were thrown out of court. He says that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. I mean, the fuck?
I think he was talking about the people who are bringing in the drugs, the immigrants that were bringing in the drugs and poisoning the people with the drugs that they're bringing in.
Yeah, except that's not what he said. So
Then what did he say, Harry?
I just said it. He also claimed that Obama wasn't born in the United States. What?
Well, there was very little
person of
evidence
color
of
because
that.
he's black. First black president. What? What'd you say?
There was very little evidence that Obama was born in America.
You fucking promoting the same damn bullshit. This guy has the craziest views. You promoting the same damn bullshit that fucking Trump promoted. There's no good evidence indicating that he was not born in the United States. There is good evidence indicating he was born in the U.S.
Oh my God.
You're just factually wrong.
God
help us, man.
You guys are doing this little 2v1 here. I'm really liking it.
I'll be quiet.
I did. Parker's like not talked all that much during this.
I think he's talked a good amount.
Don't think so.
Not really, but go for it.
Yeah. If you're struggling, you can just say that. American Girl, thank you for the $11. I appreciate you. And Bella, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. It goes a long way. Oh my goodness. Yo, W. Evelyn in the chat, $50 on Cash App. W. Evelyn. Thank you for all your support by keeping it real. I appreciate you, Evelyn. W. Evelyn, golly. You're going crazy. I appreciate you.
Harry.
What?
I want to talk about some of Trump's policies that he has had that's benefited the American
All right,
people.
apologize for saying that Obama might not have been born in the United States.
I'm not apologizing for that.
Apologize for it.
You should.
Apologize for it.
I do believe that he was born in the U.S., but
Okay, so apologize for suggesting otherwise. Do it or I kick you.
really,
No, he's not going to believe it. He doesn't actually believe it.
I'll 100% kick you.
I'm
if you
trying
don't
to
say
prove a point here with Trump's policies, and
Yeah, you can do that as long as you apologize for like making up a conspiracy theory about Obama. So, or like at least pushing it in some degree. So apologize or I kick you.
Okay, you go ahead, kick me, Harry. That
Okay.
just means you lost. So
No, it means that you
No, it
push,
doesn't.
push a
Well, it
racist
means you
conspiracy
lost
theory about
because I'm proving
Obama.
it.
So
Marcella, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Marcella. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
W Marcella.
So funny, so funny.
All right, if you're MAGA, let us know in the chat. Yo, Carrie, thank you for the boxing glove. I appreciate it. And Marcella, thank you for the $20 on Venmo as well. W Marcella, I appreciate you. Yeah, guy like spreads a racist conspiracy theory and then just like, oh, you're gonna kick me? Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Literally a racist conspiracy theory, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna apologize for it."
Like, all right, bye. We'll sleep just fine tonight. All right, Hannah, come up. I just sent you an invite. Nicholas, I sent you an invite as well. Almost 600K. Yeah, we're only like 200 likes, or not 200, 2,000 likes away from 600,000. What's up, Hannah?
Hey, how are y'all?
Good. How are you? How old are you?
32.
32. Are you MAGA?
I mean, I support Trump, but like I don't walk around with MAGA hats.
Okay.
Not
So
that
why?
I'm against it though.
What state are you voting in?
Texas.
Texas. Okay. And why are you MAGA? Like, why do you support Trump more than Biden?
I think he's a better leader. And
Why do you think that?
What now? What did you say?
I said, why do you think that? Why do you think he's a better leader?
Just because it's nice to have somebody that is not part of Washington that, has successfully ran businesses and is a good leader, seems to understand the working people.
Trump, the guy with like gold toilets in his penthouse in New York City that's worth like $50 million, understands working people.
Yep, so well.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, have you not watched, there's rich people.
Did you know his tax policy decreased after-tax income for the lowest quintile and the middle class while increasing it for the top 1%, and the highest quintile through his entire tax policy? So it took money from poor people and the middle class and gave it to rich people. So he understands rich people and poor people so much that he takes money from poor people and gives it to rich people.
Yeah, is that also why he's promising a tax cut for like some of the wealthiest people again if he wins and screwing over the middle class again?
Biden would do the same thing.
Biden's proposing the opposite, taxing the wealthy more and taxing the middle class less.
Do you know why is it that? So one of the things that bothers me about Biden and that I like about Trump is the American people want a president that is available.
Evelyn, thank you for the $40 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Evelyn. I really appreciate that, Evelyn. Oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Shout
and
out
Kelly,
Evelyn.
thank you so much for the $4. Thank you. I appreciate it. Or $5.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, the American people want a president or a leader that, is available. And it's like, it feels like this whole time, and whether people like to.
The pH in your stomach should be between 1 and 3, very, very acidic. And the purpose of that acidity is to help you break down protein, is to help you absorb minerals, also absorb B12, as well as to kill off pathogens, right? I'm talking about bacteria, fungus, parasites that could be in your food.
Trump did.
Yeah, because he's a little busy, right? Like,
Well,
your
Trump
average
is
president's
too.
kind of like doing some stuff. He's traveling around the world.
But sometimes people would like to speak to the leader of the country, ask him direct questions and have him answer. And
He's busy. I mean, he's doing
the pH in your stomach
quite frequently. I mean, he just had a press conference the other day when he was speaking in Italy, and answers questions quickly, like if he's getting on his helicopter or plane, whatever, briefly before. And he's also sat down with Time for an entire interview the other day, or at least in the recent months, for what he would do if he won in a second term. Like, he's answering questions directly from the media. He just he doesn't stop into the press briefing room every single day because he's like busy. He's not.
I don't expect him to every day. Trump didn't either. But haven't y'all noticed if someone asks him a direct question, he calls them a name. He looks at them and walks away.
Isn't that what Trump does?
No, Biden has done that.
Sounds like Trump to me.
No, he has said, yes, of course Trump was like that to the media. He was on to them. But I'm saying Biden,
What? That's what?
if anybody catches Biden in something, then he just stares at him and walks away and laughs, or says, "Oh, you're a real piece of work," or "You're."
Yeah, that's not true. Like,
Yes,
he doesn't.
have you not watched the videos?
I've watched videos of Biden being laughing at a ridiculous question from a media member, but that to insinuate that that's the overwhelming majority of the time is nuts. You just watch very selective clips of Biden.
No, I don't actually. And
You
I wanted to ask you and Parker actually that Do you? Everybody can be accused of this, but do y'all just watch one side? Do you
No.
really do your thorough research?
Yes, I do thorough research.
It
Yeah,
just doesn't.
we both do thorough research, and we talk to people who disagree with us every single day of our lives.
Right. I'm just wondering because I can be fair. Like I heard something the other day. Someone asked if you ask most Trump supporters to name a few things they don't like about Trump, most of them have something to say. You ask people to say something negative about Biden, they make a face and look at you like you just like you're an idiot.
Trista, thank you for the
One
$20
bad
on Cash App. I appreciate you and your kind message. It means a lot. W Trista. Yeah, because I think you get a much easier question than we do. Trying to name something bad about Biden is like significantly harder than naming something bad about Donald Trump.
No, that's not true at all. And
What do you mean? Sexual abuser, convicted felon, proven fraudster? I mean, there's so many things that Donald Trump has done that's terrible.
I've heard you say this over and over. And in fact, a second ago, you were talking to one of the last speakers and you kept talking about how Trump caused the insurrection. But so if we're all going to be fair about people being convicted or not, was he convicted of that in a court of law?
No, I'm not saying that he's like guilty in a court of law for it.
Right. So isn't anybody presumed innocence, right? First?
Yeah, I don't think we go off the standard of like, did somebody do something or not always by the court of law. Like they're like, if you,
but people can have an opinion, but you even gave the same thing about Ashli Babbitt and about George Floyd. You said that because Ashli Babbitt was storming at someone, she deserved to be shot. It's okay. But you can't say, you wouldn't say the same thing about George Floyd. You can't be one or the other.
Wait, because of course you can. It's circumstantial. Different circumstances require different solutions. So like Ashli Babbitt charging through at a police officer, like, yeah, that's an entirely different circumstance than George Floyd being on the ground, not threatening anybody, and that police officer keeping his knee on his neck for 9+ minutes.
A ton of videos out there that do not have headlines that say Ashli Babbitt was storming at a police officer.
She was trespassing.
Yes, trespassing.
She was already breaking the law. She was already breaking the law, and she was going through a window when a cop was telling him not to do that. So the cop is saying, don't do that. Don't do that. He's holding a gun pointed at her. And then she jumps through the window after all the group that she was with was beating police officers outside.
Okay. Well, one of the main things that I wanted to say, I don't want to argue. I'm not going to argue about January 6th. But I want to talk about the border crisis.
Okay.
So I heard y'all say, I think it was a couple of days ago, where someone directly asked you, do you see that we have open borders? And y'all both said no. You said we flat out don't. How can you say that? How can you not?
What is open borders?
Like people just coming across. Like there's no.
We've removed 3.5 times as many people from the country than Trump's administration. So did Trump have open borders?
No, he did not have open borders.
Then how can we remove more people and then have open borders if Trump didn't have open borders?
Statistic I did not hear y'all talking about when you talked about the border crisis was all the gotaways. Doesn't that concern you as an American? That there was something like 1.5, 1.8 million border crossings that were gotaways?
How do you know that?
That's a statistic that's over Reuters. It's on New York Times. I've seen it on 5 or 6 different sources.
How many gotaways?
It was even from the border crossing patrol team themselves. And that, to me, as an American, where it should be Americans are put first, gotaways are concerning. They haven't been apprehended. New York Post. They weren't seeking asylum. There was nothing like that. They weren't checked. They were gotaways. That means 1.8 million people in our country that we don't know who they are, what their intentions are. We have children here. Americans should come first. I'm all for immigration when it's done the correct way, but the gotaways don't concern you?
No, not to the degree that you are worried, like our children and stuff like that. Like, obviously, I think that everybody should register through the border. I don't think people should be crossing illegally. But am I worried about like a bunch of people coming into the country unauthorized? Like, worried in what sense? Like, am I worried they're going to commit crime or something? Like what?
Yeah, it's like we're not talking about 108 people. We're talking about 1.8 million.
Yeah, so there were like, I think there was like 1.4 million gotaways between like 2010 and 2020. And this number you're getting, by the way, was reported on by the New York Post. It's also 1.7, and it's the New York Post, like a subsidiary of Fox News, owned by Rupert Murdoch. But there were 1.4 million gotaways during 2010, 2020, and there wasn't like a huge increase in crime as a result of gotaways, right? I mean, do you think that that's now the case?
To prove, though. I think that would be really hard to prove. That's why it's so concerning. Because how are you going to keep track of? I just saw today that there was a article about that for the caseload for people at the border is like one person for every 7,000 people, for every 7,000 cases. How in the world? That's too much workload for someone to go through.
Okay, so increase the amount of people who are dealing with the workload. That's literally what Democrats are advocating for. That's what Biden's advocating for.
But we don't have that solved now.
Secondly, I also just want to say this. Republicans are blocking things to do with the border, right? The border bill was blocked by Republicans that were getting orders by Trump. Trump was saying, block the border bill because I don't want Democrats to look good and I don't want Ukraine funding. Ukraine funding passed 2 weeks later anyway. And literally... there was a solo border bill that he also tried to get shot down as well, right? He said, blame me if the border bill fails. And what happened? The border bill failed.
Thank you, baby dragon. Appreciate you. Yeah, so you can't like blame Joe Biden for any of this. You've got to blame the Republicans who are standing in the way of the progress.
Why though? Why can't we agree to blame both? Why does
Joe Biden's not at fault.
Everything have to be one side or the other? Yes, it is. Biden shot down.
What did Joe Biden do?
He is only acting now about the border because he wants to win. He sees things
That's
are not going his way. Yes, it is.
He didn't introduce an immigration bill on day one of his presidency called the U.S. Citizenships Act of 2021. And the Republicans said no again.
That man sways with the wind depending on what the votes look like.
That's not true. Obviously not. If he introduced an immigration bill on day one of his presidency when it wasn't a super discussed topic, then obviously he's not just like introducing immigration now because the votes are doing this. But even if it were the case that this suddenly became a very important issue for the American people and it was something that more and more people would think about, it would be weird for Joe Biden to not try to act on that policy. Like he just sees a bunch of people being concerned about it and he's just going to be like, well, I don't want to look like I'm doing it for political reasons, so I'm not going to do anything about it. No, he should act if the American people are saying, hey, we want you to act. And he tried, and the Republicans are saying no. So you shouldn't vote for the people who are allowing the issue to persist if you care about it.
I disagree. I'm sorry. I just disagree. I just think that Biden does it. Everyone wants to blame everything on Trump. Trump's not perfect. I'll be the first to say it, and I have voted for him, and I'm going to vote for him again. And just in the last 3 months, I have helped 32 people register to vote, and they're all going to vote for Trump.
What state do you vote in?
Huh?
What state are you living in?
I'm in Texas, but I also helped in Arizona.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can go vote for the convicted felon. You can go vote for the guy who sexually abuses women. You can be proud doing it, but your kids and like the future generations are looking at you with disdain because you're fucking over us for the rest of our lives.
Nieces and nephews. I'm thinking about them in my vote.
No, you're not.
Yes, I 100%.
No, you're not.
Yes,
no,
I
you're
am.
not. If you were, you'd be voting for the guy who fights climate change, the guy who lowers healthcare costs, the guy who invests in infrastructure and bringing manufacturing back to the United States, and not the guy who brags about assaulting women, and not the guy who's a convicted felon, and not the guy who stands in way of legislation
I don't
to,
expect
help
anyone
their
to be
people.
perfect. I don't. People have made mistakes, but it seems like a lot of references.
Made mistakes? Sexual abuse is just a mistake?
Years ago.
Wait. Sexual abuse is just a mistake?
No,
made a
that's
mistake?
not a mistake. Did I mention that? No, I didn't say that.
You just said he made mistakes, so I'm asking you, do you think that's a mistake?
You've been talking a lot about things that he's done, but you referred to things that happened 30, 40 years ago.
So?
I've heard, so why do you have to go so far back? I mean,
the crimes that he was convicted of were not... Yeah, we don't have to go back. The crimes he were convicted of were within the past 10 years.
The thing is, do you realize how quickly, what if he would have been found innocent on that day? Y'all wouldn't have to throw around the 34 counts, convicted felon. Y'all were just...
Yeah, we throw around 34 felonies, proven sexual abuse, fraud, defamation.
But the
what
34
if all these...
felonies, y'all realize
you could sit there and say, what if all of these charges weren't applicable, but we're talking about 34 felonies, sexual abuse, defamation, and fraud, okay? That's a lot of fucking charges to have for an individual.
Okay, you realize it's the same thing but counted 34 times, right? It's not 34 different felonies.
Yeah, well, it's...
But
no,
yet,
it is.
No,
it's 34 convictions,
it's because of how they split it out. But it's the same thing. It's not like he committed 34 different crimes.
Yet it is 34 different crimes. If you falsify 34 different records, that's 34 counts of the falsifying business records, but it's still 34 individual violations.
I want people to pay for things that they've done wrong. I'm fine with that. But everyone that knows anything knows that case was stacked against him.
How was it stacked against him?
Okay, so you have that judge was so biased, he helped the prosecution win.
How was point to one time in the trial where the judge was acting improperly?
Oh, the way he treated the defense witness.
Which one?
I don't know his name, but the white
Bob Costello, the guy who was like being disrespectful to the judge.
He's a very well-known lawyer. He's not just some fly-by-night
Doesn't matter.
weirdo.
If you're giving the judge a look and you're saying, yeah, strike that on the record. That's what Bob Costello said. When the judge can only strike something, yeah, that's disrespectful to the judge. And then the judge removed the jury so they wouldn't be prejudiced, so he could reprimand Costello, and then brought them in when everything calmed down. So he did his job.
What about him donating to Biden's campaign and also to another
How much money? How much money?
How much money?
But how about
$15?
It was very small. But wait, how does that automatically mean he's biased? Can you actually point to an action that was
not letting me
biased?
finish, but
Yeah,
he
like
also
what did he do that restricted the jury from being able to make an accurate determination
not letting
of guilt?
the defense have the expert to talk about the case law?
Which
case
what? Wait, the election expert was allowed to testify. What Judge Merchan said was that he couldn't testify to what the law is because that's not a witness's job. The law is to be interpreted by the jury and instructed by the judge. You don't have conflicting experts testifying in
But
court.
yet they let Cohen come in as a convicted felon himself.
Cohen was not testifying to the law.
Okay. I just
By the way,
think that
convicted felons testify against people all the time.
I'm not
There are so many
against-
cases where somebody broke the law and then they pled guilty and then they testify against like their accomplice to send them to jail. So
I'm not against what the jury, however they voted, because I felt they were left with no choice. The way that the case was delivered to them, especially from the judge. And also about Judge Merchan, what about he donated not just the $25 or whatever it was, he donated to another anti-Trump case back in like 2020 or 2021. His daughter is a Democrat who
you're
has
not pointing to
financially
me.
benefited.
You're not pointing me to anything in an individual instance where Judge Merchan was biased or he
How
acted
come
improperly.
he only gagged Trump and no one else?
Because Trump is the criminal defendant.
No, but continued to so other people are allowed to
Oh
say
my God.
he is also be running for president. So he's not allowed to defend himself.
You don't have the right to taint a trial. There's no
What's
constitutional
tainting a
right.
trial? He
Yeah, if
can't-
you attack if you participate in jury intimidation or witness intimidation, that's tainting a trial. Yes, absolutely.
But they can do it to him though. That's okay though, right?
Well, he is the criminal defendant.
What?
What's the difference between?
He's not the one that's making a determination on the court case.
No, I'm
What?
saying anybody. It's okay to have the whole entire other side say whatever they want with no gag order that could sway anyone's opinion. But Trump can't defend himself.
Wait.
Would you want that if you were in a trial?
The gag order is to apply to criminal defendants, right? And Trump was free to make political claims saying like, yeah, I think Joe Biden is corrupt or whatever he says, but he just can't attack the jury and the witnesses. The gag order was not on all of his speech. He was still giving campaign speeches while he was in trial.
I just do not think that it's okay for a biased, far left judge that was appointed.
But you're not. Oh my God, you're not pointing to anything that's bias. You're not giving me an individual instance of bias of where the judge acted improperly. When did the judge act improperly? Give me one instance.
Okay, whenever both of the lawyers were speaking, how many times did he strike things from the record for the defense, but not the prosecution side? He allowed anything.
That's not true.
Yes,
when
it did.
Stormy Daniels was testifying, Judge Merchan was reprimanding Stormy Daniels, who was a witness for prosecution.
After way too long, after way too much information.
The
had come
defense
out.
didn't object. It's in the record. Judge Merchan specifically said to them, they were like, yeah, we want a mistrial for Stormy Daniels' testimony
And they
being
were
prejudicial.
interviewed after that, and they said they had to choose their battles because
No. They didn't say choose your battles. They said you didn't object enough. It is on the defense to
No, I
object.
know.
They literally told them to object more.
He's like, yeah, object more, and I'll sustain your objections. And they said they didn't object enough. So Judge Merchan said to them, like, object more. You can't point to anything. That's the problem. You would rather believe conspiracy theories about a trial and think that it was somehow it is absolutely is a conspiracy. You'd rather make up something to somehow justify Donald Trump's actions and just say, yeah, this guy's a bad
I
guy.
cannot stand injustice in any kind of way. I wanted it to be fair.
It was fair, and you can't
No,
point to
it's
any
not.
instance of where it wasn't fair.
He's in a state of where the vote against him in the election was 80 to 20%.
The jury selection happened by Trump's lawyers and the prosecution. Todd Blanche went on Fox News the day of the conviction and said that Donald Trump helped select the jury
Of
as well.
course he
So do you
did,
think
but
that?
do you
So do you
realize-
think that Trump himself rigged the jury against him?
No. But do you realize if you have 40 jurors, you're only left to pick from those 40. You don't get to go outside and pick who you want.
There weren't 40. There were like 500
I'm throwing
people.
a number out there, Harry. I'm saying that yes, Trump helped select him, but you still have a pool that you have to select from. You don't get to choose the pool.
They would have kept going if there was a problem with all of the jury, like Judge Merchan was like, yeah, all of these people are biased, they would have kept going.
Yeah, but the judge was never going to do that in his favor. You can see it all over his face. He doesn't want Trump to win.
What are you talking about? None of the jurors who were present, none of them exhibited a bias against Trump. All of them like answered the questionnaire. They weren't like, yeah, I feel this one way about Trump. There are people who are like political and maybe even voted for Trump or voted for Biden who don't make it their entire lives, who don't think about politics every single day to the point where they can't be impartial. And like, if you look at the evidence, the prosecution provided a 400-slide presentation during their closing arguments for all of the evidence they have against Donald Trump. And by the way, the evidence against Donald Trump is his own voice on audio, checks signed by him, the testimony of people around him, and the handwriting of some of the people in the Trump organization talking about the repayment to Stormy Daniels. So,
yeah, but what about the fact that this had nothing to do with trying to sway an election when it came after he was in office?
The conspiracy was entered into before the election.
The checks were paid after.
Doesn't matter. The conspiracy was entered into before the election.
You have to prove intent to have a conspiracy. He did. There was no. Where that was that proven?
The fact that there was a meeting in Trump Tower and they entered into a conspiracy to catch and kill negative stories about Donald Trump, and there's like witness testimony of Michael Cohen talking about, yeah, Donald Trump was on board. There's audio of Donald Trump agreeing to another hush money payment to Karen McDougal. So this is something that the Trump campaign and the Trump people were very much involved in. And they used Trump's own words against him. In his book, he talked about being a penny pincher. There wouldn't be an amount above $10,000 that wouldn't get his approval, and this amount was well above $10,000. So, and then all of the people around him, Alan Weisselberg, Michael Cohen, Hope Hicks, all these people knew about the payments, but magically the defense wants you to believe that Donald Trump didn't know about the payments. Please. And by the way, he signed the checks. There's his signature's on it.
Yes, I know, and I work for a huge corporation, and do you know that leaders and CFOs they're going to, and controllers, they're going to sign checks that they don't always look at 100%. That's part of doing business. They can't sit there and don't look at every detail of every single one. You have legal fees.
Trump said that he did.
No, he did not. He actually
Trump said that he did. He wrote in his own book that I'm a penny pincher. There's not a dollar that goes out that I don't know about. That's what he said.
The left has been after Trump for years now. They'll go to take him to court over anything. That's what I don't want.
You're another political hack to the point where you're like, no matter. Yeah.
Because the thing is,
you
actually,
are. It's unfortunate.
But no, it's unfortunate for you because actually Biden should have, if things were being fair, Biden should be on trial for
what?
His business transactions with China.
What he has made $0 from China.
No, that's because of course he's in office.
Prove to me that he did.
Protect him. The
Prove to me that he
FBI is
did.
going to protect him. The CIA.
Prove to me that he did. Prove to me that he did.
Well, that's the problem, and I've watched you do it with everybody. If the facts line up for y'all, then you think you have all the proof in the world, but you don't. You're not willing to go the other side and say there's a possibility.
Do you not hear yourself?
We are willing to say that there's a conceptual possibility. What we're not willing to say is that it's probable that these are the case. What you're saying is that because these things are possible, that you're going to accept them as a view, which does not make your view in accordance with reality. Because the only way in which you can determine that it's likely to be in accordance with the reality is if you use evidence, if you use reason, if you use what's most likely.
Trump is not convicted in a court of law. How come? Can
he has been convicted of a court of law.
Can you not be willing to say maybe we don't know all the facts?
Wait, maybe the conviction could be wrong, but it's most likely right. Every single truth value that we believe in is predicated off what's most likely to be true.
Okay,
no one is certain about claims. Like for example, when we say certain, we mean that it's logically impossible to be the other way. So no one is certain about all of these things because there's an infinite. Listen, please. Because there's an infinite set of conceptual possibilities with any scenario.
Yes, there is. That's correct, but it should be for both sides.
Obviously, that's why you use what's probable. That's why you use what's based in evidence to determine what's true. Like, Trump didn't win the election because we have evidence indicating that he lost, right? We wouldn't accept things just because we have no reason. Like, I'm not going to accept the idea that a unicorn exists without reason.
Thank you, Heidi, for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you.
Charges against them. They're not going to.
Sorry, Hannah, can you restate that?
No one's going to bring charges against Biden, even if they had all the evidence in the world.
They can. They brought charges towards Hunter Biden.
They want him to win at all costs.
You're such a lunatic. Who's that? You think there's who's that?
The extreme left.
The extreme left doesn't like Biden. That's what you don't understand is the extreme left is not voting for Biden because they think that he's done bad, even though Trump will do worse.
Okay, okay. Let me switch complete gears. Let's say Trump wins in November. Will y'all accept it as truth? Or are you going to say it was a
Yeah.
lie? Or
Yeah.
you'll accept it,
Yeah. Like we
Yeah,
always
I'll
have.
accept the election. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
and you will recognize him as your president?
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be the president of the United States. Yes. Yeah,
Y'all
because
won't
you
call
see
him
how easy that
convicted
was.
felon president. No, you won't call.
Yeah, exactly. See how easy that was. If Joe Biden wins, will you accept the results?
Of course I will. Like I have for every president.
Like, did you do it in 2020?
100%.
Is Joe Biden your rightful president? He was elected lawfully.
Yes, of course. If I
Right.
respect, if someone's in office and that's the president of the United States.
So you acknowledge that Donald Trump lied about the election being stolen, and when he tried
No,
to
but I don't
maintain
have an
power, it was
opinion that
illegal,
says
right?
I don't have proof. I don't have a I can't prove it the other way, and so I'm not going to.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. I'm not taking him to court. I can't prove
Oh my
it.
God! This is why you can't just say Donald Trump did anything wrong. Do you think Donald Trump sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll's wrong?
1,000% I think sexual abuse is wrong, but I don't.
Do you think Donald Trump doing it to E? That's not the question I asked. Do you think Donald Trump sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll's wrong?
I will say I don't know that he did. I don't know.
He was
100%
found liable in a court of law, but of course you don't think that either, right? Because the deep left, the deep state's after him, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's no, that's not why I don't think that. I just know. I know a lot of people who have been essayed. Of course I want to believe that, and I don't think that it's right, but I don't necessarily believe that case. I just don't. There's some that I do cases.
Of course
I
you don't,
believe
because
and
it's
some I
Donald
don't.
Trump. That's his name. Let me ask you
No,
this.
that's
So
not right.
the E. Jean Carroll kept the dress that she was assaulted in by Donald Trump her entire life, right? She held it, and she offered to give her DNA over for testing to verify. And on the dress, there was an unidentified male's DNA found on the dress, and they asked for Donald Trump to give his DNA over. And since it's a civil case, they can't compel him, and he refused to do so. Why do you think that he didn't give his DNA over? Why do you think he wouldn't do that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Can you take a guess?
If I were that man, probably in a normal situation, it would be because somebody probably is guilty. What I'm concerned about, though, is that if I were that man, I would be not fearful, but I would question everyone that was around me because look, things are trying to pin on him, and things don't happen to other people. Everyone sees it. It's been happening for 8 years now.
So you recognize that if the circumstances were as I just described to you, not Donald Trump, you'd say like, yeah, it likely means that they're guilty. But when you put in the name Donald Trump, you think that there's some deep state ploy against him. Seriously?
No, not just if it wasn't Donald Trump. That's not what I'm saying. If I was an outsider looking in a situation that didn't seem fair and it seemed like things were stacked against that person, and it would seem like probable cause that people would want to go after that person, I might question it.
Really?
Yes.
Why would you question it?
Why would we automatically? You realize people lie too, right?
Yeah, but this would be given into independent testers. Like this would not be E. Jean Carroll people or Trump people. It would be given into testers to test the dress, and he refused to do so. Maybe he's just guilty. Maybe you think he did it. He just wouldn't provide his DNA because he knew that it was his DNA. He didn't want to like get exposed for it. Maybe.
And that's possible, Harry. But the thing is that
would you say it's probable?
Yeah, I say it's probable.
Wait, but you base what's true based upon what's probable, what's most likely to be true. Then
guys,
why would you base it upon something that's just possible, not probable?
Guys.
Like it's possible that Donald Trump has been wrongfully convicted, wrongfully held liable. It's possible, logically speaking, but it's nowhere near probable. It is most probable by a far margin that he is guilty, that he has done these things based upon the jury convictions with both the civil cases and the criminal cases.
Guys, wouldn't y'all agree with me that your goal and you want Biden to win? So, of course, every argument that you have is going to be against him and for Biden. And if you're a Trump
Wait,
supporter,
actually, I will accept things whenever whenever Biden does something wrong. calling Biden Harry is crazy. But it is the case that
compliment.
But it is the case that I can acknowledge he does wrong, but I just don't see it to be the case that in this scenario you're providing a good critique of that. Does it make sense? And also, by the way, Amber is in the comment section if you ever wanted to add her up. By the way.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk to. Where is she? Come here, Amber.
Amber is E. Jean Carroll's niece, the person
hold on now.
who was sexually abused by Donald Trump. Michael Cohen too.
Oh, his request expired. It must be old.
Oh, rip.
Oh gosh.
We'll have to get
Well,
Michael up
really,
again
so
another time. I've never talked
This
to
is
him.
how y'all
I'd love
operate,
to.
being 4 people against 1. That's awesome.
No, we
this
weren't
is-
trying
this
to
is
do
not four
that.
people. Go ahead, Amber.
Michael
Identify
Cohen is
who
like
you
a
are.
specific individual, and same thing
Identify
with
who
Amber.
you are, Amber, so Hannah will know why we brought you up.
I'm E.G. and Carol's niece.
So go ahead, tell it to your face that you don't think it happened.
Y'all are such bullies. I swear.
Oh,
It's embarrassing.
Whoa!
for y'all.
I'm sorry. You're the one attacking the victim
Wait,
and citing.
are you actually
No,
serious?
I
You think
didn't.
we're bullies?
So spare
Tell me
me.
where I attacked her.
Wait, Hannah,
You're
are you
saying
serious?
that the
You
case
actually
didn't
think we're
happen. She
bullies?
proved it in court, and you're still like, I don't know.
That was my quote. You quoted me, and I said that did not happen. That's what I said.
I did not quote you verbatim.
Said you didn't believe it.
Wait, Hannah, how are we bullies?
Because y'all have done it to the guests that you don't like what they're saying. You bully. If you think you're winning
Wait,
over
can
them,
you give me an example,
Well,
Hannah? I've been
the last 2 speakers,
Hannah.
and you just brought 2 people on when I'm one person. Y'all have 4.
Hannah, I've been up this entire time, and I've been quiet this entire time, letting you speak. Okay, I have not cut you off. I have been extraordinarily respectful. For you to say that I'm bullying you is absolutely fucking insane. To be totally real with you,
Y'all
it's
do
been you and
bully
me talking.
people. It's evident.
me,
And
give
other
me
people
one
have
time where I
cases
bullied
too.
someone.
What are you talking about?
Let's talk about bullies.
Yeah, Hannah, give me one time where I bullied someone, and then we'll
Y'all
apply
were
this other
laughing at
standard.
people, making fun of certain speakers that were on.
Well,
That's
wait a second,
bullying.
Hannah.
Yeah, if they
Don't-
say something
don't
that's
you
crazy,
love
I'm gonna
that?
laugh at it. Absolutely, that's not bullying.
Yeah, and if you make
Yeah.
fun of a victim, then I'm not
I'm
going
not
to be
making.
nice
I
to
didn't
you.
make fun
I'm
of her.
sorry.
You know what? Don't put words in my mouth, Harry. I did not make fun of her.
I'm
once.
not.
We
I'm
didn't
not
laugh at
talking
you.
about you specifically. I'm not
Hannah,
talking
when
about
do
you
we laugh at
specifically.
you?
No, he
Hang
just said if I'm going to come attack and say that the
I,
victim didn't
and I
happen to her,
clarified
no,
to you
he's
that I'm not talking
Hannah.
about you specifically.
He's not talking about you. He's talking about people in general.
Because
Okay,
we have so
then-
many people who come up here and say that it never happened or that Donald Trump didn't do this when there are actual victims out there who have suffered at the hands of this man and they deny the reality.
What about the people that have suffered from Joe Biden and what does their voice not matter?
Like who? Like who?
Oh, there's been people that have said things about him.
Names?
People where he's been racist towards them, or the people that
Names?
have said they felt uncomfortable around him because of him
Names?
getting close to their necks
Names?
and groping them and things. I don't have
You-
their names, but I've seen
Okay,
some
exactly.
names
All
and
right,
read it.
good. I'm just clarifying.
Because you
You
have
believe
one
that.
name, so okay. I don't.
You
I'm
believe
sorry.
that.
In all due respect to her niece, I didn't ask to speak to her. I'm talking to you and Parker.
Yeah, well, I don't care if you asked to speak to me or not. You came up on a public platform that's open to like the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say things,
I didn't say anything
You're gonna-
derogatory about
you're-
your aunt.
you're gonna
I'm
have
very
to
sorry
be-
that happened to her.
you're going to have to be, open to being questioned about it. And if we want to talk about bullies,
Mm-hmm.
no one in the world is a bigger bully than Donald Trump. All he does is make fun of people, make up disparaging names for them. He calls women dog face and fat cow,
Mm-hmm.
and says that E. Jean Carroll is too hideous for him to assault, even though she was an absolutely gorgeous woman when this happened to her in her 40s. And I can show you photos. And he knows exactly who she is because there are photos of the two of them together.
I have seen pictures of her, and she's beautiful. And I don't think it's okay for Trump or anyone to make disparaging remarks about women. I don't think that's okay, and I never said so.
He does that on a consistent basis, and you think this is a good
And so does
example?
Biden and everyone on the left.
No, he doesn't.
No,
What?
Biden
Y'all,
does not call
I've seen
women
it 50
dog
times in
face
the last
pony
week on many
show.
news stations where people on the left, whether it's a left talk show like The View or CNN or MSNBC or Biden himself or Hillary Clinton, have made fun of Trump supporters, called them names, and made
Like what?
disparaging things.
Like, what did Biden say about that?
Trump literally makes fun of disabled people, makes fun of people with stutters. Trump quite literally said that Obama was born in another country and engaged in racism consistently. Said that rapists and criminals were coming to the country. Some he assumes are good people, right?
No, they
All
are.
of these things, and you fucking sit here and say that because we laugh at a person saying a fucking insane thing, right, is bullying? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
bullying.
never I'm 47 years old. I have never in Biden's entire career ever heard him call a woman a fat cow or a dog face. I would love to see evidence of this.
What about the dog-faced pony soldier comment that went around forever?
That was a Fox News commentator saying that about one of Donald Trump's accusers.
No, it's actually a tape with Biden saying it out loud. He said it 3 times.
No,
since
it's
then.
not.
Yes, it
No.
is. Go look it up, dear.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it
I
up.
can't pull it up. Y'all go look it up. Why can't you look it up?
Pull it up. Because I'm not the one making the claim. You are. Pull it up.
Well, this
And
is
also,
a real interesting
let's just say
conversation, 'cause all of
that
you
he
people
didn't
that
say
are in the
about- he
comment
didn't say it
section,
about
go
women.
look it up yourself, and you will
No,
find
by all
Biden
means.
saying
No,
it.
wait. Provide us a comment
Actually,
that
no,
Biden has
I'll go
made
find
that's
it because I know
disparaging
exactly
about.
who said it.
He said, "You're
Provide
nothing
a
but a dog
comment that
face,
Joe
lying,
Biden has
horny
said
soldier." This
about
doesn't
a
even make
woman that's
sense.
disparaging.
Mm-mm.
Name a comment that Joe Biden has made about a woman that's disparaging.
I was just responding back to.
No, I'm asking you a new question. Name a comment that Joe Biden has made about a woman that's disparaging.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, because they don't exist.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Joe, and can you name me a time that Joe Biden has bullied somebody with a disability or a stutter or anything like that?
If y'all don't think it's okay to bully people, why do you think it's okay for him to call names and say things about Trump all the time then? If we're supposed to be like all nice and everything.
Oh, please. I mean, you have to be kidding. What are the names that Joe Biden calls Donald Trump that's like bullying? I think it's perfectly fair game in a presidential election to go after each other in a way that's appropriate for a presidential race.
That's not what you said yesterday on your live. You said that Biden never goes against anyone and only Trump does, and that Trump uses his time.
I've never said that. I've never said that in my
You said it yesterday.
Nope, that's not true.
You said Trump uses his time in his campaign to not talk about policy, and that Biden talks about policy but doesn't talk about the other opponent, and that's not true.
I did not say that. I said that Donald Trump never talks about policy. He just talks about how he thinks Joe Biden is mean to him, whereas Joe Biden certainly talks about how bad Donald Trump is, but also talks about what he wants to achieve for a second term.
And Trump used to do that. He's actually changed quite a bit with his new campaign.
He has not changed. Policy. Really? Because in this campaign, he's called his political opponents vermin. So I'm not sure. I'm not quite seeing the difference there.
What about the left calling everyone that votes for Trump is uneducated and...
He didn't say that.
Yeah, they do.
No, who? I'm talking about Joe Biden.
Yeah, he did it once during
Joe
COVID.
Biden has never said that everybody who votes for Trump is uneducated.
When he had that, I don't want to call it a rally, but during COVID, when people were on the hoods of their cars and he was talking, and there were like Trump supporters that were there to protest, he said some very disparaging things about them.
Like what?
What? Say it.
I'll look the quote up. And
well, wait. In the meantime, everyone tap that screen. Let's get to 1 million likes. Share live as well. If you want to support me, Amber, or Harry, Venmo, Cash App in the bio. Amber, do you have a Venmo and Cash App?
It's in my bio. I just put it in there recently. Everybody was.
Shout out Jamie for the $2 on Venmo saying, "Tell Hannah that I'm also registering voters in Arizona. I'm up to 437, and I've only registered 42 Republicans. Womp womp."
I'm just wondering.
Jamie, I appreciate you.
Parker, we've talked about these other incidents of Trump's behavior. I'm wondering if she's ever seen the video where he said that he had sex in common with his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did hear that, and I don't like the comments of that. That's the thing. I could actually. Pick
you're still voting for him.
You're still voting for him.
And you understand that's like not the first time he said something weird like that. What about when he walked into the dressing room of the Miss Teen USA pageant without announcing he was coming in, and the girls were not dressed?
And some of them were 15 years old, and he brags about doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all the reasons I'm voting for Trump, because I don't like some of these things that you're saying.
Address what he said.
You don't like some of the things we're saying? Does it make you uncomfortable that Trump did this stuff?
No, not at all. I don't like him.
Oh, it doesn't make you uncomfortable that he walked in on 15-year-old girls changing.
I'm not changing the subject because you're bringing it up. I don't like the comments that he made either. I didn't disagree with
but you don't think that he should be bragging about, walking in a 15-year-old girl?
The comment that you made was, yet you're still going to vote for him. So I'm trying to explain to you why.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us why you're voting for Trump.
Is that we all are left with two choices right now, unless they decide to replace Biden. We are left with Biden and Trump, right? Mm-hmm. So while Trump was president, I felt safer in the country that I live in. I think that America should be put first. He is a good leader. I don't like half the bosses that I have, but they might be a good leader. But I don't like the people that they are in their personal life. But I have to work there, or I'm working there. But they're a good leader of their company. But Trump's a good leader. He is a good.
If you knew that one of your bosses had sexually abused like 26 women in the building, would you still feel safe working there?
No, but Trump didn't abuse 26 women, and you don't have proof for that. There's no convictions for that. No, there's no convictions for that.
So you believe the accusations against Biden, but you don't believe the accusations against Trump.
No, that's not true either, because Biden hasn't been proven in a court.
Then why did you bring it up?
Because he hasn't been proven to be guilty either. I'm willing to be fair.
You brought them up.
I'm willing to be fair.
So why'd you bring them up if you think they're irrelevant?
If you're willing to be fair, why are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, the reason why I'm voting for him is because, this is a genuine concern that I have. I'm voting for Trump because I believe that he's the one that can get us out of the mess that we're in. I believe that he's respected.
By doing what?
He's respected around the world, and Biden is not. But
wait, by who?
The other countries.
Who? His approval rating's way lower internationally.
You know why? Because they know that they can't get away with anything with Trump.
So he's less respected.
He's respected, but because they don't respect what?
No, they respect Trump. They have a healthy
But
fear.
they don't approve of him.
No, that's not what I said. I said
Wait,
they
but
don't want
his
him to be
approval
president
ratings are
because-
like
no.
20% in Europe.
Guys, can y'all not let people talk? There's not. It's
I'm
necessary
sorry, I'll
to
be
talk over
quiet.
me. Let me finish. They don't want Trump to be president because they can't get away with what they're getting away with now. They can get away with it under Biden's watch because Biden isn't watching.
Then why has Russia tried to get Trump
So
elected
I
every
am
single
the
election he's running?
My biggest concern, and I can't believe that y'all don't see it, is that everyone in America can see that Biden is not fit to be president right now, and I feel bad for him. I'm not making fun of it. I feel bad for him. There is obviously a deterioration in the way
And
he
Trump
is.
and Trump's not deteriorating?
No.
Really?
Did
Wait.
Hannibal-
Can you
That's
answer- can you
hilarious.
answer-
He mistook.
Lecter endorse Donald Trump? Did Hannibal Lecter endorse Donald Trump?
What does that mean?
That's
Yeah,
what he
exactly.
claims.
Yeah,
No,
that's
exactly.
what he claims. One,
Why-
two, Hannah, it is the case that he mistook E. Jean Carroll, the person who's proven to have sexually abused, with his ex-wife, while saying that he wouldn't have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll because she's quote-unquote not his type, which is a blatant lie.
Okay, how was I talking about E. Jean Carroll when I'm talking about who I would
He's
vote for?
showing mental decline.
Are
It's
y'all
showing
not-
mental decline, or he's lying.
No,
They
no,
also asked him what years he was married to Marla Maples. They gave him like 10 minutes. He couldn't remember.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome, guys. But the thing is that y'all don't want to talk about.
He cares about his
Biden's-
wives.
We're happy. I'm
decline?
happy to talk about Biden. Wait, let me just address a couple of your points one by one.
Oh my
Why has
goodness.
Russia tried to get Donald Trump elected in every single election he's run in?
If
they're so scared of
don't
him.
even try to pull the collusion thing. It's been.
I'm not talking about
disproven.
collusion. I'm just talking about Russia trying to get Trump elected. And that is provable. That was proven in 2016 and 2020 by our own intelligence agency and a bipartisan group of senators, Republican and Democrat. They
Why didn't
published
he
an
win in
over
2020 if
1,000-page
they
report.
got involved? Why did he not win?
Because they can still try to make him win. He still might not win. Doesn't mean they didn't try. And they're trying right now. They tried to plant a fake Hunter Biden story. The lead witness for the House Republicans in their investigation into Biden's business dealings, which have not uncovered anything, was recently charged by the Department of Justice for lying to the FBI. And he revealed under oath that a lot of his sources were Russian intelligence officials who just made stuff up and gave it to him. And then the Republicans were using him as their star witness. So obviously the Russians are using this guy to try to push misinformation about Joe Biden because they don't like how Joe Biden has pushed back against Russia with their illegal invasion of Ukraine.
Okay.
So why would Russia be working to get Donald Trump elected if they're so scared of him? Why wouldn't they be working to get Joe Biden elected? Why would Iran be trying to helping Trump get elected? Why would China be doing the same? Like, why?
You're not gonna. Don't even try to pull that over on your followers that Trump is in collusion with any other country. He's not.
I didn't say collusion.
So
I
what are you
never
trying to
once
say
said the
then?
word collusion.
So what are you trying to say by implying
They're
that?
countries who work on behalf of candidates without the candidates knowing. They might say like, yeah, we want this person to be in office, so we're going to try to boost their campaign without the candidate being directly involved. I'm not alleging collusion,
you know
but
that,
it is true. But it is true that Russia has tried to get Donald Trump elected in every single election he's run in.
Well, to be fair, Harry, I mean, it was proven that his campaign was
Well, that's also true.
trying to get dirt on Hillary Clinton from Russia. I mean, why
Yeah.
else was Paul Manafort in prison for that?
Yeah, and why did they have a meeting
His
with
campaign
Russian
manager?
officials in Trump Tower in 2016? Right? Like, I don't know if you know that, Hannah, but Russian officials came to Trump Tower in 2015, 2016 to give Trump campaign officials, including Paul Manafort and others who were in this
His
meeting,
Trump
dirt
Jr.
on Hillary Clinton. So to say like there was like no coordination with the Russians at all is not true. But they're absolutely trying to get Trump elected. I don't know why. Why would they be doing that? Why would they be planting misinformation about Hunter Biden if they were scared of Trump and not Biden?
What does Hunter have to do anything with this?
Thank you, Xavier, for this resubscription. Because it's your guy's boogeyman. And by
No,
the way,
I
the
never
stories that they
mentioned
were
his name.
planting about Hunter Biden
I never
were
mentioned his
about
name.
Hunter.
I never
No, I'm
mentioned his name.
aware, but I'm telling you that this guy who was the Republican star witness was planting stories about Hunter Biden on behalf of Russian officials. He's now pled guilty to lying to the FBI, or at least
Okay.
been indicted by them. So why would Russian officials be feeding stories about Hunter Biden that are false, demonstrably false, to this star witness that Republicans are using if they want Trump to lose?
As far as I understand it, the Russians aren't having to help anything to do with anything, any reason why Hunter is going down. He did it to himself. Y'all think that
This
y'all don't
this
think
has
that-
nothing to do with Hunter Biden's case. This has to
Okay.
do with the Republican House investigation into Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, which has uncovered nothing. But the Russians are funneling the story to their star witness, fake news, fake stories about Hunter Biden, that he was like in collusion with Ukraine and all this stuff that's not backed up by anything. But they were giving these stories to this guy so that he could go testify to the Republicans saying it's true.
Which guy?
I think, what was it? His name is like, he's named after a vodka or something.
How come no one wants
Hold
to
on.
believe the Bobulinski testimonies?
Hold on 1 second here. Let me find the name for you.
Did you just say Bobulinski?
Bobulinski?
You want to know why no one believes Bobulinski?
Yeah, I would like to know why no one believes him.
Hold on.
He's one of the most upstanding men
Alexander
I've watched.
Smirnov.
Wait,
Alexander
because he
Smirnov.
because he was proven in court to be literally lying.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
Y'all, he had so many transcripts and emails and proof, but
What? Wait, I might be tripping here, but like I'm pretty sure he was proven in court to have been lying, or that he recanted his statements. It was
no,
something like that.
nothing to do like that. No.
Okay,
Who?
I might be wrong. The
Bobulinski.
Bobulinski?
Oh yeah, the guy that's like really associated with the Trump campaign. Yeah.
No, he's not. I'm
yes, he
talking
is.
about the witness that was partners with Hunter and
Which
sat
witness?
at those tables. And
Which witness? By the
Here,
way,
one
the
second,
guy's
let me
name is
confirm.
Alexander Smirnov.
Tony Bobulinski.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, so Bobulinski's like a Trump lackey.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's a huge supporter of Donald Trump.
Well, maybe he is now, but I'm talking about that's not why he came in. It's not like he was there because he was there because
He's
of his
he's
business
always been a
partner.
Republican hack.
Y'all call everybody hacks you don't agree with.
No, it's not that there are plenty of people I don't agree with, but when you're like overtly partisan and you just like completely disregard the facts, and you're partisan.
Here, wait. I have information about Bobulinski. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Harry, you're overtly partisan.
No, I'm not. When
You're
I'm
overtly
presented with-
partisan. Wait,
when
here,
I'm
Matt, you
presented
wanna
with
come explain
information
it?
that contradicts a belief I have, I'm happy to change my view. But
Wait.
when Donald Trump's like convicted,
I never
Go ahead.
want you. I've never. Your statement above your head.
Wait,
says-
wait, Hannah. Can you wait 1 second? Let him explain the Bobulinski thing real quick.
Yeah, y'all. Why y'all ganging up on me? Why is this fair?
nobody's ganging up
I'm
on you.
sorry. I was
You-
just
you're
getting
welcome
you
to
better
leave at any
information.
time.
Is that big of a deal?
I've never
You're wel-
seen a live that's had.
You're
five
welcome
people
to
on
leave
one.
at any time. Nobody's
Y'all are a
holding you here.
joke.
You're welcome.
Wait,
to leave
we're
at any
just
time.
bringing up someone that knows about the Bobulinski
Bring some
thing.
other MAGA people in then with me.
Okay, we'll bring
Sure,
like a million.
okay.
I don't care.
Sure.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well,
You're
go
all
ahead. Bring
still
3 or
make
4
stupid
and we can
points.
get some MAGA people in.
He was caught.
But stop
lying
crying.
about
I mean,
the
you can
FBI.
leave at any
That's
time
his
you want.
problem.
I didn't cry.
You can
hold
wait.
up.
I just
Okay,
Hannah.
yeah.
You can leave at any point you want. So stop like complaining. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. Go ahead.
Hannah, it's
It's just
not
that
that
y'all
big
are
of a
that
deal.
weak. You have to have 5 people on your side. I get
Hannah,
it.
No,
we don't
you
have
can
to do
pick-
this. I
pick-
could debate
pick-
you one on one. I'm just giving you
pick
better
anybody. We'll
information.
debate you
This is
one-on-one.
education.
Pick anybody. We'll debate you one on one.
What's the issue with education?
They're like, ooh, we didn't like that. Let's bring on A.G. Carroll's knees.
Hannah,
Ooh,
all
we didn't like
1v8
this. Let's
Trump
bring on a
supporters.
Bobulinski.
I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
wait. Yeah, exactly. We will.
I
we will
literally
debate
don't
like 5
care.
Trump
I'll
supporters.
go on a live and I'll 1v8 Trump supporters.
If there's another MAGA that wants to come up in the chat right now, I'll bring you up. Sure.
Here. Let's let Matt
They
explain
would
this
bring
quick.
me
Go
up
ahead.
because I have the most information about the case. They're bringing up Matt right now because you asked why doesn't anybody ever believe Bobulinski?
No, Matt's
And
just
Matt
with
has
me, so I was
information
like-
about
So who's the guy
Bobulinski, so
sitting
he's
by
going to
Parker,
answer the
and why would I
question.
believe him?
Who?
Why would I
Hold up,
naturally
wait, just listen to him and you can determine whether or not he's credible. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, so the problem with him was the FBI took his word on something, and then they found out that he lied about it. So he's under indictment right now. That's the problem right now. Is that he lied about various aspects. So they dropped much of the case about it because they found out that one of the core things that he was talking about was a lie. So that's why you can't really take his word for it because he was found out to be a liar.
I don't see one article about that he's under indictment right now.
Yes, he's under indictment right now, as far as I know, and because he was found to have lied about various aspects of the laptop and everything.
Well, I've just done several searches. I don't find one thing about him being indicted or that he lied. So where did you?
Wait, it's Matt. Are
She
you
said
talking
she doesn't
about
know any
Smir-
sources that you lied. What's up, Matt? What's up, Harry?
Are you talking about? I think you might be talking about Smirnov.
No, he's talking about Bobulinski.
Bobulinski himself, the FBI came out, this was like a year ago or something, and said that one of his core messages that he gave to him was just like flat out false. And they're like, well, we might have to go out and either prosecute him or that will drop anything that they're talking about him, and that's why he hasn't been brought up at all. Like no one's talked about him at all.
He just
because
testified in front of Congress in March of 24. He would have not been able to do that if he's being indicted or lied. He did not. There's no evidence that he lied. Can you give me an article?
I mean, I can give you an article on the fact that like 8 other of Hunter Biden's business partners testified to the opposite of what Devin or whatever his name is. Yeah, Bob Alinsky testified to.
Yeah, of course, because no one wants Biden to go down.
Wait, go ahead.
So
Matt.
all these other business partners perjured themselves. 8 other people. So it's 8 versus 1. And you believe the one guy who's fitting your you believe the one guy who's fitting your narrative as opposed to the other people who were closer to Hunter Biden and testified that this never happened?
No, there was 2 others that sat with Tony Bobolinsky. 2 other guys.
Who?
Yeah, I'll find them. And they all testified to the same thing that
Please find their names.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm just saying that he was definitely found to have lied about certain aspects of this thing by the FBI. That's the major thing. That's why his name hasn't been brought up at all by almost anybody, right?
But she said that he just brought up an interview like recently.
Yeah, he's been in a one-on-one
in the case.
2 or 3 one-on-ones on very popular.
Wait, when was he? Wait, Hannah, when was he brought up in the case?
March in 2024 was the most recent time he's been there.
Which case?
No,
Which case?
Testifying in front of Congress. There's no case.
Okay, you're right. There's no case. Testified in front of Congress.
Yeah,
he testified in front of Congress.
Oh, well, that's different. I mean, Congress can bring up anybody that they want to. I mean, Congress is not like. I mean, they can bring up liars all the time. What I'm talking about is the FBI that was investigating a potential crime. They used Bobolinsky's testimony as the basis for that crime, and they found out that certain parts of his testimony were false. So they were like, "Oh, we can't really trust him anymore." So that's why I'm saying that Bobolinsky hasn't been like brought up at all outside of people who are partisan, who are just bringing him up because they distrust his testimony. Now, I mean, like in Congress and everything, or like on Fox News, yeah, I mean, they're not going to care, but to the FBI, to the CIA, to any of those 3-letter agencies, they're going to care whether or not he told the truth or not.
Any response, Hannah?
No, I listened to him, but that anything that your friend said, I still don't understand how that's proof of anything. No one's giving me article. Why would Tony Bobolinsky still go in front of Congress in 2024? Just a couple of months
Because
ago.
Congress can bring up liars all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about in the Crespo rules saying that they lied. I mean, the FBI has said that we have found parts of his testimony to have been fabricated or have been misleading, all this other stuff. Congress, which is run by Republicans, don't care about that. They just don't care. And so they want to impugn the credibility of Joe Biden and his son, and so they're going to bring him up no matter what.
Jason Galanis was another guy, and if this is the right thing, and
Wait, that's a complete pivot from what he just said. What he just said is that Bobolinsky is not a good argumentation here, using him as a standpoint because he has lied on one of the main aspects of his case. If you can't acknowledge that at this point, and you just say, oh, even though just because he was brought up on Congress, that means he's a credible individual, well, then what you're saying is that everyone that's brought up in Congress is a credible individual, which I guarantee I could provide examples in which that you don't hold that to be true.
And by the way, the guy you just mentioned, the Galanis guy, was testifying from prison because he's in jail for 14 years on fraud charges.
Okay, like I said,
that's your guy.
No, it's not my guy, Harry. And don't be no need to be a smartass.
What do you mean?
Wait, he's not being a smartass.
That's rebutting your point.
You make those smirks. Listen, in my defense, I don't know all these people's names. What I did was go try to find an article that I could get the 2 guys that sat at the table with Tony Bobolinsky, and the first thing that came up was his name along with 2 others that would testify in front of Congress. I didn't open it up and watch the video, so I could be wrong on the names, but there were 3 people on the same day that all said the same thing as Tony Bobolinsky.
And there's 8 that's not true. That's not true. There are 8 business partners of Hunter Biden who testified to the exact opposite, saying yet Joe Biden was never involved and that there was never anything improper. There's no even criminal allegation against either Joe Biden or Hunter Biden surrounding this. So you're making an argument based on information that hasn't been verified by anybody, literally anybody. No investigative agency, no criminal investigation, no nothing. Nothing.
And
You're making an
nor
argument
has there
because
been
it fits
about
your
the 8 people
agenda.
that said there wasn't.
No. You pick. Look, there's 8 people who tell you the opposite. And because it doesn't fit what you believe, you say, "Oh, they're just like trying to protect Joe Biden."
That's not what I said.
You have the worst case of confirmation bias I've ever seen, where somebody will say something that fits what you believe, and you'll be like, "Bravo! Oh, bravo! It's
So
genius."
good,
And then when
but
8
where's
other
the evidence
people-
for the Democrat side?
And
That's
then when
exactly
8 other
how you
people are
impart it
testifying
out.
to the opposite of what you believe, you say, "No, I can't. They're trying to protect Joe Biden." Do you not see how delusional you are when
That's
it comes
what
to
you
this
do
stuff?
in every one of your lives, Harry.
Brady, think of the
No,
$4.
it's not. If you provide me with evidence of something, I will listen to you. You have provided nothing. Nothing.
You
do it
think
in
that that's
every
what he
one of
does
your
every
lives.
single
By the
time
way,
because you have
I-
a confirmation bias looking for him doing that so that you can dispute everything that he says.
It's confirmation bias paradox.
Seriously, that's literally what that's her confirmation bias coming out.
Yeah, Parker, I have a question for you, actually.
Go ahead.
You know how we were talking earlier about like foreign confidence in Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, right? There is like I don't remember the document, but there are polls, that show foreign countries and foreign leaders' confidence in those leaders, and they went way up after Joe Biden was elected. I don't know if you can find that or not, but I know it's there.
It's from Pew
I'll
Research
make sure to
Center,
look for it. Yeah, it's probably Pew
Research,
Research
thank
is
you, yes.
extremely credible.
It was very low under Donald Trump, and it's a lot higher now. So I don't know where people get the idea that like people respect Trump more. That's just demonstrably false.
No, it's nonsense.
Absolutely.
Especially
Like that's
when-
demonstrably false. Absolutely. Like Pew
And this
Research
is
is
also
literally the
opinions, right?
best
Like,
research, some of the best research you can get. If I see something from Pew Research, I basically always assume it's true.
Yeah. Also, like if
Pew
really
Research is really
if other countries are really scared of the United States under Trump, then Iran wouldn't have attacked us under Donald Trump, but they did. They haven't attacked us under Joe Biden.
Yeah, Biden's a mockery from other countries. They're making fun of him. The man is not. I
Oh,
feel
what
bad for
country?
him.
Who
I feel
made fun of
bad for
him?
He-
Who made fun of him?
They have like Saturday Night Live skits about him.
Who?
So do
What?
they do with Trump as well.
Saturday Night
Yes,
Live
they
makes
do.
fun of everybody.
Yeah, but even in other countries, they have their own version of that. Even making fun of Biden.
Name one other country that did
and-
that.
And wait, there are plenty of
Wait,
people
hold on.
who
I
made
want
fun
her to
of
answer
Trump.
this.
Like,
Name one other country that did that.
It was an Asian country.
What Asian country?
I just saw
Like-
the other day.
while you do that, by the way, here's a picture of the Trump baby balloon being flown in Ireland when Trump was in office. When
Oh,
he
yeah, I don't
visited,
get it.
they made fun of him.
That's
so,
not a shock to me. People make
Yeah.
fun of Trump every day.
W Ireland.
So wait,
It was
so they
Japan, I
can make
believe.
fun of Trump
I believe it
abroad.
was
They can make
Japan.
fun of Trump abroad, and it's no problem. See, again, confirmation bias. They can make fun of Trump abroad, and you're like, oh, well, of course, I have no surprise. But when they
I
make
didn't-
when like an Asian country makes fun of Joe Biden, you're like, well, see, they don't respect it.
Dude, that's not confirmation bias. What I'm trying to show you is, no, it's not. I'm saying if I was trying to be a different way, I would tell you no one's making fun of Trump. I'm not that ignorant. I know people make fun of
Okay,
Trump.
wait. Does making fun of a leader mean that the country thinks they're weak or not?
No, what I'm saying is,
Okay.
Are y'all
So then
not
why are you
watching?
bringing up Joe
I
Biden
have
getting made
heard
fun of
y'all
by like an
tell
Asian
your
country?
guest that there's nothing wrong with Biden. Do y'all just watch one source, or do you watch
Nope.
the man stumble and walk around and stutter over the poor man? I feel bad for him that his family hasn't done something. They should.
I feel
replace
bad for
him.
Donald Trump. He's saying we're going into World War II, which happened 80 years ago. He confused Nikki Haley and Nancy Pelosi, obviously two different people. He said that Obama was still president, that he ran against Obama. He couldn't even identify his own ex-wife in a photo.
Yes.
He ranted about boats, electric batteries, and sharks the
Okay,
other day at a
the
rally.
the
Utter
funny thing
nonsense.
is, you're
He
true-
confused Ronnie Jackson with some other dude named Ronnie Johnson in his
Yeah.
rally the other day while
Yeah.
trying to insult Biden's mental ability. I feel bad for Donald Trump, who has no idea what's going on around him. He has no coherent policy beliefs, and he's out there running for president for his life because he's trying to keep himself out of prison.
Your
He also
arguments
said
are
Nikki
weak.
Haley was in charge of the National Guard on January 6th.
Okay, first
Parker,
of
I
all,
DM'd you that Pew Research link.
where is
in-
my?
I got you.
got
I'll make
Ron
sure to look
talk
at it,
about
but-
her aunt. I was jumping in on the conversation
Oh
about-
my God, Patrick! Thank you for the $250.
Bro.
Holy shit! W Patrick in the chat right now. Let's spend that for the next fucking 5 minutes, bro.
I need another W Patrick because he sent me $250 as well.
Holy
Yo,
shit! W Patrick's in the
Patrick,
chat.
bro.
Yo.
Holy shit.
Patrick,
shit,
I really
W.
appreciate it so much.
Patrick.
You don't understand.
Bro.
Like, you being here all the time, bro. Yo, W. Patrick. Oh
Bro.
my God.
Bro,
Patrick is such a huge supporter for so
Is there
long.
anyone in
Fucking
the
love
chat
Patrick.
is
Spam
MAGA
that shit for the
will
next
come on
20
with me
minutes.
since they have
20
4
minutes,
people on here
chat.
with me,
Yeah, I need
please?
W. Patrick's for the next 20 minutes. Bro, you're insane. You're always supporting, brother. I appreciate you so much. Holy crap, bro.
We
So
fucking
Hannah,
love
here's the
Patrick.
thing that I find interesting. You came up here and said that, Harry was nothing but partisan. You've done nothing but spew partisan talking points the entire time you've been up
Actually,
here.
yes, because I do
Can
believe in
I
Trump, but I've
finish?
also said I can say
Can I
negative
finish?
things about him,
Can
and
I
they don't
finish?
say anything
Can I
negative about
finish?
Biden.
I can say lots of. I don't give a shit about Biden. I could say plenty of negative things about Biden. I am not going to vote for a
And
rapist,
excuse me,
and I
can I
don't want
ask your name again?
Amber.
Amber, okay, sorry, I didn't remember it. But Amber, in all due respect, they
But I
brought you on
wasn't
for a
done.
specific point. I don't understand
Yeah,
why
exactly.
you're
And
jumping
you
in on
didn't
other
even want. Why are you
points.
speaking over me right now?
There must
I've
be a
been on
problem.
mute for like 10 minutes.
Thank you, Lena. Appreciate you.
Okay, there must be a.
Can I finish?
Okay, it's a communication error. Then I'm not talking over you.
Go ahead,
That's
go
not
ahead,
my
Amber. Go
intention.
ahead.
You
Go
brought
ahead.
me up here for a specific purpose because I know about this topic and it's important to me. And you would not even hear me say anything about it. You wanted to pivot off the topic immediately. So that suggests a great deal of confirmation bias to me, that you won't even hear somebody out on something that is my biggest reason for not wanting people to vote for Donald Trump.
Okay.
Also,
I
if
don't give a
somebody
shit
else is
about
MAGA wants to come up and be with Hannah, you're welcome to.
Okay, and again, like I can't. That's you're unfortunate, and I hate it, and I'm sorry. Your experience, and it's not my personal experience, and it was a personal experience that affected you and your family and your aunt, and I hate it for your family. I do.
It should affect everybody.
But I'm not basing my vote on that. I just told y'all. That
My question is, why do you not have a problem putting a rapist in the Oval Office? Do you have children? Do you have daughters? What kind of example, or sons, what kind of example does this set for young people to 20 years from now say, Mom, why did you vote for somebody who was found liable?
20 years from now, say.
Listen, I was
Mom,
essayed
what are you going to
myself.
say?
I was essayed
found liable
myself.
20 years from now, say.
Whoa. Teammate, mute,
Teammate.
bro. Bro, get mute, bro.
Yo, T-Main, swipe out of the app and swipe back in.
Yes, I was too, which is
Okay.
all the more reason why I'm so disturbed that this doesn't matter to you.
Listen, I was not able to have children. Okay, I have 3 nieces that I care very much about. I almost died, and I saw my life flash before me, attacked in my own apartment. I very much know what that's like.
Same.
What I'm saying is that so yes, we are left with 2 people. Do I like that we are left with 2 people? What I'm concerned about is that we have a country and borders to protect. We have the America should come first, correct? And I am concerned about the state of health for Joe Biden. I'm concerned for him as a person. I would not want someone making fun of my mother that way or my father. And the man is not okay. And it's very evident. These are not spins. They are not clips. This man is not okay. He's deteriorating month after month. We cannot vote someone like that and put someone in charge of the nuclear codes.
Really? So what do you say to Joe Biden's doctors who said that he was perfectly fit to serve, and neurologists also conducted exams on him?
Because
Said
of
that there was
course
nothing
they're
wrong.
going to say that.
Okay,
Of
exactly.
course they are.
Again,
That's what she
we
says
have
about everything.
exactly
Confirmation
every
bias.
time that every
Don't
time you're
lump me into
presented with
one
opposing
thing. You do
evidence,
not
you
know
go,
me.
of course they're going to say that. Of course the people are defending Hunter. Of course the doctors are going to say
That's
that.
what y'all say.
These people
That's
are
exactly what y'all
professional.
say.
No, stop talking. These people are professionals
Don't
who
talk
did
to me
their
that
job.
way.
Stop talking. These are people who did their jobs. They're professionals who evaluated Joe Biden. And they're saying that he's perfectly fit to serve. You have world leaders saying that he's perfectly fit to serve. And if he was really a babbling fool, then how could he get policy passed that Donald Trump failed to do? Infrastructure, Donald Trump failed. Biden got it done.
Because every single person that is a Democrat in the Senate hates Trump and wants him to get out of there no matter what, whether they believe the policy or not. End of story.
Why do they
That's
hate
how
him
it
so
is.
much?
Wait, what?
do they hate
Republicans voted for the infrastructure bill as well.
Some did. Yes.
Yes, some did. Exactly. Republicans voted for the infrastructure bill as well. So clearly, this was a bill that a lot of people like. And it is a good bill. It's a bill that you would probably agree with. Investing in new roads and bridges, I don't think there's any objection.
100%. But sometimes in the spending bills, though, there are things listed there that are unnecessary, and people aren't willing to bend and remove some things from a bill to get other more important things through. They'll add things on.
Like, can you name something in the infrastructure bill that was unnecessary?
No, because I have not read the full thing. Of course not.
Okay, great. So yeah, Joe Biden got it done. Donald Trump didn't. So if he was really a babbling fool, if he was a babbling fool, they're welcome to unmute any time. If he was a babbling fool, he wouldn't be able to get policy passed that Donald Trump failed to do.
Okay.
Good. Amazing.
There's your bias, like Amber loves to say that I am.
you are biased, and that's objectively true. If Biden was a babbling fool, he wouldn't be able to get policy passed.
You can tell by the look on your faces. You're so proud of yourself when you think that you got somebody, and you do it to everybody that comes on.
I'm proud of shutting down people like you who have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
So you're going to talk to me like you're accusing how Trump talks to women. Why do you say shut up? Stop talking. Don't talk
I didn't say shut up.
Saying
I said stop
shut up and stop talking is not the same way that Trump talks to women.
I also
Trump
never
says
said shut
that
up.
he will grab women by the vagina without asking. Trump
Another
says
thing I've noticed-
but I
that
never
it's
said
okay
shut up.
for him to sexually abuse women because she's quote unquote not his type.
Listen,
And I never said but I never said shut up. That's not true. I said stop talking.
I've heard you tell people to shut up there for sure.
Who cares?
You.
Who cares?
A second ago.
And I'm not running for president.
Okay, I didn't get to finish a second ago. Say
Will be.
Above your head it says prove me wrong. Biden is much better than Trump. What I have noticed, you're very selective on who you bring up. Also, whenever people want to hear like a part of Biden's speech, you have a canned speech that you bring up that you use every time.
No, give me a random speech. Give me a random speech right now. Any speech. I'll look up Biden's speech. Right, the most recent one. I'm just looking it up on YouTube. How about?
Yeah, he sounds coherent. You guys just make up fake shit and say that he's fucking incoherent because you have no other argumentation against him.
No,
and even if it was the case that he was incoherent,
hold on now.
You're arguing against his character, which the same character is extraordinarily terrible within Trump.
Hold on
So if
now.
you're
How
arguing
about
against
Biden's
character,
speech?
argue against Trump.
Hold on now. How about Biden's speech on 6/11/24? Or do you want me to pick another one?
You're not good. You never pick the ones where you just sitting there going,
I'm picking
because
a
it
random
barely
speech.
happens.
It happens
Because
every day.
I'm picking a random.
Then give us one speech where he does that.
random
Give us
speech.
one
Wait,
speech.
excuse me. I'm picking a random speech and I'm letting you pick the time frame of the speech that we listen to. So the speech from Biden, the time frame on YouTube is like 23 minutes.
Here, how about
so
this?
it's
How about
probably
this?
like around
Let
5
her
to 20
pick a
minutes.
random speech, and you'll pick what. I mean, then she can pick also what time period it's in. So pick not only the speech but the time period, and then still fucking tell us that he's incoherent.
Yeah,
it's
so
straight
give me
lies.
any
It's
Biden
straight
speech.
bullshit that you use to justify voting for a fucking abuser.
What about
Well, like,
y'all? It's
and
not
any of
enough.
those-
Give me any Biden speech. Give me any Biden speech.
Y'all cannot put words in my mouth and say I am choosing to vote for an abuser. That I'm voting for Trump because I'm voting for an abuser. That's not.
You
don't know.
are.
You are voting for an abuser. Now give me a Biden speech. Let's go. Chop chop. Give me a Biden speech.
Objectively.
Are any of those
Y'all
Biden
are-
speeches?
Hey, I want the
about-
other guy to help me or whoever it is.
Oh, you need backup? Yeah,
Well,
what's up?
look,
that's not
keep
it.
adding more Trump supporters. Let's fill the fucking
Yeah, let's
whole
get
panel with Trump
anybody else want to
supporters.
come up here that's MAGA?
Let's get a
Anybody else?
million Trump supporters up here. None of y'all will fucking be able to justify this shit.
Yeah, come on now. Where's somebody else? Somebody else let us know if you're MAGA.
T-Man, you got to justify? You got a justification?
Y'all are
I'm just-
No, wait, hold on now. Hold on now. I want to get a Biden speech for Hannah. She says we selectively pick clips, so I want to get a Biden speech for
Y'all
Hannah.
do. It's very evident. I've heard you play
Okay,
the
so
same.
give us
Then
a
give us a
Biden
Biden speech and give us the
one.
time. We'll
Give
give
us
you
one.
both. You can pick a
just
time where he
curious,
specifically
like,
messes
all
up.
right.
Do it right now.
Let's talk about the one.
Both of you
the-
should
QJ7, give me an argument.
Let's listen.
Like, are
Okay.
any of these Biden speeches that y'all talk about? Is he talking about stopping this war over there in Ukraine? Or
There are
bringing
speeches
on-
about Ukraine. You want me to pull up a speech about Ukraine?
Does he got a plan?
Biden speech
though?
Ukraine. How about that?
That's my thing. Like, what's his game plan?
He has
though?
things
You know
that he
what I mean?
wants to
Like,
do, but
I
it's
think basically
unpredictable what
Hannah's
Putin is going
saying,
to do.
man,
Be
I
quiet,
mean, the reason I think she
Q7,
wants
you
to
be quiet.
Hell up.
Parker,
I think
be
the
quiet.
reason she's saying
You be
it,
quiet.
you know,
Don't,
she
hey,
wants
whoa.
to- she
Zip
wants
it.
to
You
vote
up there.
for-
Stop talking, okay? You don't get to tell Parker to be quiet. Shut the hell up.
Like, what are you
you
talking
bitch.
about, bro? We'll
Yeah,
mute
stop
you,
talking.
dude.
Bitch.
Yeah, stay
Oh,
mad,
keep
weirdo.
crying. Can we get some baby
Yeah, keep
bottles in
crying.
the
Can we
chat
get some
for
baby bottles in the
Q7?
chat, please? Can we
For
get some baby
Q7,
bottles?
let's get some baby bottles right now. Q7, give me one policy that Donald Trump influenced to get
Okay,
past
now
the
you have
benefit
to
of the
go
middle
'cause you used a
class.
slur. No, you said the F slur. Now you have to go. See, you bring people
what
up.
the
This is
fuck?
what MAGA
I didn't
does.
pick them.
So,
I did not pick them. Okay.
you're right.
Easier
No, I just
for
picked a
Hannah.
random person. They're MAGA. Now give me
Random
a Biden
MAGA
speech.
just slurs.
Okay.
Give me a Biden speech, and we'll listen to it.
Let me talk.
We
No,
will.
give me a Biden speech.
Okay, but I'm trying to talk and you won't let me.
Okay, go quick.
Okay,
We'll
so
both be
what
quiet.
about the thing he was just at? I don't know what it's called, but the fundraiser that he had Julia Roberts there and Obama. How about you play the clip of Obama having to get the man to
I'm
get out
asking
of,
for a speech. I'm asking for a speech of him speaking. Give me a Biden speech so we can listen to him speak, and you get to pick the time frame.
Is there one out there? Like, can y'all play one like him? Like I was saying, as far as like him talking about, like, you know, how he's gonna what his game plan is as far as, you know, not funding. You know, I don't want to hear any more about how he's going to send more money over to Ukraine, or, you know, I mean, I guess I've heard plenty of that as far as he wants to continue to fund this war over there in Ukraine. And the first thing that I
You know,
think
help
what
defend a
Hannah's
country.
saying about,
This is not answering the question I'm
I think
asking. I'm asking
basically
for a
what Hannah's
Biden
saying,
speech.
Israel has
though,
the right to
what
self-defense,
she's
but
trying
Ukraine
to say is
doesn't.
Trump's game plan is, you know, he said give him 24 hours, man, and we're bringing gas home, man. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, I'm
basically
sure
why I
that'll
think
work. It's
so
just
many
no other
people are saying,
person in the
like,
world can get it done
they're going
except
to vote
Trump,
for
right?
Trump.
Trump's just this
You know what I mean?
master
That's why so
negotiator.
many people are
Now
saying,
I'm
like,
done.
we're
Hey,
going to
hey,
vote
look
for Trump
alive.
because
Look
they got,
alive. Hey,
you know,
hey,
like,
stop the pivot.
Biden
Look
doesn't got
alive.
a
I'm asking
game
for a Biden
plan, man.
speech
That's
now.
what
Come
we're
on now.
asking. Like, what?
Give me a
What is
Biden
this?
speech.
Where's
Give me
it
a Biden
at?
speech. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's listen to Biden's
That's what
speech.
I'm
You said that
asking.
Biden's a
Where's
bumbling
it at?
fool. I want a Biden speech. Come on now. Come on. Give me a Biden
Okay,
speech. How about
I hadn't heard one, to be
Biden
honest with
addresses
you.
the nation on support for Israel and Ukraine 7 months ago?
You know
How about
what?
that?
I'm gonna let you do that tonight, but I will be back because I'll pick 10 for you where he does it. I'll pick 10 speeches and I'll let you
I don't
play.
know. I'm asking. Wait, you do
But
not
'cause
understand
I don't do
the
this all day
objective.
like
No,
you.
Hannah, you don't understand the objective of the
I
exercise.
worked
The
12
point
hours
is,
today. I don't do this all day like
Hannah,
you.
that's fantastic. Good for you. I'm genuinely saying good for you. But you're not understanding the objective of what I'm asking here. I'm saying let's pick a random Biden speech, go to a random time in the speech, and we can listen to him talk. And then see if in that random speech he's messing up and he's just a babbling fool. There's no point in getting selective clips because I can find selective clips of Biden being great, and you can find selective clips of Biden being bad, and I can do the same for Donald Trump, vice versa. So what we do is we go to a random speech, a random time to listen to him in that time to see if he's bad. So I'm asking, what's a random Biden speech you want to listen to that you get to pick the time in the speech, and we'll listen to him talk for like a minute or 2 minutes.
Okay, you pick one then. If that's how we're gonna do it, you go ahead and pick one.
Okay, how about the address to the nation?
No, I'm not
7
doing
months
an
ago?
address to the nation with a teleprompter served to him. I want a regular speech. I don't want one that's been...
every speech that Donald Trump gives has a teleprompter as well. How about 6/11/24, Biden's remarks on gun safety? It's one of the most recent speeches he gave, and you get to pick a time frame in between it.
You played that one the other day. That one does. Go ahead, pick it. That's fine.
Okay, so
But
what
the
time?
thing is-
What time frame of the speech? What time frame? I
How
actually
long
did
is
not
the
play
speech?
this.
How long is the speech?
The YouTube video is 23 minutes, but Biden's not speaking for the. Okay, he starts speaking at around 3:40, and he ends speaking at like probably like 21 minutes. So pick a time frame between 3 minutes and 21 minutes. Random time.
12:13.
12:13. Let's do it. 12:13. And just so everybody knows, and we'll make sure it's verified for everybody's liking. See? 12:13. Biden delivers remarks. Let's listen. Let's give it a good listen here. This makes more sense. No, this makes more sense.
That's why last September, I established the first ever White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. I made it. We got first-rate professionals there and overseen by my incredible vice president.
So incoherent.
That's why we did it, to send a clear message about how important this issue is to me, to you, and to the entire country. Folks, you're changing the nation. You really are. You're changing the nation. It builds upon the dozen of executive actions my administration has taken to reduce gun violence, more than any of my predecessors, and I suspect more than all of them combined. Everything from cracking down on ghost guns, gun trafficking, so much more. Folks, we're not stopping there. It's time once again to do what I did when I was a senator. Ban assault weapons. I mean it.
Okay, you can stop it. That's fine. I agree. No
He sounds
problems there.
clear and coherent.
Sounds good, huh?
He absolutely does. I would not even disagree with you. It's so funny how all of the people are, what part, Hannah? But he sounds like an angel. You know what? He does sound fine there. But if I had the time like y'all do, I would find you 20 or 30 speeches with a couple of minutes where he's messing up.
Wait, we could find you that
that's still
many
a problem.
speeches of
That's still
Trump
a
messing
problem.
up. The issue is that if you clip anyone, literally every point of the day, at any point in
These
time,
are serious clips,
all the
though,
time when
guys.
they're overworked,
This
you're
is
of
when he
course.
just
Let me please
stalls.
finish.
No, this is
Let
when
me
he
please
stalls
finish,
for-
Hannah. I let you finish so many times. Please let me finish. Literally, you hear all of these things from them all the time. Of course, you're gonna get clips where they mess up, where they don't know how to speak, right? But I also think that there's something important to take here. Joe Biden has a stutter. So oftentimes people mistake his legitimate stutter, right, for him just not understanding things, which is ableist. And I'm not saying you're trying to be ableist. What I'm saying is that we've been socialized to view stuttering this way. Okay. So we assume that people don't have the intelligence or are lacking here, but it is the case that they still have that intelligence, still know exactly what to say. It's just something that they can't choose that limits them from being able
I
to
hear what you're
express that to
saying,
you.
Parker, but I don't think that's what she's talking about, man.
That
I
is
think this
absolutely
what
what's
she's talking
happening,
about
though,
right
in
here.
many
No,
of
but
the scenarios.
he's right. I'm not talking about that. Not making fun of a stutter.
I know you're not
Oh,
making
you're not
fun
doing
of
it
his
like
stutter,
Trump
but
did.
what I'm
Got
saying
it.
is that people mistake his stutter, right, for him not understanding things legitimately. When it is the case that he does understand things legitimately, he just has a stutter. The same thing as Matt, my friend who just came up here. Incredibly intelligent individual, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life. But he has a stutter. And people mistake that all the time for him not understanding things, for him not knowing things, when he knows way fucking more than they do. It's not even close. Bro has 3 degrees. Bro's a librarian. Bro's so fucking intelligent.
Yeah,
It's
and I heard
unbelievable.
his stutter, and I didn't say one negative thing. I listened to
I'm
him.
not saying you would say negative things, but what I'm saying
No.
is people mistake things like Biden having a stutter
Guys, I
for
know the
him being
difference. I'm
incoherent
talking
when that's
about,
not true.
I'm embarrassed. I'm not one of the ones that's making fun of Biden when this is happening to him. I hate it. I feel bad for him. This is where he is forgetting what he's saying and just says, oh, never mind, or anyway, and he just walks off. He has turned around and looked at people that are not there. Obama had to grab him off the stage.
He did
at
not
the
have to
thing
grab
the other
him off
day.
the stage.
Did you watch it?
People say
I
that all
watched
the
it.
time, but if you watch the
grabbed his
clips,
wrist and had to
just
bait him off the
grabbing his
stage.
arm is not indicative of him having to be led off the stage. If he
He
had to be
led
led,
him
wait,
off the
listen,
stage, guys.
listen. If he was so incoherent that he'd be led off the stage like that, this would be happening significantly more.
And
He
it is
wouldn't be able to
recently.
go on in the State of the Union and do this, even if he were on drugs. My grandma had dementia. If you gave her a drug, she's not going to be like Biden. That's
By the
why
way,
this is so incoherent.
By the way, before that moment that he was quote unquote let off stage, which didn't happen, he just sat for like a 45 minute to an hour interview.
I know, but y'all, he was let off the stage. Did they cut that part on CNN or something? Did you not watch it?
He was not let off
I
stage.
watched it. I watched the clip that you're referencing.
You didn't watch it?
I did
Obama-
see it.
like-
I said I saw the exact clip that you're referencing, and you know what I saw?
Okay.
Something completely different from you.
You don't.
Right?
You
I
didn't
saw
see
them
someone
walking
say,
off
"Come on, like,
together in a sign of unity. That's what I saw.
No. Biden was staring out into the crowd. Obama had to grab his
He
wrist
was
and, like,
looking
"Come on,
at the
John."
crowd, and then Obama's like, "Yo, let's go over here." That's not him walking him
And you can
over like
watch
he
him
can't do
guiding
so
him
himself.
with his hand on his back. You can watch him guiding him.
Wait, do you
Putting
think
his
you can
hand on his
guide
back
somebody with
is
your
not
hand on your
indicative
back?
of guiding.
Do you think that Obama's like this mystical creature who
Yeah,
can
he
guide
would
someone
walk
by just
off in
having
the
their hand on
wrong
their
way,
back?
and then
No, he's
Obama would
trying
have
to
to
help him,
guide
and I
him.
commend him for
He
that.
wouldn't be walking in the right way just by by Obama putting a hand on his back. Like what?
Y'all, that was not just a hand on the back like you're my chum.
I'm sorry, but
I-
do you know anyone that has ever had dementia?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then you know that their symptoms are not even close to what we see with Biden. And if it
He's
was the case that Biden was
rapidly
experiencing
deteriorating.
dementia, we would see it at a significantly higher rate because the cameras are on him 24/7.
It
He's
is at a
doing
higher
all
rate.
these different hard tasks.
In just
and
the
it-
last month, it's at a higher rate. At just
Like
the
what?
last month.
Like what?
What do you mean a higher rate?
Like these things are happening more frequently.
what?
Where you just,
No, they're not.
Yes.
Like what?
You just
What?
watched a speech and it wasn't happening
No,
at
that was
all.
just one
If it
thing
was
I'm
the case that
talking
he had
about.
dementia, it would be happening through the entire thing.
Not necessarily.
People with dementia can't just turn it off.
If you,
Like what?
If you read about the stages of dementia, there's multiple stages.
Well,
He's
I understand.
progressing
my
through
You're
this.
saying
grandma
it's
had
happening
dementia.
rapidly right now.
I get it.
Why he wouldn't be able to give a speech? He wouldn't be able to sit for a 45-minute interview with Jimmy Kimmel and Obama at that fundraiser.
Yeah, guys. Yes, he would. My best friend's father just passed away, and he had severe dementia. He had times of being completely lucid, and times that he thought he actually worked for the president of the United States. It was
so, like, I mean, I know y'all have seen like where like Biden. I mean, he looks lost up there. I mean, like y'all ain't seen.
I've not seen what videos you're talking about.
Like where he's lost, man. Like literally,
What
like
video?
where people say he's lost.
There are videos where Trump looks lost.
And stuff, you
What
know
video
I mean? Like,
where he looks lost? What video?
You hadn't seen those, man. Like
if it was the case that he actually had dementia, it wouldn't just be one video. It wouldn't just be two videos. It would be
not just one or two.
listen. It would be every single time he went on stage. If he had dementia, it would not be a few times. It would be every time. If you know how neurological diseases work like this, it would happen every time.
Yes, I do know how they work. And as they progress through the stages, not all of the symptoms are evident at different stages. They progress.
You mean like every day when he's on camera? Literally every day?
Yes, Biden is getting worse by the day, and just in the last month.
And I'm going to be totally honest, even if Biden had dementia, I would still vote for him.
I would also still vote for him.
Y'all
but
would?
can you?
Yes, over Trump? Absolutely.
Felon.
Y'all would fill our
A convicted felon, guy who's been proven of sexual abuse, fraud, defamation, the guy who put multiple Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade, a guy who guy who literally passed tax policy that took money from poor people, gave it to rich people, a guy who calls for the death penalty, which 4% of people on death row die that are innocent, right? Mm-hmm. This guy is the guy that you want to vote for when he undermined our American democracy?
Yeah, Trump can do no wrong in your eyes. He's on audio admitting to stealing classified. Yeah, no, it is true.
No, it's
He's
not
on
true.
audio admitting to stealing classified documents. He's a convicted felon, proven sexual abuser, proven
Biden
fraudster,
has
54
classified
additional felony
documents
charges.
spilling out of
And
his
so you're about to
garage.
make some dumbass point right now about Biden having classified documents, but you don't understand that in order to be convicted or charged with these crimes, you have to show intent and willful knowledge of having those classified documents. And the Republican appointed prosecutor could not find that intent. So please, miss me with that crap.
Yeah, they said he wasn't fit to stand trial, but he's
no, that's not what they
president.
said. Again, lack of information. That's not what he said.
Yes,
Special Counsel Robert. No,
Read the
Special Counsel Robert
transcript,
Hur.
Terry.
No,
It says
wrong.
he's
Stop
not
talking. He
fit.
didn't say that. Special
Okay,
Counsel Robert Hur
that's nice.
said that he believes that President Biden would present himself at trial as a well-meaning elderly man with a fuzzy memory, not that Biden has mental issues. He's not a psychologist. He's not a neurologist. He has no ability to be making claims about Biden's mental ability. He is a prosecutor, and he said that he would not be able to overcome possible defense from President Biden surrounding the classified documents. Thus, he couldn't be charged.
Why won't
That's what he
they
said.
release the audio transcripts?
You have the transcripts. You can go read them.
No, why will they not release the audio part?
You have the transcripts. You can go read them.
Where's the audio part?
Why do you need the audio?
That's what they're wanting, is the audio part. They want to
Yeah,
see.
I know that's what they're wondering. Why do you need it? They already released the transcripts. You can go
What's
read
the problem
transcripts.
with releasing it then?
Because Biden exerted executive privilege, and Merrick Garland's like, yeah, this is part of an ongoing investigation, or at least a sealed part of a previous investigation. So they have no obligation to do it.
You don't think the American people deserve to?
You have the transcripts. You have every single transcript. You can go read them right now if you want, but even those you chose not to. You chose not to read the part where Robert Hur said that President Biden has a photographic memory. Robert Hur said that in the transcripts, but you didn't read the transcripts. You didn't read the report either, so you don't know that Robert Hur said that he couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Biden committed a crime, and that your whole Biden is not fit to stand trial thing is nonsense. Because, by the way, prosecutors don't determine that. I don't know
Trump
if you knew
wasn't
that.
convicted either of that, by the way, so you can't call him a felon on the documents.
Yeah, he's pending trial, and he keeps pushing back the trial date. I wonder why. Maybe it's because the evidence against him is overwhelming, and that if it does go to trial, it's incredibly likely that he gets prosecuted.
He wouldn't just be allowed to push back a trial. There's obvious reasons why there is. He can't just decide to push it back himself. If they really,
he is using every appeal necessary. If he really thought that he was
And he has
innocent,
that
he'd
right.
want this to go to trial right now,
and
right?
he has that right.
And he has that right, but why doesn't he want it to go to trial right now?
They're asking.
He says he's innocent.
No, they're asking this man to be in a different courthouse every freaking day of this campaign while he's trying to campaign. They want him off the campaign trail.
Whoa.
Well,
But
maybe he
he's
should
not-
stop committing crimes. I mean,
Yeah, maybe he should stop committing crime. Then he wouldn't have to be that.
Wait, why do
campaign
you
doesn't-
assume that they want him off the campaign trail when it's more likely to be the case that he's committed these crimes?
Because
Please make it make sense.
He's on audio admitting to it.
it's interesting. You said earlier that Hunter Biden did this to himself. Yeah, that's how.
So did Trump.
He
so did
did
Biden.
this to himself, and now
What
he's
crime?
having to go through trials for crimes
Wait.
that he committed.
Hold
We
on.
could-
What statute? What crime did Biden break?
Well, we
What-
could say
what law did he
why
break?
you keep calling Trump's crimes if he's not convicted of them all? So I can say
He's
the same-
convicted of.
Is
I
he
said
or is
Convicted
he
of
not
34
a felon?
felonies, sexual
gonna
abuse,
jump out
defamation,
the window.
fraud.
I said all, Harry. I said all.
He's
Not
convicted
every
of crimes.
single
We call him
one, but there's a
convicted felon.
hell
What
of a
statute?
fucking lot of them.
I know
What
because y'all like to
statute?
call
What
him a
statute did
convicted
Biden break?
I've heard it a jillion times. Y'all like to call it a convicted felon. 34 felonies. It's 34 of the same thing.
Is he or
34
is he
individual
not a convicted
violations.
felon? Is he or
34
is he not a
individual
convicted
violations.
felon?
Do you know how law works? You have 34 separate filings or 34 separate checks, and they're calling them 34 things. He didn't. Y'all are acting like the man
Oh
murdered
my
10
God!
people.
I don't think you know how the law works.
No,
By the
I
way,
do.
He
obviously you
sexually
don't know how the
abused
law
someone.
works.
Is that not enough for you?
You don't. You obviously don't know how the law works. You thought that President Biden was not fit to stand trial. Didn't even read the report. It's concerning.
Harry and Parker, do you
I got a
guys remember
question. I
when
mean,
Donald
what's-
Trump was running and he said, I could go stand out in the middle of Fifth Avenue
Yeah.
and shoot somebody and not lose any support? That was actually true, guys. It was absolutely true.
Go ahead, teammate. You said you had a question.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you guys think Joe Biden's game plan is, though? At the end of the day, as far as like, I wasn't trying to be funny or nothing like that, but I mean,
To beat Trump.
Like, does he got a game
To
plan
beat
as
Trump.
far as to? Well, I get that, Parker, but I'm saying as far as the war in Ukraine, as far as
Why do you
our
keep
gas-
bringing this up? You talked about the war in Ukraine earlier. We're not talking about
To
the war in
defend
Ukraine.
Ukraine, that's the goal.
Well, the reason I keep bringing it up is because he's spending a lot of our tax dollars over there. I mean, we just signed a.
Wait, do you
Russia,
understand
that's
how
the game
little
plan.
of our tax money that is? That's like a portion
I
of
mean,
our
$95
military budget.
billion sounds like a lot of money to me. I mean,
$200 billion, less than $200 billion is like less than a fourth of our military budget.
That's a lot.
That's less than our interest payment on our debt.
Yo, thank you. Oh my God, thank you, Sarah Everett, for the $100 on Cash App. Yo,
W Sarah.
Sarah in the chat. You're awesome. Keep up the great work. I appreciate you, Sarah. I need at least 100 W Sarahs in the chat. That's crazy. Yo, shout out Sarah. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. I love you. Now continue. Yeah, the plan's to beat Russia. That's the plan.
Yeah, but my question is what's the outcome for that though? As far as for the American people, though, I mean, how's it helping us in the long run, though? I mean,
peace in Eastern
Donald
Europe helps us.
Donald Trump seems like he's out to help the American people, and I think that's why so many Americans are wanting to vote for Donald Trump,
Yes.
because
By plunging us into
he's more
constitutional chaos by
focused
pardoning
on-
himself on day one helps the American
Well,
people. Yes, for sure.
Well, no. What I was going to say was, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have heard what Donald Trump has said, but as far as what I've heard him say is, his give him 24 hours and he's going to end all this shit over
24
there.
hours. Is that why
what I mean?
Crimea
And then-
was given?
and
Wait,
then we
hold up.
can
Is that why
start
Crimea was
focusing
given
on
back
Americans.
to Ukraine?
You know what I
Wait,
mean?
wait.
What's
Is that
going
why
on with this
Crimea was given back
inflation
to Ukraine under Donald Trump's presidency? Oh, wait, that didn't happen. Oh, so it's probably not going to just take like a phone call in 24 hours. Right. Yeah, because Trump couldn't do that when he was in office and Russia was still
That's what
illegally
I'm
occupying
saying.
Crimea.
I mean,
right.
Biden's game plan is to just continue to send money over there. It sounds like that's why. I mean, you guys ain't telling me anything different
the
than that.
United
I mean, it's
States
just, we're
just-
going to do whatever
wait,
we
wait,
got to
wait,
do
wait.
to beat
John
Russia.
Kirby?
That means if we got to go bankrupt, basically, is what you're saying. I mean,
John Kirby, spokesman for the White House, literally
Go
said
to
today
war,
that this
whatever
war
we
could
gotta
end today
do,
if Russia gets out of
It's
Ukraine.
whatever-
The war could end
it's
right
whatever we
now.
gotta
The United
do.
States position is that the war could end right now as long as as Russia gets out of Ukrainian land. Could end right now.
They just said something about a draft, I think, is what they were talking about.
No,
So I think
no,
That's
Biden's
just
talking-
the house. Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god.
think Biden's talking nothing about,
And it's already been that way, dude. You're not going to war. I'm not going to war. That's not happening.
I've signed up. Parker signed up. You signed up. Rob.
Literally, I was already mandated to sign up.
Yeah, I already signed up when I turned 18.
How old you guys are, man? I mean, are you guys in that age limit, man, where you guys could get drafted?
I'm 22.
I'm
Are you
21.
ready to-
And you understand not everyone who's drafted goes on the front fucking lines.
And this isn't for the draft.
I would take
See,
the
I'm looking.
I
for
would take
peace,
the
though,
test
man.
and
I
not
don't
even
want us
test
to
into a
go into
position that is on the
war,
front
but,
lines.
Yeah, do you think
that's
me
my
you
thing.
think
I mean,
me
I
and
feel
Parker
like
are
we
going
got
to the
bigger
front lines? You
problems
see
going
us?
You think
on
we're
right now.
testing onto the front lines?
You think
Hang on, you understand this isn't for a draft. It's for the same selective service we have now. They're just trying to change the age range for registering for selective service. It's not a draft.
Okay, well, that's just the way that it's been worded, I guess, if you watch certain videos.
Well, if you watch Fox News and Newsmax, yeah, you're going to think we're going to war tomorrow, as they've been saying for the past 4 years. So, anyway, does that satisfy your answer on Ukraine? Okay.
Can I ask one more thing? Can I please ask one more thing? Okay,
Yeah.
so I heard you say it on different lives where y'all talk about that. You just make one statement. You say Trump says he's going to be a dictator, and I hear it all over the place in little blurbs on talk shows and news pieces about Trump's going to be a dictator and he's never going to leave the office. Did y'all ever play the whole context of that? Did y'all listen to the town
Yeah, he
hall
said, I'm
thing?
going to be a dictator on day one for 1 day, and we're going to drill and build a wall or something like that.
Yeah,
for
he said-
1 day is definitely not us saying
Yeah, but then he said
forever.
then after that. did
Also,
y'all
by the
hear-
way, we understand there are checks and balances. We understand that there's not a politically viable way to be a dictator like how other countries have a
No,
dictator.
I know, but I'm
what he
saying
can do is he can get loyalists in office. He can get people in the Supreme Court that do exactly what he says, which gets him to act as much as like a Wait, listen. Listen. Can I please finish my statement, please? T-Main, be fucking quiet. Right? Which gives him the ability to get as close to a dictator as he possibly can. It's him restricting freedoms. He restricts freedom of expression by making. Let me finish, bro. Stop
I think
talking.
he's talking to other
I
people
haven't
while
cut
he's
you
on
off.
mute.
He makes it so that burning the American flag, right, will be illegal and that you go to prison for a year. That's anti-freedom. Talking out against your government should never be illegal in this context.
Right. I'm asking, did y'all hear him in that context? Did you watch him? He was jovial and talking to the town hall and saying, well, maybe on day one when I use executive order to do with Mexico and about drilling. But what I'm saying, my concern is when I've listened to your lives and your talk, some of these people that follow you here, maybe it's the first time they're hearing about politics. You don't want to steer them wrong. So when you just say a statement that says Trump's a dictator and he's going to be a dictator, you want to vote somebody that's going to be a dictator, but you're taking one sentence out of context. It's not fair for us.
We don't say that. We don't say that.
Wait, I don't care. Wait, I don't care if
Trump's
Donald Trump
American,
said.
first and foremost. He's American. You know what I mean? And
Okay,
then
that's
I would
fantastic.
say-
Thank you for that astute observation. I don't care if Joe Biden said he wants to be a dictator to give health care to everybody. I don't want a dictator for any reason at all. I don't think somebody who's running for president of the United States should be joking about being a dictator, should be saying it for this reason, for saying any amount of time. I think that's wrong. So saying you want to be a dictator, by the way, it's not just like, oh, this one thing Donald Trump said, he wants to be a dictator, like we're running with it. No. He tried to overturn an election he didn't win. As Parker said, he's trying to restrict freedoms. He took freedoms away from women with reproductive rights already. And he already has a plan in place to just install the government with a bunch of loyalists, right? They're vetting 50,000 loyalists already to fire people en masse and then just bring in people who are not qualified for the job, but instead just people who are qualified because they like Donald Trump. Then you have in Congress.
They literally just do whatever he says.
Exactly. How you
There's
establish a
arguments for
dictatorship?
all of that,
Then you have
guys. That's
wait,
why
I'm not
we
done
have-
yet. You have Congress with these MAGA lunatics who will just do his bidding. Then on the courts, oh, look at the Supreme Court. Amy Coney Barrett is not qualified to be on the Supreme Court. And during Trump's presidency, there were many people he put up for the courts who were deemed not qualified by the American Bar Association. So you nominate people to the courts who will.
She literally couldn't even name the 5 freedoms of the First Amendment. The
Exactly.
5 fucking freedoms.
She's a Supreme Court judge. Oh my fuck.
How the hell do we have a Supreme Court justice that can't mention the 5 fucking freedoms of the First Amendment?
So that's what's going to happen. You have the executive filled with loyalists, then you have the courts filled with loyalists, and you have Congress filled with loyalists. They're going to do his bidding, and that's as close to a dictatorship as you can get, and that's what Donald Trump's already thinking about. So there you go.
Yeah, I think, Hannah, to be fair, the whole dictator comment, like saying there's no context. I mean, the context is the fact that it's been almost 4 years and the man is still not accepting that he lost the election. He is the only president in American history, almost 4 years after an election, who won't concede. And is
But he
still
does not
trying to
talk
have an
about
overthrow.
this all the time, guys. Y'all can
Yes,
listen to
he
him.
does.
Y'all can listen
Are
to
you
him.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he doesn't. That's not even involved in his. He doesn't even go around speaking about that anymore. It's completely different. And also, Hillary, she might have called him to concede that day, but that woman's continued to call him an illegitimate president and still thinks that it was stolen
Why
from
are
her.
we
She
talking
said the
about
same
Hillary?
thing.
I was.
Is she
giving you
running?
context for why
No, she said
people.
it. Y'all are always
Listen,
referring back to 20 years ago. Why can't I?
Would I vote for her?
I don't
No.
want to interrupt, but I know you guys like to talk. But I got a question.
Go ahead.
Do you guys feel like it's going to be a close race, or do we feel like that Biden's going to blow Trump out the water?
It's going to be close.
It's definitely going to be close.
I got to wrap up the live because my phone's about to die, but yeah, it's going to be close.
Okay.
So any last thoughts, concerns?
No. Well, then I understand why. The reason why I was asking that is I was going to say, what's the point in, you guys going live every night? And I understand, if you really feel like it's going to be that close of a, but you guys make it out like Donald Trump, it's a no-brainer, and everybody should vote for.
Can I give you a little like heart to heart here?
You know what I mean? And but it's hard for a lot of people because real quick, I just want to say this, Parker. A lot of people. They do watch. I watch both sides. You know what I mean? That's why I'm in here on y'all's live. You know what I mean? I get informed from both sides. And American too. And the man. I mean, hey, if he's just telling you what you want to hear, then I guess we'll find out come election time.
Sure. Maine, to give you a heart to heart before I get off here, before we all get off for this live. I go on live every single day and I debate all these things. I grew up in a conservative Christian household where I was literally taught to believe conservative values. I supported Trump in 2016, 2017, 2018 before I heard a lot of these terrible things about him. And given that I've heard all these terrible things, I've changed my opinion on these things. I'm not just doing this because I feel like it, because I get money from this. I believed these things prior to all of these points. From a heart-to-heart perspective, I think this guy's a terrible fucking person. I think this guy should be in prison. And I don't think any of us should support this guy. I'm not saying Joe Biden's the most ideal candidate that ever exists out there. What I'm saying is that he's a problematic individual that will make our country even worse. That's what I'm saying. From a heart-to-heart perspective, he is manipulating you. He's manipulating everyone else. And he's trying to get away from his convictions, right? From him being held liable and legally responsible for his crimes. And he realistically doesn't give a shit about you. And I can prove that through the policy, through everything I talk through on a daily basis. I really think about these issues. And if I heard something from the right that was convincing, that makes sense, that is good, I would follow it. I would believe it. But I have heard nothing.
I totally understand. And I do know that both you and Harry feel that way strongly. That's why you guys do what you do every day. And I guess it's to try to change other people's mind. And I can't hate you for that. If that's what you believe, I don't know. So at the end of the day, I'm still learning, but I do appreciate you guys' time, and I appreciate you guys for what you do.
Thanks for the conversation. You're welcome back anytime. All right.
The last time Donald Trump talked about winning the election, he was in Wisconsin on April 2nd, 2024, and it said, we won this state. We won the state by a lot. It's been proven that we won this state. So
I didn't say you didn't bring it up at all, but we can all agree he has a right to think that. He's making a statement. He has a right to feel that way.
Those statements undermine the democratic process of our elections.
Yeah, nobody's saying he doesn't have a right to believe it.
That in conjunction with the fact that he is also saying that he will accept the 2024 results if he wins, which is the same thing he said in 2020 and 2016. And we've spent 4 years with him telling us that he won and putting us through hell of trying to prove that he won when he didn't.
Why
so
do
of
some
course
people
it's an issue?
Why do some people think that Trump won't leave the White House? Why are they putting that fear tactic into everyone?
Because he did it
because
once.
he tried to not do it already
once. He did not.
Yes, he did.
Did y'all listen to the part of the speech about peacefully and
We're
patriotically?
not getting into this.
I know, because y'all disagree.
You
It's
can't
okay.
be helped, Hannah. I don't know.
No, it's because my phone is on 4% and it's about to
Okay.
die. So I'm happy to talk about this. We talked about this literally earlier in the live. You referenced the conversation we had with somebody about this early in the live. So I don't know why you think we're like scared to talk about this. We're
didn't
happy
say-
to. It's just my phone's about to die.
Okay.
So you're welcome to come back another night and we can continue the conversation. Happy to talk to you again. Genuinely, no problem. But I have to end the live.
Hannah, you're also allowed on my live if you'd like to come up again.
Yeah, you can go to
and we can have a
Parker's live as
further conversation because it seems like we had less of a direct conversation.
All right. Well, thank y'all for bringing me on.
For sure, I appreciate you coming up.
Okay, y'all too.
Thanks for having me up, Harry. Good to see you.
No problem. Thank you,
Of course,
Amber, for
it's
coming
good
up
to see
always.
you.
Appreciate it.
It's good to see you as well, Harry. See you
Thanks,
later, man.
See you later. All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, everybody in between. Yeah, we're going to wrap up the live. My phone's about to die. I didn't think we were going to go this long, so I didn't really charge my phone before. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I post on every single social media platform. I post on Instagram, Twitter. Wait. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $1 on Venmo. I appreciate you. So anyway, I post on every single social media platform. I post on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Threads, TikTok, all under the username Harry J System. All of my links are in my bio. The link tree goes to my YouTube. I post on YouTube every single day, so on Instagram as well, on Twitter as well, on TikTok. Of course, drop a follow if you haven't already. And yeah, tomorrow is a Tuesday, depending on where you are in the world or the country. I can't speak. I'm trying to go really fast. It already is a Tuesday, so I hope you have an amazing day. Take it easy, relax, sleep in if you can. Have a productive day. Drink some water, eat some good food, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure to follow on all the social media platforms. And yeah, I think we'll leave it there. All right. Thank you, everybody. I love you, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
After like almost like you do dark R&B kind of vocal that was at a tonality that you usually wouldn't hear over a Jersey club beat, you know, that's moving pretty quick with a lot of bounce.
So I think the main thing that's really doing it for this track is the unique factor, the fact that it stands out in a group of Jersey club type tracks. You feel me? This would definitely stand out with that more melodic R&B type vocals. You feel me? I feel like besides that, there's not really much I want to add that Maxwell didn't say. That I can think of. Yeah, nah, I feel like other than that, it's like somebody like started reading your comment while I was doing my review on accident. I mean, nah, that's all I had to say anyways. It's cool. Make sure y'all tapping the screen. Make sure y'all sharing out the live. Make sure y'all engaging. Like I said, if we hit 50K likes, I will get a lip piercing ASAP. I might just do it either way, but I would like definitely do it. Like if we get to 50K.
Man, I'll get it with non-player.
You need to get your other nostril and septum first. Watch some of my flies.
Bro, my septum is not gonna look good if I get my septum